pushing forward. As soon as you go stagnant, you're dying, right? As soon as you stay in one place, you're slowly on the way down, right? If your podcast, if your channel now were to stagnate in views, you'd be worried. That's effectively dying. It has to grow at all times. So every business has to work. So for me, I was under enormous pressure. I didn't think, I have plenty of money now. It was the complete opposite. I wanted to work harder, more hours. I found the tap. Bro, if there was a golden tap that unlimited money, and you had buckets, and you took one bucket of money, would you just take that bucket, or would you run back and get another bucket and run back and run? I couldn't stop. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up to go piss at 3 a.m, take a piss, and by the time I finished pissing, I'd be like, I've slept 3 hours, that's enough. And wake the chicks up and put them back online. I couldn't get out of my brain because I saw that I'd replaced fighting, which I loved, with this. And this was my chance to escape the matrix. Bro, this has been inside of me since as early as I can remember. I remember walking to sixth form college. I was 16 or 17 with my 4 friends, and a Ferrari burnt past us. I said to my boys, I was like, man, how'd that guy get that car? And they're like, don't know. I was like, doesn't that annoy you? Why would it annoy me? Because we're going to school. Our parents are on council estates. Like, we're trying to scrape 20 pounds a week to eat. This dude has 400 grand for a car. Doesn't that aggravate you? Doesn't that show you that there's something about the world you do not understand? That you're missing something? And they're all like, not really. And they're all the dudes who are right now at home, 9 to 5, couple blowjobs, da-da-da. I was never that guy. I was pissed off for weeks because I saw some dude in his Ferrari. Do you understand? I was like, no, I have to. So now when I push my Ferrari, I'm like, this is the full circle. This is the universe giving me what I've always been manifesting. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now when people say, Andrew, why do you have 17 supercars? Because I have 17. I have every brand you can fucking name. I have 17 cars. I have over $10 million of cars. But because it was a car, these cars used to piss me off. So now I have to have them all. I don't need to drive them. I have to have them. I'm trying to conquer the earth, my friend. Maybe I'm crazy, but this is what I'm trying to do. It's what I've always been trying to do. So I've never been satisfied. To this day, I'm making more money now than I was making in my cam days. I'm still not happy. But I don't judge my life on happiness. I don't look at it that way. I look at all the other human metrics and say, where am I failing? Am I in good shape? Yeah. Am I rich? Yeah. Do I have good friends, good connections? Yeah. Do I do whatever I want? Am I free? Tick, 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 tick. Well, fuck it then. Then life's fine. You know?
What makes you unhappy?
So now we're going to go to the other end of the spectrum. I don't believe in unhappy. I believe, okay, let me word it this way. I'm happy every day, right? Let's say happiness is a scale. If you're not distraught, then you're happy. And I mean that like 3 or 4 times in your life, like a family member is going to die or something really bad's going to happen and you're going to be devastated. And when you're distraught, you can't even talk. Like, you know, when you're genuinely heartbroken, you can't even speak. You can't even talk. You just want to be left alone and you can't talk. Those days are coming for all of us. Either we're going to die or someone we love is going to die. Those days are coming. This is guaranteed. So until those days come, I'm happy. I'm very binary. Yes or no, 1 or 0. Unless I'm distraught, I'm happy. Now, happiness can be a sliding scale, right? I can be less happy some days than others, but I'm still happy because I'm not distraught. There's a really interesting show I watched a long time ago, and it was a documentary about colors. And it was saying they found this tribe in Africa, and in the tribe in Africa, they had different names for the colors than we have. And they got 2 different shades of blue, which were basically identical. Like a blue, one kind of blue, another kind of blue, basically identical. And to them, they were completely different colors. But then they put like blue and yellow, and they couldn't tell the difference. They couldn't tell the difference because the blue and the yellow had one name. These 2 kinds of blues had a different name. What they were trying to say is, if your brain is associated a name with something, it's very hard to work out the difference between the 2 things that have the same name. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm never unhappy. I'm happy always. Do you understand what I mean? If I'm not distraught, I'm happy. So I never wake up and go, oh, I'm unhappy today. I wake up and go, oh, I'm a little bit less happy today, but I'm happy. I've labeled myself as happy. I've labeled myself as lucky. I'm labeled these things, and I truly believe them. I will pass any lie detector test today that I'm the most content, happy man in the world, because that's what I've decided. That's what I've labeled myself as. So how can it not be true?
But you can condition the mind to keep saying it to
absolutely
believe yourself to get happy.
Absolutely you can. I talk to people all the time like, oh, I'm unhappy, I'm depressed. And I'm like, stop saying it. You're saying it. Yeah. Why are you saying it? You're happy, my friend, because you're talking. If you're truly unhappy, you don't talk. Think of the last time you lost a family member. The first thing you did is you sat in silence for half an hour. First, you get a phone call and you just sit there. Someone goes, what's happened? And you might give them a few words. That's unhappy. If you're running your mouth down the pub about being unhappy, you're attention seeking. That's what you're doing. So a lot of people are labeling themselves. And I absolutely refuse to take my own power away. There are so many things in the world trying to kill us. You got enemies. You got people on the streets with blades. You got bacterias, fucking lions. Oh, I've got enough enemies, bro. Sharks want me dead. I've got enough enemies. Why am I going to take my own power away? And this is what people really don't yet understand. There's only one thing on the planet you actually have control over. You can't control the weather. You can't control your health. You can get brain aneurysm or a heart attack. You can't control other people. The only thing you can actually really truly control is what you think. That's the only thing you can change in real time. You can be thinking of red, change it to blue. So why are you not controlling your own mind? It's your asset. It's your ally. It's your friend. Why would you make an enemy out of the only thing you have control over? I refuse to do that. It doesn't make sense to me. The worst thing on earth that could happen to a man could happen to me. And I guarantee you, I would still label myself happy. I'm happy because that's who I am. That's how I view myself. That's what I've decided.
When you had the 75 girls, did you sleep with everyone?
No, I couldn't. There's too many. There's no way. It was impossible.
Should have phoned me, bro.
Should have hired you. Should have like, James, we got work to do. Nah, I couldn't, man. I couldn't. So we had like a management structure.
So how do you do it? Listen, having a girlfriend or whatever, if you've got a bit on the side, that's fucking hard work.
Yeah.
I've done it for many years, hiding.
Yeah.
And just, you lose track sometimes. So for somebody to keep 75 girls, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, so I wasn't sleeping with most of them. I say up to 75, I was probably still only sleeping with 5 or 6. I tried to go like very legit businessman with it and not sleep with the girls, etc. But that's when I learned my lessons, right? I learned so many lessons from that period of my life about male-female dynamics. So many lessons. And I learned that women are loyal to the dick they want to suck and nothing else. And if they're not having sex with you, they're going to have sex with somebody else. They're not going to go sexless. And whoever they're having sex with is the person they're going to listen to ultimately. And that person does not want them naked in another dude's house. Why would they, right? So I was trying to motivate girls with money. So the girls who loved me and worked for me, my main girlfriends, they'd get probably around 20% of their money. I'd keep 80% of the money they made. So they basically worked for free. They worked for my love and attention. The other girls was the other way around. I'd keep 20% for all the help I gave them, the premises, the typing, because by that time I had a room of typers. I had like 4 or 5 girls who were full-time professional typers. They were ugly, but they were smart. And then I had the pretty girls on the cameras. So I had like a professional setup. So I was taking 20% of the money from them, and they did 80% of the money. So I was trying to motivate them with money, but motivating with money doesn't work for 2 reasons. The first reason is, if a girl has no romantic interest in you, the idea of her making you money off of her tits offends her. That you're using her tits. It's like grabbing a girl's tits who doesn't like you. Do you understand what I mean? There's something weird about it. I didn't like it. I'd buy a new car and they'd be like, why is this guy, why is he getting a cut? Even though I was getting a minuscule cut, for the amount of work I did for them, I was getting very small from these girls, because these are the girls who I didn't know romantic. That was the first thing. So they were abrasive. They were idiots. And the second thing is, the man they're sleeping with is always like, hey, why the fuck you working for this guy? We can do this ourselves. You can do this yourself. Fuck him. He's exploiting you. Because they don't want the fucking girl working for me, right? And what's amazing is, every single time a girl quit, because we had a professional setup, because we had expertise, it's like a podcast, bro. You have a podcast. If someone were to go, I could do a podcast, go on then. And then you'll see them fail, right? So these girls would be working for me, making 10 grand a month, and they'd be keeping 8 grand. I took 2 grand. They quit, try and do it with their boyfriend, make 1 grand a month, and then quit. Every single one who stopped working for me ended up failing and begging for her job back. 100% rate, right? So what I started doing is, me and the other girls, I started having firing girls parties. What I wanted to do is, I understood the psychology of women. Women, as a whole, are absolutely loose thinkers. Females are sheep. Everyone says women are complicated. No, they're not. Women are extremely simple. Women are programmable. Women are blank slates, and they're programmed. And they're either programmed by you as a man, or they're programmed by society. The good wife who obeys her man and cooks for him and cleans for him has been programmed by her man. The woman who goes, I don't need no man, I'm a feminist, has been programmed by society, by the BBC. They're programmed. They're all born blank, and someone inserts the programming. right? So with my women, because of groupthink, every single time a girl would get fired or quit, we'd have a party. And when you'd have a party about a girl quitting, all the girls would stand around and laugh. Oh, she's going to end up asking for a job back. She doesn't appreciate what Andrew did for her. Ha, 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 da, da, da. And then girls didn't want to quit because they knew there'd be a party about them. And they didn't want there to be a party about them. You understand? I had girls come to me saying, look, I have to leave. I'm sorry. I really have to leave. Please don't throw a party about it. Like, they're so scared of all the girls who used to know them, like mocking them behind their back. So we had like this groupthink thing going on. But this is how women are programmed through the whole. Even out here in society, bro. Who are the strongest advocates for this corona crap? Women. Women are the easiest to program. You can trick women all day long, right? So, but I wasn't tricking anyone. I was just saying, look, you can make a bunch of money. I never exploited anybody. I never hit a girl. I never hurt nobody. I didn't even have to raise my voice. I was a positively inspirational and motivating person. I was a pimp. I made them feel happy doing what they did. They liked working with me. So that was it as a whole. It was a very happy environment. There was no slavery element. You're not going to get a girl to work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week by being mean to her.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff online, I think they say like 80% of the girls are sexually abused and shit like that. So there's always going to be question marks of people doing webcam.
I mean, yeah, and I know that. I mean, but I really do think that with porn, I don't know, I've never run a porn business. I think if a girl turns to porn, then she's had a hard life. Why would you want to be rallied left, right, center by who fuck knows who on camera? I think there's something wrong with that. I don't think that's a natural feminine mindset. I don't think any woman who's normal in her brain wants that. I think that's wrong. But with Cam, I genuinely had girls who worked for me who like had a boyfriend for 10 years or only slept with 2 men in their lives. That it's just pixels on a screen, bro. Like it's not like people imagine it to be. It's just like a 99% of Cam is a Cam girl is much more a therapist than she is a porn star. Like, she can make so much money from showing her tits, whatever, but she makes the big money from making these guys like her, being funny, banter, having good friends, messing around. I had girls who would paint pictures and paint and sell the painting. I had girls who played piano. It was not as sexual as people think it was. It was very much like guys fell in love with them on the internet.
How long does it last for somebody to pay? Is it a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Man, it wasn't even about privates like that. It was if you're a good girl and you're very good at the job and you'd get loyal fans who really loved you, they'd be there every single day and they wouldn't even be buying your time. They'd just be donating you money.
What's the worst thing you've seen a man wanting to see?
Worst?
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing, because there's rules on these websites. They can't ask for bestiality. They can't ask for kiddie shit. They can't ask for anything too weird. So,
shitting in a shoe.
Nah, none of that shit. They're not allowed to ask for that. I've had some funny ones. We had a guy, one of my best girls had a guy called Paul. I think he was from Scotland. Do you know any Scottish guys called Paul?
I know a few.
Okay, so here's what Paul's up to. So Paul sent her $500. Just tipped it to her. Bang, $500. Please, can you buy some gummy bears? So she bought some gummy bears. And the next day he said, okay, here's what I want you to do. And he took her private and he was paying $5 a minute for this. I think all in all, he was on there for another $500 worth. So this is a $1,000 interaction. He got the girl to line up all the gummy bears and pretend they were him and all his friends. Right? And she's sitting there with her tits out and all the gummy bears. And she'd have to pick up one of the friends and like, he looks tasty. And then Paul would be like, please don't eat my friend. Please don't eat my friend. And she'd be like, but he looks good. Please, please, please don't. And you'd see him on camera. He's like jerking off. Please, please, please don't. And she'd like put him in her tits, whatever. And then she'd like lick him. And he's literally about to come everywhere from this. Eventually she starts chewing his friend, eating his friend. And he loved it. Please, no, please stop eating me. Please stop eating me. Until she's eaten all the friends. And then it's down to Paul, isn't it? He's the last guy. And he said, please don't eat me. Please, I'll do anything. Please, I'll give you more money. Please don't eat me. She's like, no, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you. And after about 2 minutes of threatening to eat him, she chews Paul and he comes all over the place. So, I mean, you got that kind of thing. It's a bit weird, but it's funny. Like, who gives a shit, right? The girl thinks it's funny. No one took it that seriously. The idea that these women on webcam are like sexually abused or forced to do it, that's wrong. I literally had a girl who was a waitress in Nando's who just wanted more money and came and did it and thought it was funny and talked to Paul and his bullshit, and a bunch of men in America fell in love with her, and they didn't even know her real name, and she made a bunch of money. It can be that cool. I'm telling you, I can assure you, because I lived it.
How do you recruit people for you? Do you go on the streets and pick girls, Tinder?
It's just me and my brother were living our lives. We lived a very good life. We attracted female attention. We're pushing Lamborghinis. We're living a good life. And every time we dated a girl, we'd just say, look, do you want to do this? And if they said no, we'd say, okay, cool. If they said yes, we'd say, okay, cool. That was it. We were the head recruiters.
Have you ever been in love?
Absolutely.
Have you?
I completely believe in love. This is the thing.
What is love to you?
I completely believe in love. I'm a massive advocate for love. I'm a massive advocate for of men and women being in love with each other. I'm not one of them evil predators or one of them playboys who thinks women are just for sex. Not at all. If you're sick, if you're sick in bed, the first thing you do is call a woman, right? You don't call your boys when you're sick in bed, or you call a woman, right? Like there's a very sacred interaction between men and women. I love the idea of family. I love the idea of children. I love the idea of being in love with a woman. I love the idea of her loving me. I just don't see why I should only love one. I don't see why I can't love five.
Have you ever been heartbroken?
Yeah, when I was younger, like 18, 19, everyone's been heartbroken, right?
How did that affect you? Do you think that plays a part on the way, people see you as a womanizer, a playboy?
Yeah, but this is the thing. I really, truly, truly believe that I'm just very honest. I don't think I'm any worse than most other men. I just think I tell the truth. I just think I've realized that cheating and hiding is too much fucking work. Just to say, look, my dear, I love you with all my heart. We're going to be together forever. I fucked that bitch. Yeah, my clothes stink of perfume. Sorry, I don't even know her name. Whatever.
What do your girlfriends say?
I mean, they can either go crazy and leave, or they can not go crazy and stay. Like, it's a binary decision, right? And I think that what people really don't, when I say this, people really don't believe it. They say, oh, but that means the girl doesn't really love you. That's not true. If she didn't really love me, she'd leave. She completely loves me. What women are looking for is women want to feel special. Sexual exclusivity is how a woman proves to a man that that man is special to her. You are my man, so I only sleep with you, right? And what we've done in the modern world is saying, so we'll reverse it. For a woman to be special, to prove she's special, you have to only sleep with her. If she knows she's special in other ways, then she doesn't give a fuck what you do. And this is really not revolutionary. What I say, people are going to be all in the comments going, his girls are sluts, or his girls don't really love him. That's not true. I know my women love me. I know they've been loyal to me. I've had two of my girls who started with me at the beginning, 8 years. I'm still with to this day. So if you go to Russia, for example, when you're a high value man, do you think these mafia guys in Russia are loyal? Do you think Putin's loyal? These big boys? No. I mean, this is accepted over there. If you speak to a Russian girl, she's like, he's rich. Of course he has his fun, but I'm his wife. It's normal, completely normal. It's only in countries like America and England where a woman's going to go, I would never take that. I'd never accept that. Oh, you're going to let a man pay for your entire life. You're going to push a merc. You're going to have this fucking big G. But if he talks to some bitch one night while he's out drunk, you're going to fucking pretend that that's the worst thing in the world. That's Western bullshit feminist thinking. If you remove the feminism element, that doesn't exist in most places in the world. You go to Russia and live in Russia, every single high-level guy has fucking 3 or 4 mistresses, all of them.
Do you have kids?
Do I have kids? If I had kids, I wouldn't say on the podcast.
But if you had a daughter, say,
yep,
how would you feel if she came in with a man like you? Be honest.
Okay, and this is the thing, and I'm going to actually be completely honest here. I really try and base my worldviews on brutal realism. I try and be a realist, even if it's hard to be a realist. If that man made her happy, good.
See, I would cut his fucking dick off.
Well, this is and I know, and I understand that. But if she were to say, look, he does what he does, but I really love him. And I was like, does he hurt you? No, he doesn't hurt me, and I'm happy with him. Then I'd be like, as long as you're happy.
It's double standards, isn't it? Why am I like that, though? Why
of course it's double standards. Of course it's double.
All the shit that I've done, but yet I don't want my daughter to get treated like that. That's why I try to make some changes to see the world differently, to not hurt people's feelings. And it's...
Well, why has it got to hurt people's feelings?
I don't know, man. Like,
this is what I mean. I don't think it does.
As fuck,
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I can tell you now, honestly and utterly, with let's say I have a girl and I take her on holidays, I look after her, she's financially looked after, she's the only girl I sleep next to. I don't sleep, and when I say sleep, I mean like actually sleep. I don't sleep and hug other women. I just fuck other women sometimes. And she genuinely doesn't care anymore. She's like, okay, whatever. Just make sure none of these bitches ever message me, and everyone knows she's the queen. She's with me all over Instagram. Everyone knows she's my main girl. And she really genuinely doesn't care. Why? There's no unhappiness. There's no unhappiness. I know people believe that's an impossible scenario to set up, but it really isn't. Because what's funny is this. I say this to girls all the time. Girls always say, I'd never take that crap. I'd never put up with that, blah, blah, because girls always say that. I say, all right, go to your man right now and demand to see his phone. Because he's going to make excuses. Say, we're going to swap phones for a week. He's going to say, oh, no, because of work, da-da-da-da. No, don't buy his shit. Because if he's making excuses, he doesn't want you to see something, and you know what that is. That's pussy. You know it, and I know it. So go in there and demand it. Oh, I trust him. No, you don't trust him. You just don't want to see the truth because you already know what he's doing. Every woman who's with a fucking G already knows what he's doing. They just lie to themselves and pretend to be blind. The difference between me is my girl hasn't got to fucking live in a fantasy. She knows. Those women who pretend to not know are no better than my woman who actually knows. In fact, I'd say my woman who actually knows is smarter than them bimbos. We're going to sit there and pretend, no, I know. No, I don't need to check on him. I trust him while he's away for 2 weeks. All right. It's garbage, bro. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Why did you choose Bucharest to live?
Good question. That's a good question. So I'm disenfranchised with the West. I'm anti-West. This is a completely different pivot now, but my political views are completely anti-Western. I think that the West is on a serious moral and economic decline, and I would rather live in a society which I see is on the way up than on the way down. I think America is becoming more and more violent by the day. Taxes are getting higher and higher. Police powers and police control are getting more and more strict. You're living in a society where you have to be scared of the criminals, scared of the police, scared of the tax man, scared of everything. And I don't see what the benefit of living there is. I don't see it. Same in England. You look at London 10 years ago compared to London now. I can't wear a nice watch in London. It's not like I used to be able to. Like, London's not even safe at night, most places now. I'm risking getting stabbed to pay 60% taxes. But and then on top of that, the police want to give me a fine for not wearing a mask. It's a police state. If I'm going to live in a police state, I want at least to be provided with safety. If I go to Dubai, it's a police state, but it's safe. I can wear $1 million watch all day long. I know I can't fuck with the law, but at least they've given me my safety. In the West, they're gonna take all your freedom and not provide safety, and then want to police your Facebook comments. Why would I stay here? I have money. I don't need to stay here. So as soon as I realized I didn't need to stay here, then I started looking at the world, and you realize the world is small. Because all the problems I just described is all of Western Europe and America and Canada is all the same. All of South America, if you're flexing and living a good life, you're risking getting your head chopped off. Australia is a fucking penal colony. Fuck them. Southeast Asia, a lot of it's crap. I mean, I don't want to bang Thai girls and run around in the sand.
Lady boys.
Yeah, exactly. So you start running out of places, and then you start looking, and the only places to really live that I've enjoyed in my life are Dubai, but that's just one city. You get bored of the city, there's nowhere to go. Or Russia and Eastern Europe. So in Eastern Europe is very much a safe place unless you piss off the wrong boys, right? So Eastern Europe is a completely different way crime works. In England, crime can be very random. I was walking down the street, wrong place, wrong time, he stabbed me. In Romania, the chance of a random attack is zero.
Mafia, more organization.
But if you fuck with the wrong guy, you're going to disappear. But that's the same everywhere in the world, right? If you fuck with the wrong guy. So I would rather live in a society knowing that I have to respect certain people, but the chance of random violence is zero, than England, where you still have to respect certain people and there's a random violence element, right? So I knew some very important guys in Romania. I didn't want to live in Eastern Europe the way I live. You can't just walk up to Ukraine, start pushing a Lambo and fucking a bunch of girls and not have trouble, right? But in Romania, I had good friends to make sure that didn't happen. So I had very good friends there from fighting, and I went to Romania, and we became business partners on a bunch of other things, and now it is what it is. So I feel very, very safe there, 100% safe.
Where do you think the most beautiful girls, in your opinion, are on this planet?
I would say either Russia or Moldova, but I would say if you're watching this and you want to go to visit, they're very difficult to sleep with. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. I'm telling you, people really have this view of Eastern European girls as sluts because a lot of them are working girls. Like if you go to Dubai or if you go to a brothel in Germany, there's a bunch of Romanian girls, right? So they think, Romanian girls are sluts. I say, no, Romanian girls are not sluts. They're smart. If a Romanian girl wants to be a slut, she does it for money. And if she doesn't do it for money and she's not a slut, she's exceptionally hard to sleep with. A lot of these girls in Bucharest are 25, 26. They've got 3 men body counts. Sorry. They're very hard. If they want to be a hoe, they're going to be a hoe and get paid. Only an English or an American girl is stupid enough to be a hoe for free. Because over here, they'll be a hoe because they were drunk. They'll just be a hoe because they're dumb. Oh, I slept with a bunch of men. Oh, he was funny, so he jizzed on me. Like, they're just idiots. In Eastern Europe, they're far too intelligent for that. They understand that the number one commodity a female has is beauty. And if they're born with it, they're not going to fucking waste it going out getting hammered and banging Joe whoever. They're not going to do that. They're not stupid like that. So Western girls are extremely easy to sleep with compared to Eastern European women. Eastern European women are much, much harder. They're more savvy. And people say that they're gold diggers. I wouldn't say they're gold diggers. I would say that if a woman from Romania or Ukraine or Russia is going to be dating you, she's genuinely considering if there's a future for marriage and babies because they still have that element of society where women are respected as a mother. They want to be mothers. So if you have no money, why would they want a family with you? They're not going to have a good life, are they? So they are gold diggers, not in a gold digger, give me a handbag way. They're in a, can this man financially provide for me to have a family from him? I don't want to go work for 300 euro a month. That's what I'm going to get. Can this man pay for me? So yeah, they do respect money, but they're much harder to sleep with. So Russia or Moldova. But so I'm saying that now because if any guy goes, oh, Russian women, I'm going to go over there. You're not going to fucking slam nothing same night. You're going to be out. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's very difficult. You have to date them for a long time. You know, they want to go on lots of dates. They want to really know you. It's harder over there. And Moldova, I wouldn't go to because Moldova is probably the most hostile place I've ever been. I've been there 3 times and was attacked twice.
Why is that?
Because they are super right-wing nationalist. And you know what's crazy? Even though they attacked me, I respect them for it. So me and my brother were walking down Chisinau, Moldova. It's 2 a.m. We had these 3 girls with us. We're walking. We're talking to the girls in English. And this guy goes, oh, American. I go, hi. He goes, oh, you come here to bang bang. We're like, what? You come here porno. Yeah, you come here porno. And by the time he said that, 4 of his friends had got out of a car and they jumped us. Because they knew Americans have come to this shithole country to fuck our women. Why else am I there? Why else would I be in Chisinau, Moldova? It's not for all the beautiful girls. They knew exactly why I was there. I knew why I was there. Everyone understood the interaction, and the Moldovan men are just like, fuck you. We're not going to let you come here and just bang our women. Why would we? They're super, super nationalistic, super, super right-wing, and that's happened to me twice. They came, they punched me, I took it, they punched my brother. We got them all on one side because we had them surrounded. We're like, okay, we're leaving. We're leaving. My brother speaks Romanian. They speak Romanian and Russian. My brother said, we're not tourists in Romanian, which threw him off a little bit. And we got in the taxi, and we said to the girls, come get in the taxi. So the girls still came with us. We got in the taxi. Chris's lips bleeding a little bit, nothing too big. We go back to the hotel and went to the hotel. The girls started telling the hotel receptionist what happened. And then what was scary is the hotel receptionist started to panic. We're like, because it was a woman. She's like, oh, what car were they in? And I was like, a BMW. She was, oh, because over there, the average wage in Moldova is like $200 a month. Having a BMW is a big deal, right? Like, oh, they had a BMW. Oh, they might be mafia guys. They're going to come here. They're going to come after you. They're going to come after you. And we're like, well, how are they going to know that we're here? And the receptionist says, the taxi now is going to go back to them and say for a tip, they'll tell them you're here. I'm here by myself. And she started really having like a panic attack. I said, well, call the police then. She goes, no. She didn't want to call the police. Don't know why. So now me and Tristan are scared. The whole interaction, it was just reaction, right? We weren't really scared. And once we're in the taxi, we're like, whatever. But now we're scared because the receptionist is panicking. This is 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And we're sitting there and we looked on the thing and there was a flight back to Romania, which is generally safe, at 6 a.m. So we just packed and bailed. It's like, all right, well, shit, let's get out of here. And then twice similar stories have happened to me in Moldova. So Moldovans are super, super protective of their people and their culture. And then sometimes I walk through London and look at all the problems we have here, and I have to respect them because they won't let anyone go there and fucking fuck around with them or disrespect them or fuck their women or nothing. And the girls there are 10 out of 10. They're fucking beautiful, but they're kind of trapped there, and the men won't let us go there. So, but I respect them. I really respect them as men. If I were to meet those guys who jumped me, I'd shake his hand. I'd be like, I get it.
You own casinos as well?
Yes. So in Romania, I have 15 branches of a casino. There's no live dealers. It's just machines. So it's like arcade setup. Corona came and fucked that up. So I've been paying 15 rents for a year and a half. So that's been exciting. But yeah, I own casinos as well in Romania. And that was one of the businesses I opened I wanted to open that business for a long time. This actually feeds back into what we were saying earlier about analyzing money, right? So I own 10% of RXF, which is the Romanian UFC. So I own a percentage of the cage fighting organization. And I'm sitting here and I do the commentary, the English commentary. So I'm commentating. And one of the main sponsors is this casino brand. And this casino brand is owned by 3 brothers. And they have 400 locations from Estonia all the way down the east of Europe. I overheard them say something like they turn over like 18 million a day or something ridiculous money, these 3 brothers, right? And I went to them and I said, because they're sponsoring the show, I said, look, guys, I want to open some casinos. I want to get involved in this moneymaker. And they kind of looked at me, typical Eastern European mafia. Imagine, fat, bald, cigar, exactly like you'd imagine them to be. And they're like, why do we need you? Like, if I want to open a location, I send a picture in a WhatsApp group of a building, and 2 weeks later, there's a location. What do I need you for? I was like, okay, valid point. Well, I'm going to find a reason for you to need me, right? So a few years go past. We're kind of talking back and forth. They won't let me franchise with them. They're not interested. And then I came up with this plan. I went to them one day and I said, look, how about this? I'll pay to open locations, so it costs you no money to be involved. I'll give you a percentage of turnover, not profits. Even if it makes no money, you're making money because it's pure turnover. And I'll open up directly next door to your number one competitor in Romania. So I'm going to go to war for you with my money because I'm right next door to your competitor. The location may not make money. I'll lose all my money, but you're getting a percent of turnover. You ain't got to do anything. Doesn't cost you anything. You make money, and it's just pissing your competitor off. At worst case, it annoys number two in the country, right? And they agreed. So I opened up next door to the competitor, and then I have to try and make money, right? So this goes back into what I was saying earlier, because people always say to me, how do you make money, Tate? You have to sit and genuinely think and analyze. So I opened up this casino next door to my competitor. 2 doors down, there's a Starbucks. Line for Starbucks is going out the door. Starbucks is always busy. So, okay, so I put a huge sign up, a massive sign up, saying free coffee. And I had a really cute little waitress, and I bought a very expensive coffee machine. And what happened is, because the line for Starbucks was so long, the dudes would go, well, I'll just go get free coffee in there. And then they'd gamble their $5 instead of buy the coffee. And the girl was always pretty. She was instructed to flirt with them, make the nice coffees, and I started to make a lot of money. And for about 6 months, I was top of the world. And I ordered a Bugatti Chiron, paid for one of them. That's on
about $1 million.
Yeah, that's 4.2.
What?
4.2.
4.2 million?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So
I need to get into the casino game.
I bought a Bugatti Chiron. That's my 18th car. That's on the way. I already have every other car there is. And then Corona came. So, I'm okay for money, of course. But then Corona came and shut me all down because they've closed everything. I probably shouldn't say this on the internet, but I'm going to. Romania is completely corrupt from head to toe, right? So when Corona came, through fighting and through these things, I have a very, very extensive network in Romania. I like to make this very clear. One of the reasons I love living there so much is because I'm at the very top echelon of society. If I need to speak to the prime minister, I can make that happen, right? I can't do that in the West, yeah? So we went and met with some members of parliament, and they're like, well, it's not us, it's European Union directed all of this COVID lockdown garbage. They knew COVID was a scam. They knew it. Everyone knew it. European Union told us to. They gave us billions in relief funds, bribes to listen. So we can't really open them. You can open them if you don't put the outside lights on and you just on the sly. So I did a deal with them to open them on the sly and pay bribes. So I was open for the first month with bribes, but the bribe kept going up because it's Romania, right? The police chief would come. He wants some. The police chief would call his mate, who's the fucking, fire inspector, some jackass. He'd come. The alcohol licensing man would come. It was just everyone's go on the phone hey, this casino's still open. They'll pay you to go away. So before you know it, every 5 minutes, someone's in the door for money. We weren't making money, so we had to close down. So we've been closed we're still closed to this day. We're still waiting to be reopened. And nobody feels sorry for the casino owner. It's kind of hard to play the pity card. My business is going under. Everyone's like, who gives a shit? Fuck you. Go Chiron. So I'm just stuck here right now. So I'm just living my life traveling the world. So
when you're buying your cars and stuff, is it still the same fulfillment? Is it still the same happiness? Or is it just, nah?
I love cars, right? But you know what? I'd be happy without any cars. Yeah. I'd be happy without any money, man. I would be happy.
Did you always be like that though?
No, I was always driven. As long as I felt like I was getting somewhere, I was happy. And if you took it all away from me now, I would start to make progress again. If I lost everything today back to flat zero, by tomorrow I'd be making some progress, even if I had 1 pound as opposed to 0. As long as I feel like I'm doing something, I'm happy. This is how life works, right? If you let's take cars. You're driving at 200 miles an hour. You don't feel it. It's accelerating to 200 miles an hour that you feel. You don't feel once you're doing the speed. You feel the acceleration. It's the acceleration that's exciting. You need to feel the change in your life to benefit from it. If you're born, I think the most miserable people on earth are those people who are born filthy rich. Imagine being born as an oil sheik. Money has no value. A Ferrari, you think it's going to make you happy? Has no value. Nothing has value. Everything is just whatever. Girls have no value. You can buy unlimited hookers. You can buy unlimited Bugattis. You can buy whatever you want. Diamonds. It doesn't mean anything. You have to be broke to appreciate being rich. You need that. So anyone who's sitting there going, oh, I want money, good. You need to feel how you feel now. Being poor is what's going to make you happy once you have money. This is a very key element to it. But I think it's the journey, not the destination, right? So there's still a whole bunch more for me to fucking waste money on, my friend.
You put a post out on Twitter, something about was it Star Wars and was it a Lamborghini or something, but it caused a shitstorm. What was that post?
Yeah, I really upset the Star Wars fans, and I made a point that I've never watched Star Wars, and every time I say I've never watched Star Wars, people are like, oh, you have to see it, you're missing out. And I said, I've lived a very good life, and I'm a multimillionaire, retired world champion kickboxer. I feel like you've missed out. That was the point I was trying to make. As in, I don't need the movie to feel like.
Did you not have a picture of a car or something?
It was me in a Bentley. Yeah. And everyone's like, "That's not your car," and it blew up in like the geek world of Star Wars, right? So I've kind of gotten viral. So all the geeks of the world hate me. But
is there a lot of jealousy towards you?
I don't know. I really do believe in. Don't want to go too airy fairy, but from a karma perspective, I do believe in that. If you're good to people in general, in 99% of cases, if you show people respect, they show it back. And I'll tell you something now, and a lot of people comment on this about me. I didn't even realize how not important. I didn't realize how overt it was until people tell me. People tell me all the time. I'm super nice to like wait staff. I tip massively. Like I'm a very positive person. No one interacts with me and it's negative unless it's genuinely beef. Do you understand? Like I try my very, very best to come in, say hello to everybody. If I'm at a hotel and I'm eating and it's a buffet, you know, like these buffet hotels, I'll finish the buffet and I'll go up to the chef and say, that was amazing, very good. Who's ever complimented a buffet chef? Nobody. They stand there all day, cooking all day. Some fucking Egyptian dude, right? Making very average food. And I'll eat his average ass food and go tell him good job. And his face will light up like you would not believe. I really believe in spreading positivity as a whole. I do believe in that. I don't see any reason to be negative. I mean, I'm sure there's people who hate me. There's people who are going to listen to this podcast and go, this guy's full of shit. This guy, da-da-da. But I don't need to lie about anything I've ever done, right? I don't need to lie about the life I live. I don't need to lie about my interactions with females or the money I make or anything. And what's really interesting to me is now I'm getting quite big. I get recognized all the time. When I was in America, I got recognized on the street. I got recognized on the street everywhere, from Instagram or from my YouTube channels, etc. And there's two kinds of people. There's people who are jealous of me and angry by what I say. And then there's the people who say, can you teach me something? Those are the smart ones, right? If there's someone who has something I want, even if I don't like him, I would think, well, he must know something that's useful to me. Is it better for me to make friends with this person and try and learn from him, or leave a hateful comment on his YouTube? What's going to benefit my life? Do you understand what I mean? Because I'm not going to read the hateful comment. What are you typing it for? I got shit to do. So, like, I'm driving a Bugatti, bro. I got shit to do. So you're going to sit there, this kind of fucking misogyny thing. Like, people are just asinine. This is a very low IQ approach to the world. It's very low IQ to sit there and go, oh, I'm jealous. I hate this guy. That's what a stupid person. If I could hate somebody, but I could disagree with every single element of what somebody says. But if I believe that I can benefit from the interaction with that person, then I'd make sure it's an amicable interaction. Doesn't that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't know. People are just stupid. I mean, I still to this day get emails from the Star Wars thing, which was a year and a half ago. About 3 emails a day from some autistic, crazy, threatening to kill me for Star Wars. To this day. I'm just like, oh, the world is weird. The world is weird, my friend.
What's your opinion on social media?
I think it's simultaneously the biggest opportunity on the planet and ruined it. Simultaneously. You know, I was watching American Pie the other day. Remember that movie, American Pie? Don't you think that was the happiest period in human history? Look at the party, right? No one's at the party. They're talking to their friends. If you wanted to be known, you had to go to a place where the people would go, and you were known in your town. Maybe I'm just an old man. I'm thinking about the olden days. You know what I mean? You could text someone if you really had to, but no one's glued to their screen. It was basically the modern world without all this addiction. Because I'm absolutely addicted to my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a complete phone addict. I live on my phone. Always texting all the time on my phone. There's always something going on. So I'm a phone addict, so I know I've got the problem. But I was watching American Pie and I was thinking, not the period of history, you know? I think social media is the number one cause for depression. I think the number of people, listen, if you're living a normal life, scroll Instagram, you see me with my flag, some bitch on a boat, some other dude in Baltimore's. You see all this fucking shit, and you're gonna look around your council flat in fucking County Durham, and you think, fuck my life. You know, Instagram is depressing. Unless you're at the very, very top echelons of life, it's depressing. Social media is the reason everyone's unhappy and depressed. It really does depress people. But on top of that, it is the biggest opportunity in the world. Look at the podcast we have right now. Look at what we're doing right now. Look at all the people we're going to reach, all the people we can interact with via social media. So it can either ruin your life or it can make your life. So I think that if you're on social media, you need to be very, very careful about how are you using it. And I always say to people who come to me and say, like, if I had people say to me before that social media depresses them, and I say, you need to be producing for social media, not consuming. I really try very, very hard to put my Instagram picture up. I never read the comments. I never scroll the discovery feed. I don't look at anyone else's shit. I just try and just boop, boop, post. And I think if you do it that way, you could benefit from it, right? But if you sit there and you find yourself wasting an hour just consuming, I think it's an easy path to self-destruction. I think so.
How do you speak to a girl confident? What's your chat-up lines? Have you got a set thing that you do?
That's a good question. I don't know. Do I have a chat-up line? I don't think I do.
Just be you.
Tell me yours, bro. You're Scottish. You must have loads.
Girls just love the fucking accent. I just showed up my YouTube channel, so I'm actually doing pretty well with my life. I don't know. Do you have like a set, like being your character? Like when you've got the cars and stuff, is that an easier target for girls? Does that actually work? Girls slipping into DMs consistently with all the shit that you post on Instagram?
Yeah. So I'll answer that question twice. First, with girls approaching me, like I have quite a big Instagram. I have like 300,000, and I've got blue tick, and I've got McLarens and Lambos, all that shit. Do I get girls hitting me up on Instagram? Truthfully, not really. The odd one. But I mean, it depends. There's certain places in the world it happens. If I go to Dubai, I tag myself in Dubai, I start getting loads of inboxes from girls who are not want to go to Dubai, hoping I will fly them to Dubai. So I'll be in Dubai, I'll get a message, oh my God, can't wait to go back to Dubai. I'm like, oh, when are you coming? Oh, I'm in Rio, I'm just trying to find a way there, me and my two friends. Like basically just saying, fly me, please. But I'm not that guy, because there's something I want to make very, very clear. After you've lived my life, pimp, you can never go to being the customer. I can't be the customer. I can't pay for sex. I can't. If this girl genuinely loves me, of course I'll take care of her and I'll fly her. I'm not going to fly some random bitch I've never met and put her in a 5-star just for a bit of sex. I can't do that as a man, because I don't want to ever feel pimped. I can't go down. I won't enjoy that interaction. I can't do that. So I can't be a customer. So I'm a terrible sugar daddy target, because unless I know you actually love me, then of course I'll take care of you. Like, I'll buy me this handbag. And it's not about the money to me. Of course I can afford it. It's just, fuck you, deserve it. So a couple times I get that kind of thing, but in general, not really. In fact, I would actually say I'm too overt on socials. I think I put a lot of girls off. When I was smaller, when I was about 40,000 followers and I just got the blue tick and I was a lot calmer, I get a lot more replies from DMs than now. If I DM a girl now, they'll look at my page and go, no way on God's green earth is this man going to settle down and marry me. He's just going to fucking run around and bang everything that moves. I ain't got time for it. So I think I've gone too far with the socials. So that's that. But as for child lines and stuff, I think women are fantastic. You know, they talk about women's intuition. It's real. Women's intuition is a real thing. They've evolved with it. They've evolved to sense danger. Just like we used to said earlier about humans as an animalistic. Women have evolved to tell if you're a creepy weirdo. This is like this is to preserve their life. It's a preservation strategy. The women can talk to you for a few seconds and go, something's wrong. It's odd. They're good at detecting things. So I don't think it's very much what you say as it is how you say it. I know that's a bit cliche. But if you come across and you're genuinely confident and they can genuinely feel a vibe from you that's not creepy, you can say anything. I think you can go up to a girl and say, excuse me, sorry to interrupt to a friend. Be very polite and say, I just want to say you are absolutely beautiful. And if you say that in a way that's calm and nice and cool and come across nice, I don't want to ruin your night or nothing, but I'm going to buy you both a drink and I'll leave you alone. They're going to be, oh, okay, cool. I think you don't have to say anything fancy, right? But if you come over and you're like, oh, and you fuck it up, then you're a weirdo. So it's all about the delivery. I think that's how it kind of works.
What is a pimp to you?
A pimp is a positively inspirational and motivating person. A pimp, okay, so let me ask you something. Why would a woman work for a pimp in your mind?
Money? Scared?
No, but why wouldn't she work for herself?
I don't know.
Like, why would a woman work for a pimp as opposed to just do it by herself?
Too scared?
See, this is the thing. Everyone thinks it's fear because they can't think of any other reason why a woman would give her money away. Like, so they must be scared of this man. It's absolutely and utterly the complete opposite. This whole idea of pimping as through fear is just movie bullshit, bro. In the industry, they call it gorilla pimping, right? Gorilla pimping is when you scare a girl. How long can you scare a girl into giving you all her money? Years? No, she's going to leave. She's going to run off. She's going to call the police on you. You're going to have trouble. You can't stay out of jail and do that shit. Maybe if you're a crack dealer and she's a crackhead and the very, very bottom of the game. But you're not going to be scaring a nice young 19-year-old with a loving family at home into threatening her to give you all your money. That's just not real, right? So it's never fear. It's the absolute complete opposite of fear. It's safety. They feel safer working for you than they do by themselves. So even with webcam, they'd feel safer working for me than they would by themselves. If a girl's doing it by herself and the computer fucks up, she can't fix it. If the tax man calls, she can't fix it. If she has a bad day online, she starts feeling self-conscious. I got my tits out and nobody paid attention to me. Now I don't want to do this anymore. I'm self-conscious. If she works for me and says I had a bad day online, I'd say, no, that's not your fault. There's a huge football game on. Yeah, it's massive. The whole website's dead. In fact, you did the best. All the other girls did really bad. You did the best. Really? All a lie. Complete lie. There's no football game. She didn't do the best. She did shit. But don't worry, let's have the night off. Let's have a drink. She feels happy. I fixed the problem. You're a problem solver. It's better for her to give away a percentage to not have to worry about all this shit out there in the world. Her job becomes very simple if she works for a man. I just perform X amount of hours. I do what I'm supposed to do. And all the other magic, the money into the bank, all the magic, all the problems, it's all fixed. Oh, this crazy customer found my real Facebook. Don't worry, baby, I'll deal with him. What are you going to do? Don't worry, I'll deal with him. I'll just block him from the website. What are you doing? She'll think I went mafia on him. It's a game, right? So it's never fear. It's safety. There was never a girl who worked for me who was afraid of me. They felt safe with me. That was the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite of it. And what's really interesting is, this is going to really piss the feminists off, but I'll tell you it's the truth. It doesn't matter whether a woman wants to be a lawyer or a housemaker or a webcam girl. Unless she has a man directing her, she's going to fuck. They're just not built to be completely independent creatures. The women who go, I'm strong and independent. You're working for a man in a company and you're getting fucked by 10 men a month. It's a lie. You're just undesirable. That's what you are. There's no such thing as an independent female. They're all relying on a man to some degree. And if a woman wants to be very, very successful in her life, no matter what it is, whether she wants to be a gymnast, whatever she wants to be, at some point there's a man in charge telling her what to do. If you want to be the best webcam girl in the world, you want to make 50 grand a month, you need a man to make sure you do it. And another reason that they work for a man is because women are intrinsically lazy. You show a woman how to make $1,000 in an hour, she'll think, I can work 2 hours a week. You show a man how to make $1,000 in an hour, he thinks I can make $18,000 a day. You think about the world, right? So there's no way any of the girls who quit stop working for me. They fuck around with it. They wouldn't be serious. I'd make their ass do their shifts, and they'd make a bunch of money, right? So this is just the dynamic. The dynamic's beneficial for everybody. A woman will never work for a pimp out of fear. Never. That whole view on it is wrong. It's completely wrong. They will work for the same reason a woman will work, or a man, or anybody will work for any other corporation. I benefit from working for this corporation. I benefit from working for this person. That's all it is. There's no fear element. There's zero fear element.
How many levels in the pimp game is there? When you look at the corners, say you get the street because you've got the people maybe addicted to crack, you've got the little man driving about on the bike, and then you've got the Bugattis, the webcams. How many levels is there?
All right, so how many levels are there in the pimp game? That's a good question. I would not consider myself at the top of the game.
Why?
Because you know who's at the top of the pimp game? Every other job out here besides mine. If a girl worked for me, she got 20% of the money. Do you think the person working for McDonald's gets 20% of the money she rings up? You think the person working for Starbucks gets 20% of the money they ring up? They're getting less than 1%. That's pimping. You want to talk about pimping? They'll make you stand your ass up behind a fucking till all day in the cold, in the heat, flipping burgers for minimum wage while taking thousands of dollars in an hour, and they're going to pay you $7 an hour. That's pimping. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm buying the girls Gucci handbags and giving them 20% of their turnover. I'm a shit pimp. I'm terrible. All these businesses out here, they're the kings of pimping. You don't know what pimping is? A government locking you in your house, telling you that you're going to go broke, lose your company, and your children are going to starve, but it's for your safety because you might catch the common cold. That's pimping. You want to talk about the pimping of the world? I'm very low down the scale, my friend. There are much higher levels than me. This whole world is a pimp game. There's two kinds of people. There's pimps and trips. That's all it is. You're either the pimp or you're being pimped one way or another by somebody or something. I was nothing. I took women who were getting exploited in a normal job, told them they can put a bra on and become rich, and started paying girls thousands. I was nothing but a philanthropist. I'm nothing but a feminist. I promote women to be the best they can possibly be. I'm no pimp. I'm a terrible pimp. All these other jobs out here are pimping. The BBC, when it convinces women to not have children and dedicate their lives to some bullshit career in PR, that's pimping. People are getting destroyed out here. I never installed a frame in a woman's mind that was negative. I never taught her to do anything or be anything or think anything that was going to be detrimental to her life. I made sure every single action she took benefited her. It benefited her bank account at least. I've never done anything bad to anybody. A lot of people out there go, oh yeah, but you exploited, Man, we can walk across there to that McDonald's and you can talk about exploitation. I'm a shit pimp. So you want to talk about the levels of pimping? Everything above me is a better pimp than me, man. Everything.
What do you think, like, everything that you're doing now, looking back in your life, still young, 34, what do you think? What's your honest opinion? Are you happy with it all? Or do you want, obviously you said you want more, but...
I've lived a very, very eclectic life, and I really believe that the key to my experiences and the key to how I view the world is the fact that I've lived such an eclectic life. I have had such different experiences. I've been broke. I've been a millionaire. I've been a pimp. I've been a fighter. You know, I've done so many different things. And I really think that, like we said, it's the juxtaposition. It's the contrast that makes life interesting. I'm happy with every single element of my life. And even if I wasn't, I would refuse to admit that I'm not, right? This is the life I've lived. I accept all of it. If I've made a mistake in the past, it was the best thing, I believe. At the time, I thought it was the best thing to do. This is another thing about people. I get, it's kind of weird. On my YouTube channel, I talk a lot about like mental rigidity and these kind of things, right? And I get a lot of people messaging me and they're very like, look, I'm very depressed, but I've been watching your videos and I want to kind of think like you. I want to be happier, etc. I made this big mistake 2 years ago and I lost my wife, whatever. And I try and explain to them that if you did what you believed was best at the time, hindsight's a bitch, right? If you did what you believed was best at the time, what are you mad for? Every mistake I made in my life, at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. So I'm not going to be mad at past me. And every single bad thing that's happened to me, every single piece of trauma that's happened in my life has led me here. So if you're happy with where you are currently, then you have to be happy for every bad thing that's ever happened to you. Genuinely, right? If you look at your life now and go, I'm quite happy with where I am, then you have to be happy with every single shit day you've had because you wouldn't end up here any other way. You know, I wouldn't have grown as a man if my father didn't die. You learn a lot about yourself as a man when your father dies. So, of course, I wish my father was alive, right? But if I'm happy with my life now and where it is, you have to accept every shitty day and every single lesson. So, yeah, I'm happy for all of it, the good and the bad, my friend. I'm smiling. I'm breathing. I'm alive. And there's a whole bunch of people out here in the world today who are not going to be breathing by the end of it. And there's a whole bunch of people out here in the world today who are going to have those distraught days we were talking about earlier. Something shit's going to happen to them. Their family's going to be in a car crash. As long as that shit ain't happening to me, I am smiling. You cannot depress me. You can't piss on my Cheerios.
All the material stuff, like all the cars, the $4 million cars, the penthouses, all the girls. But when you're achieving all that, and when you're doing all that, how does your dad ever come into your mind and think, fuck me, I would give all this up just to spend another day with him?
1,000% I would. Not even fucking close. It's not even close. I'd give up absolutely everything to be with him. But you know what's funny? I'll tell you a story about his funeral. My dad died when I was in Romania, and I had just moved my business from London to Romania, and I was in this apartment with 6 girls, and we were supposed to work, and I just bought all new equipment, and I had to leave England, and I bought this new house, and I spent all my money, right? I was supposed to have a bunch of money. This was before I got big. So I had some money, but I'd spent all of it. And then my dad died, of course. And then I was supposed to go to his funeral. So I was going to have to get up and leave Romania, fly all the way to Alabama, stay in America for a few weeks. And then I knew by the time I came back, all the girls were going to quit or leave and all this kind of thing. So I had to make a big decision. And I remember when I first started making my money and my dad was still alive, the first thing I did with my money, was retire my mom. It's the first thing I did. So how much do you get paid? She told me. I said, I tripled it. You're not working. So I retired my mom, and I had to make the choice whether I stay there and focus on the business or go to my dad's funeral. And I remember my dad's lessons. My dad would have been furious if I fucked up the financial stability of the family and of my mother and of my brother to just go to his funeral. My dad knew I loved him. I spoke to him every single day. And from what he taught me, he's a chess player. He's a logical man, right? Get your business running, then come to the grave, do it that way. So of course I would have rather, if I could give all this up now to get my dad back, of course I would, but I can't, right? So what's the best thing to do? To live without my father poor or live without my father rich? Those are the two choices. I may as well do it rich. I made the choice to miss his funeral, to take care of my mother, to build my empire. It's paid off fantastically. To this day, my mother's still retired. You know, my mother was, at the time, she was cleaning dishes in a school kitchen in Luton. And now she gets to drive a nice car and live in Spain for most of the year. So I did the right thing. And I know my father, if he's looking down on me, would be very, very proud of me because I made the logical decision. So, of course, there's things far more important than material things. I say this all the time because when you have money, people think, he has money, but he doesn't have anything else. You know, all he has is money. I say, well, there's not much above money. You have love, right, of the people who you care about and they care about you. You have health, because nothing's worth anything if you're dying, right? There's no point in being a billionaire if you're sick. And after love and health, what can't money buy? Isn't that number 3? You know, like money is extremely important. Trying to say money doesn't matter is a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism that poor people have so they don't shoot themselves in the head. The smartest thing rich people ever did was come along and say to all the poor people, money doesn't make you happy. Don't worry, I'll keep all the money because it doesn't make you happy. Have you seen any of them give it away? You ever seen a rich man give his money away? No, they say money doesn't make you happy. You keep slaving away for minimum wage. I'll stay over here a millionaire, but I'm not happy, so don't worry. Don't be jealous. Bollocks. I know plenty of people out there who are millionaires who have a loving family, a loving wife, who are in perfect health, and their life is fantastic. Like me. So you don't just as soon as you get money doesn't mean you lose love of your family and shit. That's not true at all.
Do you get people saying to you, oh, he's just masking something?
Yeah, of course. Oh, like, what's the one they say? If you have a fast car, you have a small dick, right? And like, oh, they say that, though. Oh, you're compensating. It's like, bro, maybe I can just afford it and you can't. Has that ever crossed your mind that you're broke and I'm not, and I may as well just buy one?
How does a feminist come towards you? Do they target you?
Well, yeah, the reason I upset feminists so much is because the typical feminist tactic is to cancel somebody, right? To come at somebody and call them misogynist and call them all these things, and then that person loses their career or they're slandered. You can't slander me, because I will state right now that I am absolutely sexist and I'm absolutely a misogynist. And I have fuck you money, and you can't take it away. So I'll say what I want, because I'm a realist, and when you're a realist, you're sexist. There's no way you can be rooted in reality and not be sexist. If you're about to get on a plane and that plane's going to fly through a hurricane and there's a 50-50 chance of it crashing and dying, do you want a male pilot or a female pilot?
It's the fucking good pilot I want.
That is such a politically correct answer, and it's a lie.
Is that?
We all know you'd want a man to fly that plane. You would not want some woman to walk up the stairs. Hi, guys. We're about to go into the hurricane. You'd be like, what? Whoa. Give me an old white-haired man. Everyone knows it. You're about to have brain surgery, and there's a 3% chance of success. 97% chance going to fuck up and you're going to die. Are you more confident going to sleep seeing a man surgeon or a female surgeon?
To be honest, man, it would be to get the fucking, I don't know, however the best was at the time.
Well, that's good. And I respect your very neutral view on the world. But I'll tell you on my life experience, because this is how we view the world, right? We're all biased. No, we're all biased based on our experiences, right? I have seen so many women fail to park and crash cars and do dumb shit. I do not want a female pilot flying me through a hurricane. I've seen enough female driving of all vehicles to know that shit is a bad idea, and I want a male pilot. Am I sexist? Yes. Why? Because of my experiences of the world. I am a realist. I am absolutely and utterly a realist. And if you're a realist, you're sexist. I believe women are better at some things and men are better at some things. I do not believe we're equal and all the same and we can be interchanged. I believe that certain roles suit females and certain roles suit males. Let me ask you another question then, because you're Mr. Non-Sexist. Let me ask you another question. Would you drop your child off in a daycare where it was run only by men?
No. Women only.
There you go then. So you do have a gender.
Only, but
so you do have a gender bias.
Yeah.
So gender bias exists, right?
Yeah,
so
but I don't know every pilot, every fucking. I agree with you with the driving thing though. Women are dodgy drivers. I will agree with you for that. But for a pilot, I don't know who's. But I would want the most
competent.
Yeah, who was bang on it, and
of course,
who's flew through storms and
completely.
So I wouldn't just go right. I'm going to take the man. I would try and evaluate every fucking angle.
Completely, and it's obviously a generalization. But my point is, in certain roles in society, we trust females, like with our kids, and in other roles, like danger, we trust men. This is general, right? So I'm a sexist. I'm a misogynist. I'm misogynistic because I believe that females are weaker than men. That makes me a bad person in the feminist mind.
There's genes in it.
It's true. It's fucking true. If someone breaks in the house, I'm not sending her to fight. It's my job, right? I have to risk my life to protect her. So when someone doesn't break in the house and I ask her for breakfast, I expect it to be made. Like, this is the roles. This is the normal gender roles. But these are the normal gender roles that got us here. People try and pretend that this is evil and bad. The modern world was built on these gender roles. The pyramids, going to the moon, the city of London, the fucking Suez Canal, everything on the planet was built on woman obeying her man in the family. That's how we got to this point. This is the first time in history women have turned up and said, we don't want to listen anymore. And everyone's pretending that that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying we don't know. It's never been tested. We've never tested this new world where women don't want to listen to men at all. They're all saying it's going to lead to some utopia. I personally don't believe that. You know, what is the statistical odds? You're a smart man. Do the math for me. What's the statistical odds of every single society since the dawn of human time being led by men? I'm not, and it couldn't have been an idea that spread, right?
100%.
Yeah, because you have Aztecs and the Mao dynasty. You have the Brazil and China. They never spoke. So the idea couldn't spread, right? But just by coincidence, in every single society since the dawn of human time, the men were in charge. What's the odds of that if it was a coin flip per society? 0% chance, right? So men are obviously designed to lead. Now, I'm sure there was probably at some point in history a female-led society that was tested. But the reason we don't discuss them is because they have no history, because they were annihilated and destroyed by the male-led societies, because the male-led societies are more efficient. And in the cold light of the world and the brutal realities of life, efficiency wins. So the male-led societies are more efficient. They raise better armies. They build better cities. And when they find some fucking bunch of Nancy boys run by women, they fuck them up and they're dead. And they don't have a history and we don't find any remains and there's no fucking cathedral to discover because they never built shit. Every single society that was successful since the dawn of human time was male-led, all of them. And then the last 30 years, they've come along and saying, let's put women in charge. It's going to be good for us. Well, I don't think it will be. And the problem is this whole women in charge crap is Western. Chinese aren't putting women in charge. The Russians aren't putting women in charge. You think we're going to stand around here letting women rule us, beat a bunch of fucking cowards, and the China and Russia aren't going to conquer the world? Let's talk in 100 years. And I guarantee there'll be a history class. There'll be a history class where the Chinese say, do you remember when America just completely handed over to feminism and all this other crap? And we just destroyed them in 20 short years. That's what's going to happen.
What do you think of it? Transgenders going and reading nursery stories and from...
Leave the kids alone. If you want to chop your dick off, I have nothing against that. I'm not anti-gay. I'm not anti-transgender. I'm not anti any of these things. What I am anti is propagating your worldview on other people's children. If you're gay and you can't have kids, why do you now believe it's your right to go to other people's kids and tell them how to think? If you've decided that the type of sex you want to have will prevent you from procreating, that's your decision, right? You've decided that having sex with women isn't worth it for you. You don't want to have children. You want to have sex with men. Fine, your decision and you're entitled to it. That does not give you the entitlement to go to other people's families who did decide to have children and raise them and try and program their children. Leave the kids alone. You can be as transgender as you like. Don't come talk to my kid about it. That's my child. I will program my child with my worldviews. I raise them. I pay for them. They're my kid. They're not your kid. And they're not the government's kid. And this is what I was saying earlier about women being blank slates. Same with children, right? You either program your woman and program your children, or society will do it. Do you believe the lessons that society are putting inside of people today are good lessons? I don't. I will not send my kids to school. I don't think they're going to learn anything. Do you know how many fucking teachers I've seen pissed out of their minds, sucking cock in fucking corner on pub toilets on cocaine? I'm a teacher. You ain't got shit to teach my kid. You're an idiot, right? I can teach him to fucking do math at home. We have the internet. We have unlimited information. I can say Google World War II, write a report, boom, talk tomorrow. And with discipline, my kid will know more than any kid in any public school without the indoctrination, without all the fucking propaganda. That's what all this shit is. All this shit's very deliberate. Governments know what they're doing when they're trying to propagandize. And I think a lot of people do not understand yet because most people still live inside of the matrix.
Conditioning.
It's conditioning.
Sit at a desk, 5 years old, sit at a desk, 65, retire.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's conditioning.
Learn how, because what happens is we don't use the right side of the brain, which is the fake vision and individuality. We're all scared to be different now. And as soon as you are different, people fucking point the fingers and then they just jump back in their box. So it's so easy to label. What do you think about people who's been identifying as pandas and fucking
It's
unicorns?
insanity. And everyone knows it's insanity, but we're not supposed to say it's insanity, right? And it's kind of interesting where a government, their number one job, a lot of people out here, it's still amazing, they believe the government cares. They don't give a fuck. Corona, well, they locked us in our house, but they want us safe. More people have died from missed doctor's appointments for cancer diagnosis than they do. Shut up. They don't want you safe. They've never cared about you being safe. They never will care about you being safe. You believe the government wants you safe, you are too far gone to save. What the government wants is slaves. Slavery's not gone anywhere, right? So the old school idea of slavery, let's talk about slavery. Government would get slaves. make them work for free and build things. That's slavery. So they've stopped doing that now. So what do now? They get people, make them build things for money. But the government can print all the money. So if a government can create as much as they want of something from thin air, and you give up your life for this thing they can create from thin air as much as they want, you are still their slave. That's it. You used to be a slave and you'd work all day, and at the end you got food in the house. Now, you work all day, you get money, and you spend all your money on food and house. Like, nothing, slavery is still here, my friends. Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed. And what they want is they want slaves. They want slaves who are going to comply, pay their taxes. And whatever kind of indoctrination or societal programming they can instill inside of people that can keep them doing that, they're going to do. Anything it takes to stop people waking up and realizing, whoa, the government's fucking me here. Let's forget Corona. Let's forget locking us all in our houses and taking our business away. I'm paying how much tax? What? They're helping me how much? If you actually wake up and look around you, you realize you're being destroyed in real time. We can talk about this a lot because I understand money very well. This is what I do now. I gave up professional fighting to understand money. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. They were talking about Joe Biden and his relief checks. He gave out $1,400 to all the people in America because of Corona. He's saying, don't you think he's good that he's helping the poor? I said, you think that helps the poor? Let's talk about this. You give 100 people a $1,400 check, right? Everyone understands you can't just leave it in the bank forever because of inflation. The value goes down. Because what happens when they print trillions of dollars from the sky, the dollar becomes less valuable. And now we're living in a world right now where inflation's getting out of control, especially in America, right? In the last year, inflation's up like 6-7%. So no poor person is going to take that money and just leave it in the bank. They're going to either spend it or invest it. Let's say there's 100 poor people and the 100 poor people spend their money. What do they spend it with? Businesses. Who owns businesses? Rich people. So now each one rich person who owns a business gets 10 poor people's money or 20 poor people's money. Amazon, their stock price went up 30%. Why? Because people were getting stimulus checks and spending it on Amazon. It all went to the rich guy. And then they go, oh yeah, but what about if they invest it? Invest it where? Invest it in the stock market? That increases the stock price. Who owns the company? Rich people. You've made them richer. What if you and all your poor friends, 20 poor friends, be more than 20, 200 poor friends, put all your money in together and bought one house between you? That still takes one house off the market and raises the property value of that area. Who already owns those expensive houses? It always ends up back with the rich people. You can't stop making the rich richer. You cannot stop it. People inside the matrix don't understand what's happening. And they're going to sit there and go, but the government cares about me. He gave me $1,400. The government doesn't give a shit about you. The government is looking after its friends. The government gave all the slaves a little bit of pocket money so they can send it all to the rich guys. It's all a scam. And people inside of the matrix do not understand. It's all a scam. It's all a lie. The idea that government cares about them is a lie. The government is never going to tell you anything that's going to wake you up. The government's going to teach you things that are going to make you subservient and compliant. They're going to tell you all this crap about identifying as a panda and all this other shit is not an accident. When they can convince the average person on the street to pretend that some other person is a panda because they said so, you are fully in the slave mindset. When it comes on the news, if someone says they're a panda, you have to agree they're a panda. Otherwise, you are racist and a bigot. And you go, okay, you are done. You are now full slave mode. And that's all they want. So you will continue to work your shit job for shit money while they continue to do whatever the fuck they like. It's all a scam. Let me tell you something, man. When this Corona thing was going on, I flew here from Romania on Wizz Air. Because you can't get first-class flights into Europe. It's all these low-cost carriers. I'm flying Wizz Air. I have a mask on. Excuse me, sir.
on this planet?
Do I believe in God? That's a good question. I do believe in God.
I believe in a higher power. I don't know, but why do you think we're here? What the brain, how it works, the heart, the kidneys, the liver, how it all functions, the central nervous system.
It is interesting. It's certainly interesting.
Like, you think avatars or fucking stimulators?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have a whole bunch. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of theories on what it.
Things change from week to week. I could watch something and go, oh, that makes sense. But like, I watched, what's the one with Jim Carrey? The Truman Show.
Yeah.
You've got Avatar, and then you've got The Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, why are all those films there as well? Is that to fucking trick with your mind?
It's true.
It's like,
it's true.
I question everything.
Yep.
It's not that I sit in the fence, I question every angle.
Yep.
What you're saying, what I'm saying,
yep.
What the feminist says, what the fucking panda says, transgender says. Who says they're not right, they're not right?
Yeah.
We could be full of shit.
Of course we could.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course we could. So absolutely we could.
I question all, but what's your opinion on life, humans, why we're here, who invented us, who brought us here?
I don't know, but what I do know is I do believe that it is the paramount importance. Maybe this is a very boring answer. I think that every single person should be aiming to, I know this is a very animalistic answer, but we're here to reproduce, and I think the most important thing anyone can do in their life is have children. I'm super pro-children. When I speak to some of these feminists and like, I don't want kids, I think you are the most miserable, stupid bitch in the world. You're born with this gift to create life, and you think it's more important to eat microwave dinners and make 40 grand a year and talk about your career. You're an idiot. I think that truly you live forever through your genes and through your blood. And for me, why I'm on the planet, I've had a whole bunch of ancestors who worked very hard to stay alive for me to exist. Like, they were dodging saber-toothed tigers and shit. Like, think about my bloodline, all the crap they've been through just to get to this one point at the end. And I'm going to be like, I don't want kids. I want to play video games. I want to be a feminist. Like, I don't know. Why am we on the planet? We're on the planet to reproduce. And I think we all have lessons to learn and teach our children. And I think that's the most important thing we can do. I don't think there's anything more important than that. I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but I think that's basically it. And when I look at, like, talk back about depression and shit. So the first thing I think, this is a bit controversial. The first thing I think when I see like someone committed suicide or something, I understand we all have trouble and bad things happen. I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it. But isn't that super disrespectful to, like, just even like your parents? Like, they went through all that shit. So you jump off the fucking bridge. If my kid did that, I'd be pissed. I'm like, are you fucking moron? I wouldn't give him a funeral, but fuck him, write him off. Like, I just think it's ultimately selfish. I think it's super, super selfish. Who's the guy from Linkin Park who killed himself? You know.
Oh, yeah.
He has 4 kids. I don't give a shit how bad your life is.
All stations, green line. We're deploying to the war
You have children. That should be reason enough to live for anybody on the planet. I truly believe. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Your kids are still breathing. You got a fucking problem. And you're not a man who's going to say, fuck them kids. I'm sad. Then you're a dick. Fuck. So I believe we all have a duty to our bloodline and a duty to our ancestors, and that duty is to reproduce the best we can, and to put I said it earlier, a ripple in the pond of reality, to put a tear in the fabric of Earth. This is why I try and live my life the way I do. I want to make an impact on people. I want people to remember this podcast and think, I fucking hate that guy. But it doesn't matter. Because I've said things they'll at least remember, even for all the wrong reasons, right? I think the more of us that try and put a bend in space-time, I think the better the world will be as a whole. There's too much conformism.
Why do you think suicide is on the rise, though, for men? And it's only,
I'll tell you about this.
And a high percentage.
I'll tell you why. Because life's depressing as a man. We talk about depression all the time, and we don't talk about things being depressing. They're different things. I don't believe in depression. I do believe in depressing. The idea of clinical depression as a disease, I reject absolutely, and I do not believe in. I believe that certain things can happen that will make you feel depressed. And I believe that it's an evolutionary instinct humans have to warn them that there's something they're unhappy about in their life. If I went to jail now for the rest of my life, I'd be depressed. I've not caught a disease. I've not caught depression. I'm just in a shit situation that's depressing me. A lot of people say to me, oh yeah, I'm depressed and I'm fat and I can't get a girlfriend. No, sorry. A lot of people say to me, I can't get a girlfriend because I'm depressed. I say, no, you're depressed because you can't get a girlfriend. They're different things, right? A lot of people are pretending depression is why their life is shit, when in reality, their life is shit, which is why they're depressed, right? This idea that we propagate that it's a disease you catch, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it strikes out of nowhere, and it's just going to ruin your life. I don't believe that. I completely don't believe that. I believe that the number one cure for depression for 99% of people on the earth is $10 million. You find me someone depressed in the fucking ghetto in Glasgow, and let's give him a ton of money, and watch his fucking face light up. Bollocks if you got a disease, my friend. You haven't got a disease, you're unhappy with your surroundings. And the reason men kill themselves is because for the majority of men, life is depressing. Day goes by day, you're getting older, a woman won't fuck you, you're too old to get another one, there's no milk in the fridge, fuck it. This is shit. I'm shit. I'm depressed. Well, duh. I'd be depressed too. That's not a disease. That's a shitty life. If you were George Clooney, you'd be fine, right? But all these people who are like in charge of the world, this is what people don't understand. I say this and they go, oh, why do the celebrities talk about depression then? Why do the people in charge talk about depression? Because they have good lives. I'll tell you why. Because it's a control mechanism. Everything I just told you all about slavery, everything I told you all about the people in charge, the elites, trying to keep the slaves in line, depression is one of the tools they use. If they convince you that depression's real, you are too busy living inside of your own mind and being selfish to look around you and understand the real world. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you think that the people in charge of Earth are going to let someone become a Hollywood celebrity and have massive influence and let them say whatever they want? No, they're going to tell them. You're going to talk about depression and mental illness, and you're going to do it in a way pretending you care about it, but really you're going to promote it. You're going to convince every sad person out there that they cannot fix it and there's nothing they can do about it. So they stay sad and stay depressed, because if they start to wake up and feel happy, they'll look around and realize that they're getting shafted. So let's keep them all sad enough to not do anything about it, but okay enough to still work the machines. It's a control mechanism. Depression is used by the elites to keep the poor people oppressed. It's another mind trick. You're all sad. It's okay. You can't help it. You're all sad. You can't help it. It's bullshit. You can't tell me I'm fucking sad, and you can't tell me I can't help it. I don't care if you're Angelina Jolie or what doctor, whoever the fuck you are. You cannot tell me I can't control my mind. Andrew, if you got depressed, you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I reject that. I reject that absolutely. If I got depressed, I would fix it because I'm Andrew Tate. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, really, Angelina Jolie? Oh, shit. Well, I felt sad yesterday. Maybe I'm still sad now. Maybe I am depressed. And then you just become another cog in the machine. It's all a control mechanism. And the more people who buy into this, the worse. But to answer your original question about why men are killing themselves, because life for a man is harder than life for a woman. Most men live depressing lives. Women have an innate value that prevents them from ever being truly depressed. You can be the fattest, ugliest bitch in the world. You can go to the club tonight and get some dick. You can't. True or false? True or false? You can always get a new experience. At least you can feel wanted for 10 minutes by that fucking crazy Congolese dude who'll bang anything. But at least you'll feel wanted for 10 minutes, right? For most men out here, they can't even feel wanted. Wife left them. No, they're invisible to women. Their kids don't talk to them. They're just not wanted. They're not wanted by anyone. Of course they're depressed. This is a unique situation that happens to men. This does not happen to women. So of course more men kill themselves. On top of that, society has huge burdens on men. You can be a woman and be 40 and be broke. No one gives a shit. If you're a man and you're 40 something and you're fucking broke and ain't got a car, people are a bit like, how the fuck did you fuck your life up, bro? You're 40, you ain't got a car. We're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be rich. We're supposed to be interesting. Gotta have jokes, gotta have chab lines, right? Gotta be charming, gotta be cool, experiences, stories. You need to have a lot of shit to be an important man. To be a woman, you need makeup. If you're a hot woman, if you're truly beautiful, you don't need anything else. I've been on boats in Dubai with 19-year-old Moldovan girls. The guy who got that boat needed $100 million. That bitch, makeup. Same boat, bro. Same boat. That's how hard it is. Look at a game of chess. The king moves one square at a time. He has to really work his way all across the board. What does the queen do? Zips here, zips there. Easy for a chick, right? Now, if you're an ugly bitch, you can go, oh, yeah, it's fine for the hot ones, but I'm an ugly one. Well, if you're an ugly bitch, fine. But to a lesser extent, you can do the same thing. You can still go out, down the high street, get a kebab and a shag and a pint. Done. Like, the women never going to be in a situation where they look around and they're like, I am actually completely alone. And that's the worst thing that will happen to a person, I think, is true loneliness. And that's why men kill themselves. And that's why it's super important that we stop teaching people that depression is something that can't be fixed. I say this all the time. Every single mental health month, depression's the worst thing in the world. It's disease. You think you're helping. You're doing the opposite. Stop telling people that they can't fix it. Stop telling them it's a disease that's not their fault, and start telling people, look, if you work hard, you can feel better. You're depressed now, but if you go to the gym and you work out and you train, you get a good body, you start getting social, you get some friends, go to some social clubs, start to meet people, start to do things, you will feel better. That is far more healthy than talking about it's a disease we can't fix, take these pills. The gym has been proven to fix more depression than antidepressants. It's been proven. This is statistical. So when I say depression isn't real, people say, what you're saying is dangerous and you're going to hurt people. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to wake people the fuck up. If you're watching this and you're depressed, go to the gym tomorrow morning. And I guarantee you, if you're, no matter how depressed you are, if you're considering suicide, promise me this, get a six-pack first. And by the time you got the six-pack, you won't want to do it. That's how it works. This is why not enough men are motivated enough. And this is why I have to keep moving. This is why you talked about earlier, is it ever enough? I can never be depressed if I never slow down. Speed is extremely important. Speed defies gravity. How does a plane fly through the air and defy gravity? Speed. It's moving too fast to fall. If you're always attacking life, if you're always doing things, if you're always making more money, if you're always traveling the world, doing this, doing that, new car, here, there, new podcast, reading James English, boom, boom, boom. If you're always doing things all the time, unhappiness can't catch you.
You think you could slip if you stopped?
I don't think I would because of how my mind works, but I also know that speed is a fantastic way to be happy all the time. I'm always looking forward to something. I wake up every day excited. I'll go do this today. I'll go do this today. I'll go do this today. And I very much live my life in a frame of, no, I have to do this. It's very much a, I get to do this. There's another thing that a lot of people make a mistake with when I talk to them, like, I have to go to work today. Change your language. I get to go to work today. Imagine you had no job. It'd be worse, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't be working. So you get to go to work. I have to fix the car. At least you have a car. Get to fix your car. Most people don't got one. I have to go get the kids. Get to go get the kids because you have these beautiful children who love you. You understand? People's even their own language is wrong. The world can be framed. Maybe I'm completely crazy. Maybe I'm full of shit. You say. Maybe I am. But the frames I've installed in my mind are all beneficial to me. So if that makes me crazy and full of shit, because I can't become depressed. So you can sit there and tell me I'm full of shit while you're depressed, and I'm happy. And I would never want to adopt the thinking of a depressed person. So if you're depressed and telling me I'm full of shit, I don't want to think like you anyway.
What about moving forward for the future, Tate? What's the plans? What's the visions? Taking over the world one day at a time?
Well, hopefully you'll stay my friend when you become Mr. Hollywood, when you're up there on fucking prime time. Hopefully you'll answer the phone when I call. I don't know, man. I take it a day at a time, and I'm looking forward to all the stages of life, right? When you're younger, you want to act crazy. When you're older, you want to be calm. I'm looking forward to being a granddad and all this other old stuff. I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to telling my stories with a pipe and enjoying it. Life changes as time goes on, and I think you need to embrace it day by day. And I don't really have too much of a grand plan at this point. At this point, wouldn't necessarily say I have one, but all in all, things are well. I've got an organization I run called the War Room, which I'll mention quickly. That's got over 1,000 men in it from all around the world. And it kind of is based on the things we've been talking about in this podcast. It's a lot of mental programming. It's a lot of financial advice, how to make money. And then we also teach some other elements to try and make people beyond control. So my number one thing I'm working on at the moment is the War Room. What we do for our members is we teach them how to make more money. We talk a lot about mental programming stuff. I teach everything I know about the pimp game from head to toe. Not because I'm saying men should go out there and pimp women or start webcam businesses, but a lot of men take all the frames I used in my webcam business and applied it to their marriage, and they've said, my marriage has never been better. It's amazing, because women are women and men are men, right? So I'm like, if I can use this and 20 women gave me a bunch of money, your woman can make you a coffee. Look, frame it this way, say it this way. So I teach everything about that. And another thing we're really big on is we help people get multiple passports and multiple residencies, multiple bank accounts, because I believe if you're watching this and you have any kind of money at all, number one priority as the world reopens should be getting as many passports and residencies as possible, because slavery is absolutely coming to the world. And if you're stuck under the control of one government, you're going to be fucked. The reason I've managed to go to 16 or 17 countries during lockdowns is because I have 7 passports, and always one of them was accepted. And I think now Corona has proven to all of us that the government has no problem locking you in your house for basically no reason and restricting your movement. And what you need to do is you can no longer live off-grid. That's impossible in the modern world. You need to live on as many grids as possible. So right now I'm in the UK. but they can't stop me leaving because I'll use my American passport. I'm an American going home to America. So I can go to America anytime I want, go to England anytime I want, I can go to Africa, I can go anywhere I want. No one stopped me doing anything. So we also teach that inside the war room. And the goal is to try and create men who are sovereign, who have passports, who have residencies, who have bank accounts, who are above governmental control. They're making a bunch of money. They have healthy relationships with females. They live very good lives. And that's my primary concern at the moment, is the war room. So
We'll leave all your links in the description also.
Perfect.
Obviously, I want to set you up, Playboy, with the feminist. I think it'll be a very interesting chat. So if any feminists out there, you want to take a pot shot at Tate, then fire forward. But I will set that up when next time you're in the UK.
I would love to talk to a feminist because I would save her life.
But a lot of people are watching you think, very positive guy, doesn't give a fuck, saying it how it is. Realistically, it's the way it should be. Yes, I agree with some of your things and I disagree with some also, just like I do with everybody in life. These are my opinions. Everybody sees the world differently. You see the world differently from me. It all kind of makes a bit of sense where people think, do you know what, he's got the balls to say it, because men are losing their balls.
They certainly are, and I also feel compelled to say it because I'm in a fortunate situation where I can't be cancelled, I can't be fired, I can't get in trouble for saying these things. Like most people, if you work for the post office, whatever, you can't say the shit I've said. So I feel because I'm in this position, I'm compelled to say them because I have a unique opportunity. But all in all, I genuinely want the best for everybody, and I look forward to speaking to this feminist, and I hope I can deprogram her and she can get her ass married and have some kids and make her man a dinner and finally become a good woman and stop talking shit. So I look forward to being the feminist, and I'll fix her brain. No problem.
But for coming on today and telling your story, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Thank you, bro.
You're a big character, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.
Check out more of my podcasts on the right. Be sure to like, share, and comment your thoughts on this week's podcast. Thank you.
It's time for some target practice.
Alright boys, welcome to a fucking big full send podcast episode. We just flew all the way to Croatia. We fucking hopped on a plane, we're in Croatia. We got Andrew Tate right here, lighting up a cigar. Guy loves cigars, it's a good sign. What's good, you ready for the pod? Get for the pod? Let's go.
I'm ready to.
Do you have extra cigars or what are these? Wait, what are these? Hey, what the fuck is this, boys? Are we good, or we could have the cigars come in mid-show, right, Andrew? Or you want to start with the cigar?
We can do. I just want to make sure we fuck it up.
Whose duty is that? Yeah, who's on cigar duty right now?
The chick, Tash. She's supposed to be getting them.
Like your girl?
It's a chick, one of my chicks. Yeah. One of my wives. Got 4 wives. I'm from Ethiopia.
That's one of your wives? For real, or is that a girlfriend? I haven't seen her in a minute. So wait, when you bring a girl, when you bring like a girl, is she a girlfriend or just a girl for the trip?
Girlfriend.
Yeah. So you like you put her on cigar duty?
Well, if I need a cigar, then I would ask her to go politely get me a cigar, yeah.
What if she said no?
How could she possibly say no to me?
What if she's like, why do I have to get your cigars? Like, get your own cigars.
Why do I have to put you on a private jet to fucking Croatia? Fuck off then.
There you go.
Wait. So how many girlfriends?
Me?
Yeah.
And I'm a man of God. I'm a good man. I don't want to be in this podcast. I'm trying to tell the world I'm some kind of horrible, evil misogynist. Everyone seems to think I am for some reason.
I think it's great to have multiple.
Do you?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, do you have like a ranking system? Like you have a main piece and then side girls? How does that work?
I'm a man of God. I read the Bible. I go to church. I don't know. I can't possibly answer these questions. This is obviously going to be watched by every single female that has any kind of association to me, and I'm loyal to all of them.
That's awesome.
There you go. So do the math on that one. See, baby, I told you I was loyal. Don't worry about it.
So
I'm
would
loyal
you-
to all of you at the same time.
You think it's possible for a man to be loyal to one girl?
I think it's possible for men to do lots of things. Sure, you can go to the moon. You can be loyal to one girl. You can go scuba diving if you want to. I don't think that if men were truly honest with themselves that they want to be, I think men are loyal to a woman to try and inspire loyalty out of her. A man will sit there and go, I only want to be with her. But really what they're saying is, I only want her to be with me, which is a masculine imperative, and it's natural, and I completely understand that. Every man's the same. But if you could make a woman be loyal to you while not being loyal to her, then you would not be loyal to her. If a man's truly honest and says, if I can press this button and she's loyal to me no matter what I do, am I still going to only be with her? Now, you might prefer her. You might spend 99% of your time with her, etc. Completely get that. But on a long enough time frame for the rest of your human life, she's going to be loyal to you regardless. So you telling me that without any kind of backlash from her, without the chance of her cheating, without any bullshit, you're going to tell me for the next 50 years you're not going to fuck anything ever once?
If she let you, why not? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like everyone would agree to that.
Everyone would agree to it, right?
So it's different for men and women.
It's completely different for men and women, and it's also different because a lot of people misunderstand what I say. It's different for men of a certain status, right? If you're a man who has his shit together at a certain level of status, you can say to a woman, look, I love you with all my heart. I want to be with you. I'm going to take care of you, but you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm in charge because this is my life. You're on the Tate train, and we're headed to Success Station. I'm the one driving it, and if you're going to be on my train, certain things are going to happen. If you're unhappy, you get off. No problem.
I feel like you've been experiencing that as like a high-value male. Me and Salim kind of just started. I'm hoping Steiny gets there one day. But once you get there, it'll be dope. When you get into the high-value area, it's like, it's pretty fire.
Well, if you're hard to replace, then you're going to accept more things than you would accept from someone who's easy to replace, right? This is basic human psychology. We can take it away from dating and apply it to basically anything. You will accept your Lamborghini breaking down because it's hard to replace it. You will not accept your Toyota breaking down because you can just go get a Nissan. So it's the same kind of game, right? If you look at a guy and go, he is amazing at everything, I truly feel, I feel happy with this man. I can't find another man on his level who could possibly replace him or fill the hole in my life he would leave. Sometimes he fucks that bitch. Oh, fine. You're more likely to accept it. That's human nature, right? It's not even about intersexual dynamics and all the things I talk about, even though I could use those examples to apply all of my beautiful, completely correct, logical, affirmations. The reason I don't do that is because everyone comes back and says misogynist. So fine, cool. Stop them all crying. Let's talk about human nature. People are not going to be quick to replace something or attempt to replace something which is basically irreplaceable. So if you're a high enough status individual, then you get to get away with more. That's basic human psychology, isn't it, as a whole? And I think that I'm with guys here. I don't have to be polite. I don't have to say I think. I can say I know. I know.
I don't think there's any girls in the room. Is there?
Sir?
Is this even in?
You're good, bro. Act like
shit.
there's not.
Cool. I know that women as a whole are quite understanding of their status. Women are very, very intelligent. I know people say I'm misogynistic and people say I say bad things about women. Women are very, very intelligent in certain key areas, and one of the things they are most intelligent at or best at is reading their own status and understanding what they can and can't get away with. Women are experts at that.
100%.
You get the same chick who will act X way with one guy and get with a new guy and act completely differently. Because
do you think that's subconsciously though?
I think it's subconscious, but I also think they spend a lot of time on Instagram, a lot of time looking at their competition, a lot of time looking in the mirror, a lot of time trying to look good. A lot of time they spend a lot of time on themselves and within themselves, and they're pretty good at understanding their value and what they can get away with when it's compared against the value that's sitting opposite them, right? So they'll sit opposite one guy and be a dickhead, and sit opposite the next guy and be a sweetheart. They're quite smart at that, right? So it's true. So I think that most women actually, they get with a guy who they really know has his shit together. They're not going to sit there with that guy and say, listen, you better not, because they're like, if I talk to him that way, he's definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
So they're going to come at a different angle. It would really hurt me if you, and then once they say it would really hurt me if you, then you can apply counters to that in different ways. You can just simply ask, why would that hurt you? Well, if you're fucking all these bitches, how do I know I'm special? So the only reason you know you're special is because I'm sexually exclusive. So if you knew you were special with something else, perhaps you did something else with me, or I did something else with you that I don't do with anybody else, then you would know you were special. So what are you worried about me fucking that bitch for? And it can't be that logical because females are not that logical. You can't explain it that way. But I'm saying if you're with a woman long enough and you have frame and you have influence over her and you understand these basic paradigms and you mention them in the correct conversations at the correct way in the correct frame, over time, they'll learn to accept it. I say this and people completely have a meltdown. I don't know why people have a meltdown. It's facts. It's facts. You think any of these dudes fucking, you think any of these rappers fucking all these girls, the girls are telling them, you better be loyal. You better be loyal.
No, but why?
Fuck no. Because of the status.
They don't want to be left.
Because they know who to say no, bye. So they just don't, they're like, okay, look at me in the mirror. Can I be replaced? Yes. Can he be replaced? Not easily. Fuck, I got to take this deal. That's the game. That's like, and that's human psychology. You can apply that to anything. You can apply it to the fight game. There's an A side, B side. Human relationships, there's an A side, B side. Business deals, there's an A side, B side. Someone's got to fucking take the B side.
So the way you're saying,
Someone's got to lose.
Yeah.
To a degree.
To a degree.
But this is the thing about relationships, because we can talk about relationships as a whole. Everyone says what I say is crazy. All I say is that love is real. Men and women should be in love. A man can be completely in love with a woman and care about her and still sometimes fuck something else.
like, the higher your status, the more you can get away with. That girl's so afraid to lose that, so you can do whatever you want.
Bro, it's the same, but it's the same with anything.
Yeah.
Is it like buy a McLaren? It's not going to work for half the year. They're fucking nightmares, but they're McLarens. So it's just a game.
Like, I used to talk to Salim, and he'd have random girls, and he'd be like, yo, I'm crazy over this chick. And I would say, Salim, dude, think about who you are. You can get any girl you want. These are just random chicks, right? So there's levels to it. And I think that chicks don't realize that until they don't have it. And then they chase back, right?
Well, women are also addicted to drama. This is something else you have to understand about females.
Very true.
Females are addicted to drama. They are entertained by drama. What does a woman do in her spare time? She watches the Kardashians drama. Listen, I don't want to insult anyone. I was about to say a bitch. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. A bitch will sit there. And think, I need to relax. Let me watch a murder documentary about a serial killer who chops people's heads off so I can have a nice good night's sleep in bed. They're addicted to this shit. They love drama. So to some degree, even as a man, this is actually an important frame for men to understand. To some degree, as a man, you have to instill drama in the relationship, because if you don't, she's going to get bored.
No, that's very true, man.
And she's either going to leave, or she will instill the drama, which gives her control. You don't want her to bring the drama.
So you think girls like to fight?
Oh, they like drama. They like to be entertained. Yeah. So if she instills the drama, it's probably going to involve some other fucking dude. You don't want that shit, right? So you have to instill drama. So this is the question I always say to all the people who say I'm misogynistic and my view on relationships are wrong, et cetera, et cetera. I say, look, I have beautiful women who are in love with me, and we're all happy and smiling every day. I get to fuck whatever I want. I have a very positive relationship with females. My life's good. You disagree with everything I say. But your relationship, you and your woman don't even fuck. So, like, if you take the other paradigm, 99% of men disagree with me, but they marry one chick, they be the good guy, get married, sit with her, just her, I'm loyal, blah, blah. They're all getting fucking divorced, and the chick's giving them a hard time. Yeah. You never see that dude who did the right thing and then go, I can do whatever the fuck I want because I do the right thing. So you know what? Leave her at home. I'm hitting the club. I can do what I want because I don't cheat. Never. It's like, oh, she's going to get mad. Da, da. And he's the good guy. I'm the bad guy, and I get to say, see you next week.
So what is the cheating code in Andrew Tate's like books? Like, how do you morally cheat if you have a girl? You're honest with her. You're upfront with her.
It's not even about that, because when I say it on these podcasts, I have to condense everything. I have to be very compendious, and I have to try and...
Or how does one, not Andrew Tate, how does one morally
It's
cheat?
just about understanding and instilling a mental frame inside of the female that makes her understand that it's really not that big a deal. That, coupled with your status and the fact that you're hard to replace, will make you be able to get away with it. And when I say get away with, I don't even mean get away with. It can be a very honest and open thing. I'm telling you, man, like, most men would be surprised by how deviant women are. If you have a woman and you're truly cool, and you're truly together, and she truly loves you, you come home. Have you been out there? You fucked that bitch. I did fuck that bitch. You know what? I fucked her, but her tits are not as good as yours. Come here.
But does that work?
She doesn't give a shit.
What if she had a better rack, though?
Well, then she's in trouble, right? But I'm saying, if the framing is right, but it's about the mental framing. I say these things, and men think I'm full of shit, but you have to understand the mental framing. I'll give you an example. If a man
so that's your line when you come home and you just dog.
No,
just compliment the girl's rack, and then you're good.
It's an example.
That's good. No, that's a good line.
But I'm talking about the mental frame. If a woman gets with a man and his frame is correct, that woman over a long enough period of time has the same political views, likes the same music, likes the same movies, has the same friends as him, watches the same things on YouTube, the same Netflix shows. If you see a woman who loves that man, doesn't she do everything the man does? So if that man truly believes and can explain to her in a sensible way, look, I love you, I take care of you, I pay your fucking rent, you're living with me, that bitch, fuck that bitch, who cares? I fucked her, so what? Who gives a shit? She ain't here, she ain't living in the fucking penthouse, shut up. Eventually she's gonna be like, okay, well, as long as those girls don't live with you, they absorb their man's frame.
Wait, but
that's the frame.
Hold on though. So what if your girl comes home, same scenario, and goes, yo, your dick is bigger. That's not gonna make you happy though.
Bro. Okay, so this argument is one I've heard so many trillion times. They say, well, if you can do that, why can't the woman do that? And I can answer it in so many different ways.
Give your harshest way.
My harshest way is that it goes against the will of God and nature. It goes against the way of man. For the longest period of human history, men had more than one woman. Every king, every sultan, read the Bible, read the Quran. In most of the world today, men still have more than one woman. Never in history, in any book ever, in any civilization since the dawn of human time, have promiscuous women been celebrated. Ever. They have been frowned upon. Every single society ever. The main reason is because of paternity. Because what happens is if I have 5 girlfriends and they all get pregnant, we know who the 5 mothers
the guys
are.
are in town?
Thank you. And we know who the 5 fathers are.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, the father for the 5 kids. So you know who the kids belong to.
Yeah.
If you have a woman sleeping with 5 dudes, when she gets pregnant, nobody knows who the fucking kid belongs to. Now, the DNA test might be able to fix that, modern science, right? But there's a whole bunch of modern science that has to work the devil. That shit's new. Humans, evolutionarily, grew up until the 1950s, 1960s, where none of that shit was doable. You had to know who the mother and the father was. You had to have a virgin. That's why they celebrate virginity in most of these places on the planet. They can't afford DNA tests. If she ain't a virgin, I don't know as a fact I'm the father. So I ain't gonna fucking deal with her shit. That's why virginity is so important in most of the world to this day. So to come along and say a woman can do it too is disgusting in the eyes of God, in the eyes of nature. You can come along with science and somehow then try and fix it and prove it.
So God just wants the boys to just run through chicks.
God wants the warriors out here.
God's looking down right now and he's like, boys, I just want you to run through chicks.
God wants the men, the masculine males of Earth, to reproduce, create his warriors. God needs warriors.
What parable is that in?
Take 15. Okay.
I'll search it up.
Look it up.
Wait, so when
God needs warriors.
New Testament?
New and old, I'm everywhere, bro. I'm around. Read the book, G. I'm in there, so you'll see it. And you go, that sounds like Tate. He probably wrote that one. Luke, nah, that wasn't Luke. That was Tate. That one.
How about? But what about? Have you ever dated a girl that makes more money than you?
It's possible.
It's possible. What do you mean? What if when you finally go to the U.S., you're in L.A. and Kylie Jenner pulls up on you, and she's like,
she's still not richer than you.
She's richer than you.
Yeah.
I'm rich in ways beyond money. You're thinking in numbers.
No, I'm talking financially.
Then I guess I'm gonna have a very good life, aren't I?
Would you ever date a girl that's richer than you?
Fuck yes. Why not?
So then would you let her pay bills?
I spent most of my life dating girls who were richer than me. Like for a long time I had no money, and I date a bitch, she might have more money than me. That was no problem for me because I was still in control, I was still in charge. Masculine frame is not all about money. The idea that it's all money is not true at all. Right? I did very, very well in my life when I had no money, and I was a professional fighter, and I was on the way up, and I was fighting. I didn't really have that much money. I did fine.
So what if you're
there are dudes in New York right now selling CDs on the street with like 4 girlfriends, and they're just tearing through pussy. Everyone knows it.
Even the CD
wife on the slide. They're doing fine. So it ain't just about.
But then,
money.
what leverage do you have over them if you're not taking care of them? Like, what if Kylie Jenner's like, "What the fuck? Like, you're on my jet. It's bigger than yours. Like, you can't fucking cheat on girls now."
If I'm
or
on
would
that,
you just dip at that point?
If I'm on that jet, it's my jet.
Oh,
It's your jet.
If I'm on her jet, then it becomes my jet.
What if it says Kylie Skin on the outside of the
Doesn't matter
jet?
because if she's my chick.
Do you make her pull out the decal?
No, she can keep it. But if she's my chick, then she's mine. So her things are now mine. It's my jet, my house. It's my jet. Young lady, sit down. Be quiet. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. I fucked Hannah Montana, whoever. It's gonna be okay. Like, so there might be some celeb beef there. But it's not just about money. I want people to understand it's not just about money. Because I have money is not the reason I say these things. Frame in and of itself is not just about that.
But do you think you could pull that off with the boss bitch, is what I'm saying?
Well, this is interesting, right? So now we can apply this to the things I've been saying.
That'd be a true test.
Now we can apply this to the things I've been saying. Someone like Kylie Jenner is far more difficult to replace. Because she's more scarce.
Right.
So then she would be able to turn around and try and play the same game back with me. I'm not saying that it's all a game and it's all just a chess match and those kind of things. I'm saying these are the basics of human dynamics and human nature. And that someone like Kylie Jenner can have anyone on the planet and there's only one of her. I want to actually say something quickly before we go into this. I'm new to being big on the internet. I really don't know what Kylie Jenner looks like. Wait, is Kylie Jenner a dude?
That's cap.
Is Kylie Jenner the dude?
That's huge cap.
Is Kylie Jenner a guy?
You have to be cap. That's
a huge cap.
Who's the guy?
You just brought up Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, but who's the dude one?
Caitlyn.
Oh, okay. Fuck, thank God. I thought you were setting me up.
That's the hottest.
I thought you were setting me up saying I'm talking about a dude. All right, okay. Kylie Jenner.
Kylie's like slightly less hot than Caitlyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Yeah, obviously it'd be a slightly different dynamic. But I'm not saying that. But who is she dating now?
Travis Scott.
Okay, is he loyal?
I don't know. I think he dogs.
Probably not.
He probably dogs.
What do you think? Do you know who Travis Scott is?
I don't know these people. So I don't know these people. But what I'm saying is that at a certain level of masculine frame, I think most women are kind of like, don't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. Just do your thing. Please love me. I love you back. Boom. And most women will agree with this. I say this to girls all the time because I say these things and girls say, my man would never cheat. My man doesn't cheat, blah, blah, blah. I say, go into his room and demand to see his phone. And no matter what excuse he gives you, don't buy it. Demand to see it.
Why do you want that, though? Why would you do your boys like that?
No, because exactly. Why'd you do your boys like that? Because what's on the phone?
Huh?
What's on his phone?
Probably some shit that
Some bitch.
Yeah.
So every man's doing it anyway. So every woman knows it. And the reason she doesn't demand to see his phone because she don't want her illusions shattered.
Do you think that that's fair for her to want to see the phone and get to see it?
Fuck no. I tell her to fuck off. But I'm just saying that women know truthfully because if they truly wanted to find out, they could. And they don't want to find out. They want to just pretend.
Can I ask you something about the body count thing? About having chicks have their body counts on their foreheads?
No, you have to explain it first. Explain it be a professional, young man.
I will. Sorry.
Be a professional. We're on one of the biggest podcasts in the world. So please explain
He's new to the pod too. But
I'm not.
Explain to the podcast
You're still
what
on
I
trial
said.
a bit.
Wow, yeah, probably with this guy.
Yeah.
You said you had to have girls had to have lines for each body that they've had on their
That's not
forehead.
even what I said.
He said it would, if girls would have the number of body count or whatever they have on their head, it'd make everything way easier.
How so?
But how would it be displayed?
I didn't know exactly what you said after that, but I know.
I'm here on this podcast, you guys. You don't even understand what I said. I'm upset.
'Cause we want the audience to know, so we need you to dive into it.
I said that a lot of the world's problems could be fixed if women walked around with their body counts on their foreheads. I didn't say lines.
Oh, sorry.
And
Will
it's
it be
fine.
fixed? Like world hunger?
Everything will be fixed, bro.
But why?
Society at large could benefit from that scenario.
What does
so?
that? What does that fix?
Because you have to extrapolate it. You have to extrapolate it and look at it the meta point. If women can't just sleep with anybody and everybody because they're going to be known for it and shamed for it, they're going to be very, very selective with who they sleep with. If they're very, very selective, then men are going to have to be very, very, they're going to have to be very, very hardworking and very, very dedicated to becoming a man worth sleeping with. So now men are going to be more honorable. Men are going to try harder. Men are going to be more interested in making sure that they're a person who's upstanding in society. Women are going to be very selective who they choose. They're more likely to stick with a guy through thick and thin. They don't want to add a new number to their head. Families will return. Families are an extension of society as a whole, right? It's family, then it's town, then it's city, then it's state,
That makes somewhat sense.
No,
then
I
it's the
disagree.
country.
They should make a Black Mirror episode about that.
They should try it.
I disagree.
Of course you disagree.
But I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because it's different. Like if you're looking for a one-night stand, and one chick has 3 bodies and one chick has 50, the chick with 50 is going to give you a way freakier night than the chick with 3. So I'd maybe go with the girl with 50.
You're going to walk around looking for chicks thinking, I want one that smells
For a
of dick.
one-night stand, though.
I want one who's been plowed.
Who's going to give you a freakier night?
Yes,
I wouldn't want that.
I don't think any
For a one-night stand. Okay, 2 bodies.
Yeah, fuck it. You can give me a virgin for a one-night
Who the hell
stand.
goes
Yes,
for the
sir.
girl with the higher body count?
Fresh puss.
Yeah, okay,
That's a weird
there's
take
a lot
right
more.
there.
There's a lot more like bullshit behind the scenes that you guys probably aren't.
Has
thinking
anyone
about.
ever heard that?
I would never.
You don't understand the
If
logic.
a girl had 100 bodies or 200.
Okay, so if she has one, and then another chick has 10, who would you rather
One.
smash?
One. All day.
What's wrong with
You
you,
guys just
bro?
don't get freaky, I guess. Obviously.
Well, I
But
mean,
it's not about. I don't
freaky. I mean, if you want chicks who smell a dick, that's your thing. But that ain't my thing, and I don't think it's most men's thing.
That was a wild take.
Men are interested in men are interested in innocence. It's
Yeah.
innocence that men find appealing. This is what most
100%.
people don't understand.
Yeah.
Women don't even know what men find attractive. What actually amazes me is that women go through the world and they're so concerned with how they look. They have no understanding on a basic level of what men find attractive in women. And I know that for a fact because every single time I sit with a chick and talk to her, especially if it's the first time or on a date or something, she's saying always completely the wrong thing. She's saying exactly which makes me less attracted to her. The fact she's still hot will get her through it.
What's the worst thing a woman can say on a first date?
The worst thing is it's just basic things they don't think about, right?
What's the worst thing they could say on the first
I
date?
mean, there's a bunch of dumb shit they could say, but within a realistic frame, I don't know. But it's all bad. I'll tell you why. It's all bad. Women will sit there and do something they think is innocent. They'll talk about travel. I've been to here and I've been to there and I loved where I saw this. My favorite place is this. When you sit with a dude on a first date and tell him how many places you've been, all he's thinking is you've been fucked.
Yeah.
You've been fucked by who? Who paid for that?
Yeah, who paid for that?
Oh, that's fucking hell, bitch. Like it's bullshit. Like shut the fuck up. And on top of it, Men want innocence, and the reason we find innocence attractive is because we want to be the female's portal to the world. If I meet a woman,
You want to hear they've never been anywhere.
never, I will show you the world.
100%.
The first private jet you get on will be mine. You've ever been in a Lambo? No, you get my one first. I'm
Yeah.
going to show you brand new experiences. If I think there was some bitch, she's like, I've been there, I've been that. I went to this party. My friend has a jet. I was in this Lambo. Da, 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 da. And you're just like, shut the fuck up. There's nothing less attractive because we want to be their portal to the world. The reason women don't understand this is they sometimes think, especially if they're sitting with a G, like if they're sitting with a guy like me, they feel like they have to prove themselves by pretending they've been with other ballers, right? They don't want to sit there with a man like me and go, oh, I've never been to a restaurant like this. I wish they would say that. That's the most fucking attractive thing they could say to me. But instead they'll say, yeah, I've been here, my friend, and I did this. And
They drop Dubai and then it's over.
They start
eh?
dropping about fucking other shit that they did with their
If they say Dubai, you got to get the check right away.
Yeah, it's just like, shut up. Shut up. But they don't. So women don't even know what men find attractive because we're interested in innocence. So he's talking about body counts. It's not even just about the freaky. I'm interested if I have an experience with a woman, whether it's sexual or non-sexual. I want to be her portal to the world. I want to be the person who shows us something for the first time. I don't want to fuck a bitch who's been fucked every way she can be fucked. Like, what? That's something new now? Backflips? Like, I can do it. I can do it. Maybe he's doing backflips. I don't know. But to me, that's not appealing.
You're missing the point.
That is true. That is true. I think girls do think it is symmetrical. That like,
oh man,
girls like the same thing.
Girls, and you know what's worse about chicks on dates? I can talk about chicks on dates for a long time. I don't know if I'm allowed to smoke or not, but I don't really listen.
Who gives a fuck?
All right, cool. Good.
You guys want to let
Shout out to y'all week for letting us smoke in this hotel.
Here,
Thank you, y'all week, for getting us this smoking permit.
It's good.
Where they at?
I've talked about chicks on dates for a long time.
What's the worst date you've ever been on?
They're fucking awful.
Can you give us a strategy then?
The worst date.
We need to cut them and shit.
I got a cutter. It's just there.
You give us a strategy on how to have a successful
First, we complain about all the things women do. So first they talk about traveling, which they need to not do because men don't want to hear that. Another thing women do, you know what? Another thing men hate. It's for all the chicks watching this. You know another thing men hate? We hate those social bitches. You know what I'm saying? You meet a girl for the first time, right? First time. Here's a text when you meet a bitch for the first time. Say, what are you doing next week? Correct answer. Oh, nothing, just home. Attractive. That's what I want to hear. You ain't been nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Just home. What are you doing next week? Oh, well, my friend has art exhibition, and then my girl knows this guy who's doing this thing, and we're going to this party, this a launch for this new clothing line, and then on Wednesday, it's my friend's birthday. Her name's Chloe. She's so funny, and we're going to go here, and then this. Then it starts giving you this busy schedule. Oh. Slut, shut up. Unattractive, don't want to hear it. You're a hoe. You've been too many places. You're not home enough. You're not reading the Bible. Uninterested. Busy bitches, social bitches, unattractive. Next thing that's unattractive that women do is when they fucking say,
so you think all social bitches are fucking though?
Unless
What if
they're
they're out there just grinding?
It's about that men don't want that. I'm talking about pure just attraction. She could be an innocent angel doing all these things. The fact that still she's going to sit there with me and start talking about all these places she goes, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear innocence, purity, sit at home, don't do shit.
I don't like when they're sluts, but I kind of find it hot when they have their own shit going.
You have her own shit going from home.
But wherever it is, as long as they're not fucking.
Okay, no, but the problem is that you're saying they're not fucking, right? If a woman's going to all these different places and she's attractive, lots of guys are at least trying to fuck her.
But not if she's with a top G.
Okay, that's right, but she's not with you yet, is she? It's date one.
If she is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's date one, right? It's date one. So for the last X amount of months, she's been running all over XYZ, beating XYZ, and you have to look at her and have enough faith that nobody's ever managed to put their dick in her ever. And the truth is, it really ain't that hard. So it's like, social bitches are worse. I walked in a restaurant with a girl, and she's like, oh, and then we're waiting in this little line. There's like two people in front of us, like literally one couple in front of us. The line would have been maybe 6 seconds. So it wasn't even worth kicking off. Oh, I know the manager. And I looked at her and go, how do you know the manager? Oh, I just know him through that. It's like, I just wanted to leave. Like, and now I'm just like, now you know the manager of the best restaurant in the city. You're a fucking, now I got to sit there. You're a hoe now. How many times have you been here? With who? Who have you fucking been here with? It's off-putting. It's disgusting.
I see what you're saying, because like a lot of the times when men deal with women, I mean, it is sexual. You know what I mean? So like when obviously you're probably thinking, oh, you know the manager. Fuck, are you fucking him or something?
You fucking him, or you've been here on how many dates? With who? Or you and your girls are here drinking all the time?
The manager wants to fuck you. That's a fact.
Wait, that's it.
Yeah.
Where's my lighter? You stole my lighter?
He's lighting it. Has like a girl ever brought you back to meet her parents? And if she
Yeah.
does, do you act this way? Like, you be real?
Parents love me.
You act this way, though, too?
Parents love me.
Can you show me how to light it?
Do you tell the dad, like, I'll never stay loyal to your daughter?
Nah, but I say something else. I say, look, she's been out too much.
Save that, like, for dessert, maybe, when that comes, right?
Finally, she's under control. But don't worry. She was living haram, but I'm here now. She's going to live a good life now. I'm glad I met her before it was too late. I'm going to save your daughter. I'm here to save her life.
Dad's probably like you. Moms might not.
Oh, they all love me.
You're low-key a lover boy inside, I feel like.
No, I believe in love and that. I'm just
you're a big cuddler, Loki.
You like cuddles, yeah.
completely. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
But all I'm talking about is just the things women do on dates that are unattractive. And I'm just saying that women do so much shit that's unattractive. And usually, it's 99% of the time they're talking. They're just saying unattractive shit, talking about where they've been, And this goes back to the meta point that we want to be their portal to the world. We want innocence. It's what men are biologically attracted to. So if any woman out here is watching it, roll it sideways. It's a DuPont. Roll it sideways.
DuPont. Salim.
Fuck is this?
Sideways.
DuPont, bro.
From the middle of the lighter, roll it sideways. Down. No, lower. In the middle of the lighter. That's it. So, I'm telling this for all the chicks who watch the podcast. Let's say you're going on a date with a guy and you really want to get him. You ain't been nowhere. You ain't done shit. You're an undiscovered diamond. I don't know. I've never been to a place like that. Oh, how do I open the car door? I don't know how Lambo car doors work. Oh, I've never done this. I've never been there. I've never been on holiday. That's what a man wants to hear. He does not want to hear the story. Oh, yeah, I went there once, and me and my friends, all four of us went there because it was our party, and shut the fuck up. It's unattractive.
Oh, wait, how do you...
And women don't know this. Women don't know this because they'll say all this shit, and the man will still bang them, so they think they did good on the date. Oh, he banged me. Well, no, he was going to bang you anyway, no matter what you said. But if you want him to love you, you need to learn to shut the fuck up. This is true, because men find innocence attractive except for him.
Do you think it's harder?
I'd agree with men find innocence attractive. That's...
Yeah. But do you think it's
I didn't even actually realize that until you said it.
When you go on a date with a chick, would you rather hear her say, I've never been to the club ever, or I go to the club every weekend?
Obviously, never been to the
But do you
club.
think it's harder to find hot girls in that situation?
Oh, it's certainly harder to find innocent hot girls, because hot girls are absolutely and utterly corrupted because they're corrupt, because they're an asset that men try and corrupt. Men try and find hot chicks and show them the world.
Yeah.
So you have to be there first, right? It's not easy to do. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying
How do you
it's
get there first, though?
How do you get there first? Just go be a G about it. There are the odd ones. You can find the odd one who's a bit older, who hasn't had too much experience in life or sat around with some dork for a while or whatever. But in general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet? I'll blow up the internet right fucking now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can fucking put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
So what's your key age range? 19 to...
It's not just about the age range.
Just the example.
No, I know, but what's your preference?
I mean, hot girls are hot girls,
Yeah.
right? I don't know, hot girls are hot girls. But my point is that older women, the reason they're less attractive to men, even if men don't instinctually understand it, is because they've been through a whole bunch more shit. And we're not interested in dealing with someone else's problems. If you get with a girl who's 26, 27, she's going to be sitting there going, I know men like you. I've seen what men like you do. You ain't going out today.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I ain't dealing. So you're telling me, wait, you're telling me you were innocent and sweet for this dude. You were nice to him. He fucked you and messed you up. And now I deal with the attitude problem you've developed because he got your pussy? I didn't even want him to fuck you in the first place. You should have been a virgin when you met me. Now I'm dealing with your shit? Get fucked. Goodbye.
Don't you think, though, trying to find purity out of women, it kind of is like a low possibility? I mean, it's kind of like when a woman says, I want a guy that's like 6 feet tall, whatever the case may be, right? There's less of them, and like it's like, dude, you can't really find a virgin out
The
here.
best things in the world are low probability. It doesn't mean it's not what we desire. We're talking about what we desire. And what I'm saying is that one of the best things about status is that you can now get what you desire. So at status, most men have this dream of sleeping with endless women. I could, if I decided, could sleep with a new woman every single day for the next 10 years. All I would have to do is reply to my Instagram inbox. It would not be difficult. I could do it. It's not interesting to me. I am more interested in using my status to find something extremely rare, like a woman of innocence. That's what I'm talking about here. I'd rather find 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 women of innocence and keep them, as opposed to just sleeping with endless women, because sex really ain't all that interesting to me. I think it gets boring after a while. So That's the point we're making. Yeah, it's hard to find, but just because it's hard to find doesn't mean it's not what every man intrinsically really wants. It's what men really, truly want. And what's actually interesting about it all is, no matter how innocent the female, she still wants the man to have had experience. If you were to ask a virgin woman, do you want a virgin boyfriend? She'd say no. Or if she slept with one man and she had lived a good life, do you want a man who lived a good life and been with one woman? No, maybe she would have slept with a few more. They want you to have been X, Y, Z, right? So you could have been a playboy and slept with 1,000 girls and get with a virgin. She wants you to be that way, and you want her to be that way. It's fine. That's how it's supposed to work. The reason it's all fucked up now is you got women out here who slept with 100 dudes, sleeping with a guy who fucked like 15 chicks. He wonders why he can't keep her under control. Of course fucking not. How are you going to pull that off?
It's hard for guys.
It's hard for dudes, man, because these chicks are just running through dick. It's hard, and if they run through enough dick, they're eventually going to end up on a real G's dick. We talk about. I get called a lot on the internet one of these red pill guys, and it annoys me because I'm not.
What's that mean?
Oh, this whole red pill manosphere.
What does red pill mean?
Oh, something about girls and dating and all this shit. I'm not one of them, but some of the things they say is true. And the point I'm trying to make is that if you get with a woman who slept with enough dudes, eventually some of those dudes are going to leave an imprint on her you can't fill. I be honest with you, I feel sorry for any man who's with any of my exes. You're going to come along, you ain't me, I could whoop your ass, she knows I could whoop your ass, you can't give her what I give her, you can't do what I can do, and now you're sitting there going, oh, I still love you, and the deepest, darkest night, she's laying there next to you going, you ain't Andrew. You just tried your very best.
That's a good feeling.
You just tried your very best, and that didn't feel like it when Tate did it. And that's it. So like it's like they're widowed in their mind, and you can't truly attach to them because part of them still belongs to someone else. This is what happens at true status. If I run through 10 chicks, I get to know I've ruined 10 wives, guaranteed 10 divorces, guaranteed, because whoever she marries, she will not be happy with because she will dream of me for the rest of her fucking human existence, guaranteed. That's how it gets. You get to that point at a certain status of man.
How do you get to that point?
Babe, you got to get your shit together. How many push-ups you done today?
On.
The fuck, Dave? Why ask me stupid questions?
How many have you done?
Bro, I'm ready. I've lived ready. I do push-ups in my sleep.
How many push-ups do you do a day?
I don't really train the gym too often. I do like 500, 1,000 push-ups a day. If I'm ever on the computer, I set myself little targets. So if I'm on the computer and I'll set a time, or I'll say when this song ends or whatever mentally, and then I'll just drop and do as many as I can.
You try to do it 500 to 1,000?
500 to 1,000 a day, yeah.
How many can you bang out in one set?
100, 150. Wow. So
what else is your like lifting schedule?
That's it, man. I just do a bunch of push-ups.
Just push-ups?
Bunch of push-ups. If I'm in the gym, I'll train, but
yeah.
I live on the road, so I don't often get access to a gym.
You guys don't just go to the gym on like...
Well, if I stay in a nice hotel, there'll be gyms, but I do lots of like car rallies and shit. I'm on the car, or I'm about to be on a boat for a week, and this kind of shit's hard, right? But you can easily
find
time.
You must diet really good then, no?
Not really.
You eat whatever the fuck you want?
I eat basically whatever I want, drink a lot, smoke a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, but like 1,000 push-ups a day is enough if you actually just a drop. And this is another thing that we can go into another point, a meta point.
Is that really the key? Like just doing push-ups?
Yeah, you have to live with competitive males. This is another point it's kind of related to what I was going to say. One of the reasons my life's so fantastic and I'm such a high-performing human being is because I live with other competitive men. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If I'm with a group of 5 men and all of them are dropping doing push-ups all the time, am I going to be the only one who doesn't do it?
That's so funny.
I'm asking.
No, it's true. I'm
not going to be the only guy who goes to a with a bitch.
If I hung with you for 5 days and you boys are just ripping push-ups
you're
all
going
the
to
time,
right? Now, if we're doing more for you, you're going to try and beat us.
Yeah.
So you're going to do as many as you can.
No, of course. You are who you're around in every situation.
That's right. So if I'm rolling with people and we're all in constant competition, then you're going to stay competitive. So the reason it's easy for me to do push-ups is because
I think healthy competition is the key to everything.
It's the key to masculinity. Men, for the longest human period of time, were in gangs or armies. This is how we've always been. So if my brother, bigger than me, drops the roof, well, I'm going to sit there and go, ooh, so you have to be competitive. There's another thing that actually ties into things we're talking about where it's actually detrimental when women and men live together completely and exclusively. Women always say this. When women get a real G, they try to attach themselves to you. Don't live with your boys anymore. Live with just me. Come on, we'll be a real couple, blah, blah. And I understand why they want that because they want to remove you from all the bullshit they're afraid of, right? The girls, the parties, the fun. They want you to completely rely on them so they have power and control over you. But if you live exclusively just with a chick, you are not going to be as competitive as a man.
So it's not smart.
It's not, well, it's going to make her happy. That's fine. But I'm talking about purely emotion out of it, logically. You're not going to be as competitive as a man as if you live with your boys who are competitive. If you're training for a fight, you don't live with just your chick, you live with a bunch of men. trainers, It's done on purpose, right? If you're with your boys and you're all competitive, and it doesn't just have to be physical, you can be competitive with anything. If you live with 5 millionaires and they're telling you every day how much money they're making, you'd be really pissed off with bro. You'd be furious. Yeah. You ain't gonna have it.
100%.
But if you're living with your chick and you're broke, but she cooks for you, she sucks dick good, you watch Netflix, you can get very, very comfortable very, very quickly with very, very little living with a chick. There's another reason why I like this so fantastic, because if I had a woman, no matter how perfect she would be, but look, I live with my brother and my cousin and my team. I live with you sometimes, I stay with you sometimes, but I'm with them, because I must compete against them. Because competing against them means I automatically compete against the world, and I automatically win. I'm living with some of the most competitive people on the planet. That's how it goes. So there's another thing that ties into it, right? So the whole frame is actually also very... I need the lighter again, if you don't mind, my friend. The lighter? We talk about status, how women love status, but are you going to be a high-status man if you're not competitive? No. So you get a chick, you'll fall in love with her, you go, this is a really good one, let me move in with her, let me do the right thing. You're going to live with her, and you're slowly, over a matter of time, years, months, whatever, going to fall off. And now there's other dudes out there who are hungry. Hey, bro, and then you're going to wonder why everyone's getting divorced. I'll tell you why, because you moved in with that bitch and got a belly, sitting around eating lasagna. That's why.
I will say that's true. I mean, I had a girlfriend once. I felt like I wasn't doing as much. Even once it was over, it was game over. I was going nuts.
Oh, Croatia. All right, bro.
All right, boys, we had to pause the pod for a sec. I'm watching this with you boys right now, too. This shit's fucking hilarious. We are dropping on fullsend.com. It's live right now. High-value male shirts. Absolutely fire. Limited stock. So if you guys want one, cop one right now really, really quick before they sell out. Fullsend.com. Let's get back into the pod.
I find that very true, the falling off thing, because when you get too comfortable and you feel as if, like, you're content with life, like, especially with just another girl, it's going to be hard. I mean,
well, women want to make your life comfortable. A good woman, a good woman will do what she's supposed to do, which is make your life comfortable, right? She'll cook for you, chill, blah, 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 which is fine. That's what she's supposed to do. She's a good chick. But it's going to make you comfortable. It's going to make you lazy. You are going to lose your competitive edge.
We'll say that, yeah.
So if you're most competitive when you're a man, in fact, this actually can be translated into a bunch of things at large. You can translate this to society as a whole. You can translate this to basic things like fucking crime rates, G. You look at some of these countries in the world now where crime is getting out of control. A lot of it's related to the fact there's military-age men or young men in gangs who can't get no pussy because women are just chasing clout. And you got these young men who can't get no pussy, and they get angry and aggressive, and they're like, well, what can I do about this? I need to matter. Get rich or die trying. So there's it's all related. Like women are required to a certain degree to soften men. I understand that, and having no women in your life at all will make you dangerous. It'll take it too far, but you can't go too far the other way and just become fucking soft.
Yeah.
What's your thought on Islam and everything? Because I know in the Quran and stuff, like you could have up to 4 wives and stuff. So I've seen you talk about it a little bit, but I would like to know like what you think about it.
I think it's the last religion on the planet.
You think it's the right religion?
I think it's the last religion. So if it's the last true religion on the planet, then it has to be the correct one. Because I don't think
How is it the last one?
It's the last religion because no other religion has boundaries which they enforce. If you will tolerate everything, then you stand for nothing. If your book says X, but you refuse to say the book says this, I'm sick to what the book says. It doesn't matter what the subject is, right? I don't want to get us banned. I think everyone can work it out. If you're a Christian, 99% of Christians are ignoring every single rule inside the Bible every single day.
Christians interpret the Bible, you're saying? Like they pick and choose what they want to stick with, you're saying?
They'll try and say, I interpret it differently. I believe in God, but I don't believe in that part. That's not what the book says. It doesn't say ignore half of me. It says follow me. No, Only Muslims follow their book.
No, true.
So they're the last religion. Yeah. Who gives a shit if Christians come along and say, I'm a Christian, Give a fuck. You ignore the Bible.
Well, isn't there a lot of Muslims that don't follow the Quran too, though?
I'm sure there's a lot of Muslims who don't completely follow the Quran. But I'm saying that if you were to go out there and try and find Muslims who live true to the Quran completely, you can find them. Yeah. You ain't going to find
I think you can find Christians.
No, you won't. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Muslim religion, I mean, not to even no diss on any religion, but like you're not gonna find a Muslim slut. Like
That's right.
Like a woman that's a Muslim that's a slut.
Bro, you put me in any fucking church. Give me the hottest church.
There's
girl.
Muslim sluts out there.
I'm sure there are, but I'm saying the point he's making is you can find a bunch of women who adhere to Islam who are still virgins to the age of 25 waiting for an arranged marriage.
Oh, yeah.
You will not find that under Christianity.
100%.
Even though
You'll find some.
Yeah, you could find a couple.
But you're right. There's probably more Muslims that follow. There's more devout Muslims than devout Christians.
Christianity has no power left. It's a power. Even the Pope is up here talking about. And I want to make this very, very clear. I'm not fucking anti anything. I'm not homophobic. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about what the book says. If the book says man and women lay together, and then the Pope is going to stand up now and say that he's a gay preacher. The book doesn't mean anything. The whole religion doesn't mean anything. So the rules don't mean anything. The tolerant of everything stands for nothing. The problem is with religion is that it naturally must be intolerant. For a religion to be a religion which is respected, it needs to be intolerant of certain things.
Yeah, but
you can't say we're a religion which tolerates everything. Now you have no belief system.
But when was that book written? You know?
That's it. Completely.
But the world evolved. So.
Completely. So Christianity has evolved into nothing. Islam hasn't. This is the point I'm making. The point I'm making is if you're going to throw your own rules away, you can't stand up and say this is a religion, these are our doctrines, but we tolerate everything, and we don't punish anyone for anything, and none of it really matters. Are you a Christian? Well, who the fuck isn't? Because Ho in the World is a Christian, Porn Star is a Christian, who gives a shit? Doesn't mean anything. It's different with Islam. With Islam, you can't get away with it. Even if you're saying that there's some Islam sluts, etc., fine, that's cool. But people don't stand up and openly disrespect Islam. Because they're afraid. So, once again, if you don't have rule systems and doctrines and beliefs and prophets which people are afraid to mock, are you even a religion? People won't disrespect Islam. Nobody will disrespect it because they're scared. Even in a Christian country.
What do you mean by disrespect?
I mean, disrespect it. Say something, disrespect it. You can walk around, you could wear a t-shirt saying Jesus is gay. Right here in Croatia, a Christian country, and you won't make it out of the country alive. I dare you to do the same thing with the Islamic prophet. I dare you to do the same thing. You wouldn't make it out of a Christian country alive, an Islamic country alive. Even in Christian countries, you are not safe to do that. You do not disrespect their beliefs.
Disrespecting our lives.
No, you don't do that. Nobody does. So what I'm saying is, if they're the last religion on earth that people are afraid to disrespect, if their God is the last God on earth that people are afraid to disrespect, then he's the only God that matters. If every other God can be mocked, laughed at, put in video games and fucking shot at, stupid shit, dressed up gay on TV shows, ha 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 ha. What kind of religion is that? It's a joke.
Yo,
it's a good point, man.
How come you're do you ever get afraid of getting canceled for being so, this what you said?
You just say, firstly, let's make a few things.
No, I
know, I understand.
But wait, let me finish. I mean that in the sense where it's like, you seem to say crazy shit and your audience gets bigger, when usually people who say some shit that you say, a lot of people would come after them.
That's true. But firstly, I don't live in fear. I'm not afraid of anything.
But how could you get canceled? Because most of your shit is not even your own accounts, right?
Secondly, I'm just breaking down the sentence as a professional, because that's what I do. You said fear of getting canceled. So the first word incorrect is fear. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't live in fear. Second thing is cancel. If I was going to be afraid of anything on the planet, the last thing I'd be afraid of is getting canceled. Like, I've had people try to kill me. I have real enemies as we stand right now. There are groups of men waking up who want a bullet in my head. I don't give a fuck if some dork on the internet makes a video saying cancel tape. Don't give a solitary shit. I have real problems. So, just breaking down the sentence. I'm not afraid of shit. Would never be afraid of getting canceled. To answer the meta question as to, am I worried that someone's going to hear something I say and then be offended and then people aren't going to follow me anymore? Once again, I couldn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I say what I think. These are the things I truly believe. Some people agree with me, some people don't agree with me, and that's absolutely and utterly fine. You're right. I am doing very, very well, despite the fact I'm saying things I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I am doing very, very well, but I think the reason that is because people know I'm authentic. People know I actually mean them. I can explain them in a way that makes them hard to disagree with. Even feminists struggle to argue with me on a lot of points. And also, I really do believe the things I say, most people intrinsically, even if it's a lesser version of, even if it's less extreme, agree with me. Most men intrinsically agree with a lot of the things I say.
Man, yeah. I'm surprised no feminists have ever come for your net.
No, they've tried, but how can you come for my net? How can you come for my net when their basic battle cry and their basic weapons are ineffective? First, let's call them a misogynist. Yeah, I'm a misogynist. Okay, next. You're sexist. Yeah, probably. Next. Okay, I'm going to cancel you. Don't give a fuck. I ain't got nothing to cancel. I'm on everyone else's account. I ain't got an account. Next. Okay, well, we can't call him an incel. You're a misogynist. Like, it's just a circle. They don't have any weapons.
Yeah.
They have no weapons against me.
Yeah.
How are you going to sit there to the dude sitting with a bunch of beautiful women in his mansion and then say, you're a sexist? You're ugly. You're a 3. These chicks are hot, and they chose me. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm not interested. It's actually very unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate that women are completely and utterly solely judged on how they look. Like, a lot of these feminists are fucking, they're so busted. Like, if you're going to be a feminist, at least get hot first. Because if you're hot, you'll matter. Oh, the hot bitch said this. But if the ugly bitch said this, oh, you hear what the ugly bitch said. No one cares. Nobody cares you're ugly. It's just nobody cares. I understand why you're mad. I'm me, and the hot bitch is me. I get it. You're mad at God. That's fine. But what are you going to do? Cancel me? I don't care. Make a video. Keep making videos. I don't care.
There's a direct correlation between that, right? Hot girls aren't going to come after you, but the ugly ones will.
Hot girls love men who are prepared to protect, provide, take care of them. If you're prepared to protect, provide, and take care, to a degree, you see yourself in a position of authority. To a degree, right? I need to take care of her. I'm going to pay her rent. She's going to come on my boat. She's going to listen to me. She's going to have a good life. You see yourself in a position of authority, so which means to some degree you are misogynistic. Beautiful women love misogynistic men. If you see a 19-year-old Ukrainian on a billionaire's yacht in Dubai, is she complaining that he's the boss and he's in charge? Or is she like, oh, I'm glad you bought this boat. I don't know how boats work. I just want to fucking have a cocktail. Be a misogynist. Oh, we work out the pork speeds. I don't give a shit.
God damn it.
So they love misogynists. So the only women who don't love misogynists are the women who are too ugly to get fucked by a misogynist. And then they want to come along and start canceling you on the internet. I don't give a shit. Cancel me. I will stand up right here and say I am sexist. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way, right? Because I'm sexist both ways. I try and say this all the time, but no one can seem to fathom it, especially not feminists with their minuscule brains. There are certain things in the world that I only trust men with, and there's certain things in the world that I only trust women with. I'm not talking about superiority. The superiority feels men are better at certain things.
What's the one thing you never let a woman do? The top thing a woman never let her do over a man.
I'll just load things.
What's the top 3?
A couple.
I'll tell you the number one thing. So anything that is violence related, women should be nowhere near. So I'll give you an example. My woman is very well trained that if it goes off in the street, she needs to just run and scream. If I say fuck off, leave. And I'll tell you why. I have seen the number of times I've seen a man walking with his chick. Some beef goes. The girl tries to like get in the way. She doesn't want her man or the fight to happen, get him get hurt. Da-da. I've seen a woman try to get in the way. Da-da. Then she turns to her own man, gets hold of his arm, like don't, holds his primary weapon when he gets knocked the fuck out. She's holding on his fucking right hand. Boom, KO, head stomp. Wow, stupid bitch. Now her intentions may have been pure, but she just fucking ended her man's life. You are not capable, and you're not prepared for the realities of
physical altercation.
Anything altercation like fuck off. Don't get in the middle of it. Don't hold on to me.
Fuck off.
Don't try and calm it down. Run and call the police. Run. But there's because I see it so many times, bro. Especially like if a man's outnumbered, because the chick might love him. She might have truly pure intentions. Might 3 dudes on her guy. Oh, leave it. She's in the way and shit. They're just gonna hurt you if they're really about it. If they're really from the street, they're gonna knock you out. Like, well, now, what the fuck you there for? Now to protect you and me? Get the fuck out of here. So anything violence related. That's why I don't even like holding hands with a chick. I've seen it happen, man. You're holding hands with a bitch down the street.
You don't hold hands at all?
If you hold hands with a girl, right?
You never hold hands.
He always does. He's a big.
Don't let me catch you in a photo holding hands.
I really, in certain scenarios, I will.
Okay, yeah.
But like if I'm
walks by the beach,
if I'm walking, yeah, like if it's very lonely.
Sunsets.
But if I'm walking down the street, I don't like to hold hands with the chick because if anything were to go off or happen, her instinct is to just grasp you and hold you, which is fine.
Wait, are you like wanted like that?
It's not about whether I'm wanted like that.
Be prepared.
Well, to say you don't want to hold hands with a girl because you're worried shit's gonna go down.
Bro, there's terrorist attacks. There's shit that happens. Guns go off. Cars start plowing through things. I do have enemies. Whatever. I don't want to think. Fuck. Oh. Get the fuck off me. And then I don't have time. I don't have time for it. For what? Hold hands at home. We're walking now. Professionalism. We're walking somewhere. Stand there. If something goes off, leave me to deal with it. And I've seen women in situations where even when their intentions are completely pure, they're not just a neutral. They are a net negative. A woman who does not properly train will get your ass ended. She will get your ass put the fuck asleep. See it all the time. So that's one thing I don't trust women with. I'll give you a bunch of examples. I don't let women drive me in cars. Everyone loses their mind when I say this. I'll drive.
Never.
Never.
Chick ever drove your Bugatti?
Fuck. What the fuck? Who is this guy?
That's Cap.
No. No woman has ever started up with my cars ever.
I
You
call
never
gas.
let a girl. You never let a girl.
Okay, but wait, have you
There's
ever...
been a baddie that you've let drive
Yeah,
a Bugatti.
yeah.
You got a soft spot, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I would
You got-
bet. I
Okay,
would
wait,
bet
have you
money.
gotten roadhead in the Bugatti?
Gentlemen. I state on my name. I want you to I want you to understand this very, very carefully. No woman has driven any of my cars ever. The cheapest car I possibly own, I would not let a female
you
drive.
So wait,
If you
why?
think-
Why though?
If you think I'm going to see a chick, and just because she is hot, just because she was born with an innate value, because she was born attractive, I'm going to assume she has the competence to pilot a $5.2 million Bugatti that she's never fucking driven before. And I'm going to allow her to risk that. I'm going to allow myself to risk that asset just to hope she might suck a little bit of dick when I can just fuck someone else. You're out of your fucking minds.
Would you let them drive?
Never.
What about the lower?
fucking
Wait.
Kylie Jenner.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No.
What about
no.
one of the lower end ones?
Fuck.
What
no.
about Danica Patrick?
You just think they're gonna crash it?
It's not. I think they're gonna crash it. That's part of it. Two.
Why? Have you been in like a bad situation? Because you say your shit's based on life experience.
You know
Have you
what?
been in like a bad women driving situation?
You know what it is? I'm a chess player, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about what did happen or what could happen. It's about understanding the reality of what guaranteed will happen. And the fact that no, I want you to understand something.
Good.
I want you to understand something. The fact that I know what would happen in a hypothetical, even though that hypothetical is extremely unlikely, is enough to prevent me from doing something. So let me give you an example. Let me break this down. Let's say I let the girl drive my Bugatti, but the chance of her crashing...
Bugatti I get.
Okay, let's say I let a girl drive a car.
Yes.
Let's say I let a girl drive a car, and the chance of her crashing is less than 1%. Very low chance. What's the big deal? But if she did crash, the results of that crash would infuriate me to a new level in which I've never been infuriated. Is it worth that risk, even if the risk is very, very small?
But would you let one of the boys drive it?
Yeah, boys, it's fine. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'm trying to get to the point because people think you're sure she's going to crash. She probably won't crash, but you don't understand. It's like me saying to you, would you roll 100-sided dice, but if you lose, you die? You're like, well, no, the odds are low, but the consequences are big. So even though the odds are low, the consequences are big. And I'll tell you why the consequences are big of a female driving your car. Because females have no innate responsibility or honor. So the bitch crashes your car. If you give your boy a car, right? He crashes it. Oh, I fucked up. I'm going to pay this off. I'm going to get to work. I'll get another job. Man, I'm sorry. Da-da-da-da. Bitch crashes your car. Well, it wasn't even my fault. That guy came out of nowhere. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And you have loads of money and you have loads of cars. Just buy a new one and I can't afford it. And then if you get too tough to her, look, you better fucking pay. She's just going to block you and fuck some other guy. That's all that's going to happen.
Some shit like that.
Yeah,
happened
he's
to
pretty
me,
right.
No,
Okay, he's right on that.
Some shit like that happened to me, bro. This girl scratched my car with her nails, and I seen it on my camera card, and she tried to be like,
you got money. What are you worried about? You got money.
Did she end
You
up
are
paying
right.
it?
They have no responsibility.
I didn't let her.
If they were to take responsibility for the issue to the point where, like, look, I fucked up. I'm going to
so
pay
true.
this. They won't. So why the fuck am I going to take the risk when I know they would crash my fucking supercar and not give a shit?
But girls don't like confrontation at the end of the day, though. I mean,
Girls don't know. Wrong. Girls don't like responsibility for shit.
As a
Girls don't like responsibility. They want another man to be responsible for fucking everything. They want to come along and say we're equal, da-da-da, until it comes to responsibility. Then, oh shit, someone's got to pay the bill. Well, you're a man. Oh shit, that's not our responsibility. Oh, that's not my responsibility. And that's fine, right? Because it's our duty to protect and provide. I'm sexist.
I agree.
It's our duty, right? So I accept that. I don't want a woman who sees herself on my level in terms of responsibility because I find that unattractive. But the point I'm trying to make is I will not let a woman drive my car because I know what would happen if she crashed it. We'd end up breaking up because she would not be sorry enough. I'd resent her ass and dislike her for it. She'd start giving me attitude, and I'm going to lose a bitch and a car. What's the point?
you did say that girls are not good with their instincts, or not instincts, but they're not quick thinkers.
They're not quick
You were
thinkers.
talking about the pilot. Remember you talking about the woman walked up.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, on my private jets can't be woman pilot. No, sir. Not being. And once again, so yeah, I'm sexist, right? But no, I'm sexist. I'm sexist. It's cool. I recommend any man out here do this. Get a ball, get a phone ball. Won't hurt nobody. Say to your boy, think fast. Throw it at him. 5, not maybe 4 times out of 10, he'll catch it. Do it to a chick. Just do it. Think fast. Boom, straight in her mouth. They catching the ball. They ain't doing shit again. Now, this makes me sexist. That's fine. But let me just explain something. There are scenarios where I'll make fun of men the same way, saying that women are a million times better in said scenario. So I'm not talking like I hate women. I'm talking about that in my life experiences, there are certain scenarios where if I want pure competence and I'm looking for the most competent individual, their gender is related to that competence. And it goes the other way also. There are scenarios where I would only trust a woman over a man. And most women, when women first hear what I say, they get annoyed. But if they have a brain, they sit there and go, you know what? He's right. I wouldn't want to drive a Bugatti that fast. He's right. I wouldn't want to be responsible for the shipping fees of a yacht. He's right. I probably can't catch a fucking ball flying at my face randomly. But, you know, he loves me and takes care of me, and I'm going to do my part, and he's going to do his part.
Why? What are those things that you would trust a woman with in life?
So women are absolutely and utterly fiercely loyal if she loves you. The reason people get confused because people say hoes ain't loyal and stuff and women ain't loyal. Women are not loyal if they don't love you because women are loyal to their own emotion only. So if they love you and then they stop loving you, they don't give a shit if you fucking live or die. That's just females as a whole, right? But if a woman's truly in love with you, women can be more loyal than anybody. Like I have a very loyal team and I have loyal boys completely. But if you have a woman who's truly about it and truly in love with you, man, haven't you seen all these fucking serial killers and their wives help them hide the body and shit? Like you could get women who are loyal. They're down. They're like, okay, let's hide it. Like you can get women who are truly loyal. So in certain scenarios, we need absolute loyalty. You need to use a female. If I were to have kids and I were to drop them off at a play school, would you ever drop your kids to an all-male play school? All men watching kids? No. It's weird. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
It's fucking weird. You'd only drop to all women, right? You trust them to be more nurturing. You trust them to be more patient. I wouldn't want to drop my 2-year-old if I had a 2-year-old.
Maybe a couple gay males mixed in.
Maybe, but if I had a 2-year-old, yeah. But it's primarily a feminine environment because there's patience that's there. If I had a 2-year-old, I wouldn't want to drop it to an all-male environment because I think, well, what if she starts screaming and the men get pissed off and the men might lose their temper? It's weird. It's just fucking odd.
No.
So there are certain things that are just set for females. Some things are just set for males. Women are very, very good at certain things. If I was sick, I wouldn't call my boys. You want a chick to nurse you when you're sick. And a woman who truly loves you will sit with you in bed while you're sick, risk getting sick herself, and hug you all night. Women are amazing at a bunch of shit.
100%.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that chick can drive fucking car as well as I can, because she fucking can't. She can't. And I'm not afraid to sit and tell the truth. If it's dark, at night, raining heavy, in the middle of the mountains in Romania, where there's bears and fucking potholes and cows and shit, in a fucking Lambo at 3 a.m, she doesn't even want to drive. Any woman who sits there and goes, I could drive this home as well as you, is a dislikable person because one, you're lying. 2, you're not going to risk our lives to prove some point. Wreck my car, then be unaccountable for it. Well, you're rich anyway. Get another one. Why are you being rude to me? I'm going on a girl's holiday. Bye. And I'm left with a busted Lambo. So the answer is simple. You do not drive my fucking cars.
The patience part,
This is bullshit. It's bullshit. And everyone knows I'm right. And any man who thinks I'm wrong, give a chick a car and wait for her to crash it and see how accountable she is. See if she will get a second job to pay that off. She won't. Fuck. No, she will. She doesn't give a shit.
Right.
The fuck?
Appreciate that. Can we switch up and talk a little bit more about your businesses? Like the web.
We talk about half of them. Some of them, yes.
What about the webcam business?
I'm not even in that. I haven't been in that business for like 6 years.
Hustlers University.
Well, first of all, I want to know too, like, when did you really start like popping off with all this shit? Like, you're right now on the internet, you're fucking everywhere. Like, you're like a fucking viral sensation.
I'm a virus that can't be escaped.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, you're everywhere. So, like, when did you start like really popping off?
I've been on the internet a while, man. But,
doing what? Like, what did you start first ever doing on the internet content-wise?
All right, so I've had a YouTube and shit, but it was small for a while. My first money I made on the internet was the webcam thing. I've talked about it in a lot of podcasts at length, but I can explain again how it all happened. This is a long time ago. This is maybe 6-7 years ago. So it's before OnlyFans. It's before making money on the internet was such a big thing. Like now, everyone you meet, every 19-year-old you meet, does some drop shipping, does da-da-da-da. But back like 7-8 years ago, meeting a guy who made money purely on the internet was quite unusual. Everyone had like real jobs and shit. The world's moved on fast. So making money online was not what it was today. And it's a really long story, but fuck it. Fuck it. We're on one of the biggest podcasts in the world, I'll tell you.
I'm back up.
So I owed some money to some dangerous people. I won't tell that story. But I needed money fast. And I had 70 grand. I needed 100 to stay alive. And I wasn't fighting for a while. That's the time was the only way I was making money. So I thought, you know what? I'm sitting there. I had 70 grand cash in my house. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes, Tate, God just loves you and you just get lucky. You go to the casino, you're going to make the 30. I told Tristan my plan. He's like, bro, well, you don't do it. I said, bro, if I don't do it, we're fucking here. Like, they're going to get us eventually. We're going to end up dead. So I took 20 of the money, went to the casino, and lost it all. So I came home. Now we owe 50.
What did you play in the casino?
Right, so I know the odds. I know that statistically the best odds are blackjack. And I know that you can memorize perfect strategy in blackjack, which I've memorized. So I know that you have statistical best odds in blackjack if you memorize perfect blackjack strategy, which I have done.
What, counting cards?
It's not counting cards, it's just knowing when to hit, when to stick,
Knowing when
based
to
on
hit, when to stand
based on
in
the
every
dealer's card
scenario,
showing,
yeah.
etc. But I prefer roulette. And the reason I prefer roulette, even though the odds are trash, is because I feel like in roulette, I have no control. So if I lose, I feel I have a clearer conscience because I just put the money down, I ain't got anything to do with it. Whereas if I hit when I go bust, it's my fault. And the fault annoys me.
How do you play roulette? Do you just go red or black, or do you do ins?
No, I do numbers. I have like 5 or 6 numbers. I put a bunch of like 5 numbers, not too many, and I just let it spin.
Lucky numbers?
Yeah, lucky numbers, yeah.
We got to run some steak after.
Yeah, let's do it. I know a lot about gambling. I know a lot about the odds of gambling. I know that there's absolutely nothing you can do on a roulette board that affect the odds of roulette.
Mm-hmm.
So single zero roulette is 2.7%, I believe. On single zero roulette, if you play for long enough, you lose 2.7% of your money over a long enough period of time. It doesn't matter how you bet. It doesn't matter if you bet on one number, all the numbers. You might bet on red, black, blah, blah, blah. That's the stake building. So it really doesn't make a difference what you do. So I just bet on these same 5 numbers that are my numbers for personal reasons, and that's it. So I lost 10 grand on roulette. Thought, fuck it, got up the odds, went to blackjack, stuck to perfect strategy, got wiped out, fuck. Came home, now I'm 50 G's down. So I said to Tristan, you got a week to pay this money. I'm not going to leave my bedroom till I find a way to make things back. So he's like, all right, cool. I think was it Newton? One of the scientists was a really weird guy. If he had a scientific problem, he'd sit in his room and not leave until he worked it out. So I decided to come. Maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him. So I'm sitting in my room. So I started thinking, okay, let me approach this logically. I'm a very intelligent man. Let's do this. What do I need? Let's start at the very beginning. What do I want? Money. What is money? So I started researching what is money. What is money? How does it work? Federal Reserve, fractional reserve banking, interest, inflation, da-da. By the time I got to the end of about a day and a half's research on money, I was really pissed off. Because I realized that money is bullshit. It's not even fucking real, and I don't have it. So now I'm double mad. Because I'm like, this is fucking imaginary trash linked to nothing, and I ain't got nothing. So I was really pissed. So I'm watching all these fucking videos, doing all this research on like assets, liabilities, blah, blah, blah. And I got a piece of pen and paper. I've been taking notes the whole time. And I got to the point where I was trying to write down my assets. I got a BMW. What's that worth? 22 grand, something. I had a rented apartment. I'm big and strong, but I'm already fighting. I'm smart, but I'm already using trying to make money. I'm just writing down everything I have. And I have like these 5 girlfriends from fighting all around the world, right? So I'd fly to Paris and knock someone out. I'd fuck a ring girl. And then she'd be like, oh, you're the champ, you're the champ. Like, yeah, I love you too, baby. And I'd leave. And they'd think like I was this big baller in London. I mean, I had an apartment and a nice car. My life was fine. But I also had some problems from previous life, which I can't talk on the internet. And they were still in love with me. So I was texting all these bitches, whatever. So I had these 5 girlfriends in these 5 different cities all around the world. So I thought, well, are the girls an asset? Well, they have beauty. Beauty's valuable. So I guess they're an asset. Maybe they can, like, lend me the money or get jobs and pay me the money or some shit. I need to pay this money. I'll pay them back, but I need to pay this money. So I wrote them down. Anyway, I was thinking again, can these chicks help me in any way? One of the girls offered to lend me like 5 Gs or something. It didn't really help. And then so can these chicks help me in any way? And I'm not a ruthless person. I'm really not an evil person that try and paint me on the internet. I am not the guy who's going to put a bitch on the track. I'm not the guy who's going to hard pimp bitches and fuck dudes. I'm not that guy. I don't like those kind of things. I don't want anyone to touch my chick. A strip club, maybe, but then to open a strip club, you need money, right? How the fuck you open a strip club with no money? You need to build a strip club. It takes money. So I'm sitting there, and I'm Googling on the internet, like strip clubs, or I was Googling like remote jobs, London, trying to see if there was some remote work I could tell my girlfriends to do online, remote, with the money, and I could tell the guys, look, I'll have the money by this day, and then between me and them, the more the incomes, I can pool the money and get the money, boom, boom. And while I'm looking up remote jobs, in the corner, one of them little videos comes up, Talk to Live Girls Now. You know those fucking things on the porn sites. I've never been a porn guy. I still am not to this day. I don't see the attraction in porn. I've never really been a porn watcher. I can really state, under God, I've watched less than an hour of porn in my life. I don't find it interesting. I don't watch it. I don't go on the website.
You never read porn?
Never. Not my thing. It's porn. But I've never been a porn guy, so I didn't know how big, like, chatting to girls on the internet was. So I clicked on this advert. There's some chick sitting there talking to dudes, putting money on one of these websites. And I was like, I wonder how much she's getting. So then I started looking into this webcam thing, and I realized these girls are making bank. These girls are making fucking money. So that was the plan. I said, all right, cool. The girls are going to be webcam girls. So I originally thought I'll set them all up remotely. and they'll do it all from home. Send me the money. But the problem with that, I'll have one as well if you don't mind. I'll have one.
Enemy UAV is online.
Thank you, bro.
Hostile
Cool.
UAV in
Cool.
the area.
So then I thought, you know what? I'm going to be teaching all these girls how to make as much money as they want. Are they really going to give me the money? You know, am I going to end up with the money or is it just going to go back to me? Plus, now they need tech. I'm going to have to send them money to buy tech. Do I really trust the bitch to send the money? Is she going to work hard? Is she going to set it up right? This might all go wrong. So the only answer is I got to bring them all to me, and I got to be in charge. So I flew all 5 chicks in. None of them knew about each other. Nothing. Thank you. Sat down at a nice restaurant. Me, Tristan. He flew 2. I flew 5, 7 girls. So look, about to get rich. This is my plan. I'm going to do this. Of course. Big boss, big G, got big opportunity. Some money's been invested. I've always wanted you to live with me. Now's your chance. You can leave Paris, you can leave Croatia, you can leave whatever. You come live in London with me. You're going to do this. You're going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. Blah, blah, blah. I spit on it.
Enemy UAV is online.
You're all going to live here. Of my 5 girls, obviously they all kicked off. Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Like, if you're all mine, get over it. Talk about money. It's a higher purpose. But you fucked her. Yeah, I fucked her. Who cares? Spend my money. Spend my millions. Get over it. Some of them got upset. They'll start arguing, whatever. 3 left, 2 stayed. And that was the beginning of the empire. The 2 who stayed, bought some laptops, sat them down, said, look, you're going to get this much percent, I'm going to get this much percent. Wasn't exploitation. They want to do it. They were like, yeah, this could fucking make some money. All right, well, cool, let's try it. And me and these 2 chicks started the company from the ground up. And we started doing 15, 16, 17-hour days. Now, when the girls were at the computer working, I was at the computer the entire time. There's another thing I learned from doing this business. I learned something about women. Is that they are intrinsically, I'm going to use the word lazy, but I will. They have no interest in world conquest. They want to be comfortable. If you show a woman how to make $1,000 an hour, she'll think, I can work 2 hours a week. If you show a man how to make $1,000 an hour, he'll think I can make $18,000 a day. We want to conquer the world. We want all of it. We want all of it.
Not to cut you off, but I agree with that completely. And OnlyFans has proven that.
It's proven it. They're lazy about it. They're like, give me enough for food and rent. Can't be bothered. Lazy. They're lazy. Yep. So we didn't have time for lazy, right? So I was like, no, we ain't got time for that. We got to make all of the money. But we made this much today. Not enough. There's more money in the world. It's ours. All of it's ours. I got to the point where I was so obsessed with it. I'd be sleeping in bed. The chicks would me one each side. I'd wake up to go piss. And by the time I finished pissing, I was awake enough to say, all right, 2 hours sleep. That's enough. Get up. Back to work. We're going to fucking kill it. So me and these 2 chicks, and they were about it, right? Because they're getting money as well. Me and these 2 chicks, we just started fucking hammering the webcam together. Problem is, another thing I knew, when I talk about what women don't find, that women don't know what men find attractive, earlier on in this podcast, everything I said, the webcam company I was running proved that perfectly. The women who were on stream were beautiful, but they didn't have a fucking clue what to say. They were saying all the wrong shit, man. Every day they were saying the wrong shit, and we were losing customers. Everything I was telling you earlier about wanting to be innocent. They're saying, oh, I've been here, I've been there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're talking to some dude. You didn't want to hear who you've been. You know, you can't be a 10 talking about how you've been to Dubai to some fucking dude in Minnesota who's fat. He ain't going to ever believe that he's going to get you that way. You gotta lie to him. You got to lie to him. She's like, lie and say what? Say that you've never been anywhere because you don't trust men. You can't find a man who's serious. Make him think that if he's serious about you, that nothing else matters. You got to put a moose on it. So I'm trying to teach these women, and the women kept fucking it up. So I said to them, it's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards, plugged a new one from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just pure, just famousas, just laughing, and doing this. Their titties out, and they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. And they come and say, what? All of it. We fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to do. They don't have, they brown their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing. Nothing. You get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar, you will fuck a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. So like, and it's basic shit, right? You have a guy.
Feel bad.
Fuck no. Give a solitary fuck.
Did you tell, like,
I don't give a fuck. if you run an alcohol store,
You can't feel bad for people that pay for that shit.
yeah. You run an alcohol store, and most of the people you sell to enjoy alcohol, but a couple of the people you sell to are alcoholics. Do you feel bad? Right. So if you come,
I'd be going to hell
if you come and you enjoyed it and spoke to the girl and spent what you could afford to spend, cool. If you turned up to an idiot and got a loan help, is that my problem? No. So I'm promoting these dudes, right? So the guy would be like, well, what kind of guys do you like? And if he was a young man, I'd say, I can't believe you're talking to some young guy. All these old creeps are on here. Oh my God, you're so handsome. Why are you even here? If he was an old guy, I would say, oh my God, finally glad to talk to you. All these young creeps keep coming to talk to me. I want a guy who's serious, who's ready to settle down. I know older men will settle down. Sell the dream, sell the dream, sell the dream. It got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models. Serious, big time in love, right? Spending crazy money. And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt that. Because they were like, I sent $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? And the
What was the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
million?
Wow.
No? In about a year?
I know you don't feel bad at all.
Why the fuck would I?
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
So, thank you. So, they'd want to meet the chick, right? I only did a meeting once ever. I had a big customer with my best girl. How much did that cost? He paid 50 G's for dinner. Just dinner. Clear, it was just dinner. We booked a really nice restaurant in London. It was me, my brother, and about 4 of my other kickboxing boys on different tables. Because he doesn't know what we look like, right? So he's gone to dinner. She's sitting at the table. He's sitting at dinner. He's surrounded by killers. He didn't even know. Casey was weird. Tried to drug her or some shit, right? So we sat there at dinner, had the dinner, whatever. Dinner ended, nothing happened. But after they meet the girl once, the fantasy's now ruined. Like, so now they're like, okay, when can we meet again? When can we meet again? You said you liked me. You said you loved me. Hey, why don't you stay over? They start getting really pushy, and you end up like losing the customer because you can't keep meeting him without nothing happening. The girl doesn't want anything to happen, so you got to kind of keep it in the fantasy world. So we learned from this. After this, girls cannot meet guys under any conditions. So what the girls would do is they promise meetings, and maybe this is a bit bad. Here's where the famoose would start. So it'd be good, like, I had a lot of girls who worked for me, and the best was like the Ukrainians or the Russians. It was amazing. So get some guy, fall in love, they'd arrange the day to meet, all this shit, I need a visa. Okay, get a visa. I need money for a visa. Okay, how much is the visa? It's $900. No, but it's not $900 because I went to the embassy. They think I'm a risk, and I need a return flight there and back. I need a hotel. I need to have spending money in my bank account. They won't let me come. How much you need? All right, 10 grand. Boom, it's 10 G's. Boom, thanks. Wow. Go to the embassy, take a picture outside the embassy, boom, come back. They rejected my visa. They said we have to wait 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they'll give it to me. Okay, baby, boom, 2 more weeks of tips. Boom, 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 boom. Now he thinks he's going to fuck, right? Thinks we get the girls. Now he's spending more than ever. 2 weeks. 2 weeks come. Some other problem. Whether it's visa or whatever. We make up some bullshit, right?
All these OnlyFans chicks can learn from you, man.
But you know,
like a free
people watching
free OnlyFans tutorial.
Yeah,
here
people would say, why did those girls work for you? Because the girls would work for me, and at 50%, because it was 50-50, would make millions per month. If they worked for themselves, they'd make fucking nothing. I was the best in the fucking game. Me, and I had a whole team of staff. The girl would only work 6 or 7 hours a day online.
So how did it end?
Bro, the story's just begun. Oh, fuck. You want me to tell you? I can shut up if you want.
Wait, you could have double dipped and started to coach these guys too, right?
I could have, but fuck, I'll give it all for free. I'm rich already. But, so, the girl would be online for 6 or 7 hours, but then when she logged off, was sleeping or whatever, on her WhatsApp, I'd have staff. She was online 24 hours a day. Her WhatsApp or this. She was famoosing when she was asleep. We were bringing in money from the fucking sky. We were promising all these meetings, all these pictures outside of embassies, all this shit. Eventually, the girl, what she would do is she'd say, oh, I don't want to go embassy. She'd give a really lame excuse to try and provoke the man to get angry. So she'd say, the embassy want me to come back, but I have a headache. That was the one we'd use. He'd be like, I just sent you $1 million. You promised you were going to come. You said you had to delay. Now you're saying you have a fucking headache and you won't go to your appointment. To make him mad on purpose, because that would annoy any man. And then, that's what we needed. We needed a little trigger, and we go, why are you being aggressive? I'm not being aggressive, but you're not serious, da-da-da. And then we'd say, but you know what? I really like you, and I'm flying to the other side of the world by myself, and now you're being aggressive, and now I'm intimidated. And we'd flip it on him, saying, well, now you're being scary. No, I'm not being scary, but you know, it's your appointment. You're supposed to go, yeah, but I feel sick, and you don't even care. Female bullshit. Bullshit. And flip it on him. And he'd get fucking furious, because we were really good at
playing
fucking...
both sides.
Yeah, poking him. To the point where you go like, you're a fucking scammer, you fucking scam me, you're really mad. I can't believe you think I was a scammer, I was gonna come, I went to the embassy, you're a fucking liar, every man in my life has only lied to me, I thought you were different, da-da-da. Big beef, big argument. Yep. Big argument. But here's the thing. The guy would get pissed off, right, and leave, stop tipping her, stop coming to her. But for these men, that's the only chick in the world, the only hot chick in the world who talks to him. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. He's in bed at night, alone, jerking off, looking at her old videos and pictures, watching her stream again from another account so she can't see it's him, sitting there going, maybe she was going to come. Maybe I just got too mad when she had a headache. Maybe I should have been a little bit more patient and she would have been my girlfriend. And 100% of the time, in less than 3 months, they'd be back with an apology, a brand new pile of money, and the cycle would repeat. We fucking killed the game. Millions of dollars a week. And it was not just because I had beautiful girls. It's not because webcam is easy. It's because I am a genius. And I put together an apparatus of genius behind the avatar of beauty. And we fucking conquered the internet.
Wait, so did you give these girls a cut?
Say again?
Give these girls like kind of like a cut?
Yeah, so
No, 100% to you.
well, we talk about this. So the girls who work for me purely just work were working for me purely just work.
Okay.
Right? So
That
they,
only applies to a relationship.
yeah, so that'd be 50%. If a girl was my girlfriend, she'd be working and I'd get all of it. Now, that doesn't mean she wouldn't have a nice life, right? Because she's my chick now. So, like,
Why would they even do it if they give you 100 though?
because
What's the point?
It's helping you out. I mean,
No, it's not about helping me out. It's about, we are now a power couple. We're a team.
I'm going to spend the money on you.
I'm gonna spend. I'll buy you a bag. I'll buy you shoes. Whatever. I'm investing. It's not even that. It's 100%. I'm in charge of the money.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't have things. It's not that you can't do things. It's not that you're fucking flat broke. I'm in charge of the money. 100 G's just came. What do you want to buy? I really want this bag. Well, you bought a bag last week. I really want this one. Okay, well, here's the bag. What else do you need? Nails, food, da-da-da. Okay, cool. Well, I'm paying the rent. Is there anything else you actually need? No. All right, then let's invest this. It was more very much like I was in charge of the money. Otherwise, she was just spunking it on dumb shit. So it wasn't, so I say the 100% thing, everyone loses their fucking mind. But basically it was the more intelligent, competent individual inside of the pair was in charge of the money. Me. And she also...
Have you ever pulled that off?
What do you mean pull that off?
Like, have you ever dated an OnlyFans chick that's given you 100% of the money?
All the time.
No way.
I'm describing to you right now, all the chicks gave me all the money. I was in charge of it.
So do you put your bank info on their OnlyFans account, or do they pull it out and
They
then
pull it out
wire
and send it to me.
They wire it to
Yeah,
you?
no problem.
No way.
What
if they cheat you? How do
I
you
don't believe
respond?
that.
Wait, what if they cheat you?
But this is the interesting point. The reason this dynamic worked is because the girl understood that she wasn't making the money. It was my money. Because she understood that she is nothing but a face to a genius apparatus I have created.
That is some psychological crazy.
She could be replaced. I could take another girl of equal beauty, sit her down in front of that keyboard, which ain't even plugged in, bitch, and do this, and make the same fucking money. You are lucky to work for me, because I can replace you. You cannot replace me. There is no other genius on the internet doing this the way I do it. So, it's my money. It's my staff who've been up all night while you're asleep WhatsApping this dude. It's my team who tell you know what to say. It's me who's been in charge of the plan to make sure he sends X amount before X. Because it was a real business. And the reason we were so successful is I was never thirsty about it. Most dudes in those scenarios would be trying to live like Dan B and all this shit. I love what he does. Cool. Guy's a G. But I wasn't trying to live like that. I didn't want to go to the club with a bunch of girls. I didn't want to be seen on the street with a bunch of girls. I still have enemies at this point. I don't mean walking around with fucking beautiful women. It's a liability. I was low-key, hiding, pure business. I wasn't fucking all the time. No. Work. We were there to make money. The fact that I was surrounded by naked women did not care. I was unfazed. Unfazed. You put me in a room with 20 of the most beautiful women you ever seen, stark naked, didn't give a fuck. Walked straight in, spreadsheet, walked straight out. Didn't care. Of course I fucked, but I'm saying I was about the money. I approached it as a professional. I was a professional to the game. That's why we killed it. Another thing we did. You want to talk about psychology? I can tell you, man, I can talk about this forever.
Wait, can I ask you something real quick? What's the most expensive thing you ever bought a girl? This is straight on TikTok.
Oh. I bought some really expensive shit for girls. But you have to also approach it down to how much she made. So, like, if a girl made $1 million in a month and I bought her, let's say, a 50 grand watch. So, yeah, I bought her a $50,000 watch, but she made $1 million. So, does that really count?
you're going to go more.
That's pretty cheap.
It's it. Do you know what I mean?
Bad. Yeah.
It's cheap. So, it's like I've never bought a girl anything too crazy.
Never bought a girl a car?
The reason, I'll tell you, okay, so I have so many angles we can go from here. The
Do
reason
you like splashing on chicks, though?
I love my woman to experience the world through me.
Yeah.
That requires money. But I would never, like, get with a brand new chick and just start buying her shit.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. But if a woman truly loves me and there's an experience she's yet to have, I would love to give it to her. I'd love to give her something she's never had before. But if I get a chick who's already had a bunch of it, I'm less motivated. In fact, I know she ain't going to get shit. If I get with a chick who's had a bunch of ballers before, then she can fuck herself. Fuck her, goodbye. Goodbye. She ain't worth shit anyway. But if I get a chick of innocence, I'm interested in showing her the world in all realms, including financial. That's the answer to the question. I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
she loves me. Blah, blah, blah. It's impossible for me to be with a chick and her not have a good life, right? How can I have a chick with me? She's my girl, and my life's so fantastic. What, she's going to get a taxi when I get in my car?
Yeah.
Like, not get on my jet. She has to fly commercial. Like, I have to be a real weirdo to prove a point.
Maybe she has to earn that.
Being near me, your life's good. If you're nowhere near Tate, you're living good.
But what are those signs, though, that make you see that, like, oh, this girl actually loves me?
Oh, that's easy, bro. I've just been around the game. All of these things I'm telling you, I grew up. This game's my game.
Are you ever
going
to get married?
Are you
going to get married ever?
I'd never get married. No.
Why not?
I don't see the tactical advantage. If I decided to be loyal to a woman and be with her forever, that's fine. If I decide to have children with a woman, that's fine. If I decide to have a house with a woman and live with her, sure, possible. It's not optimal, but it's possible. But the idea of just getting married in and of itself is completely and utterly fruitless. I think it's for the woman. The women enjoy it. But women enjoy lots of things when they don't have to pay for it or organize anything. Sure, she used to show up on Instagram, organize nothing, waste all my money. And now the government's involved in a new area of my life. I don't want the government involved. The government is already involved in when I register a car, all my money, bank accounts, when I get a job, when I buy a house. Government's everywhere, right? Don't I just want to at least be able to walk around with my dick without the government being involved? Now, if I put my dick in another bitch, my wife can go and say, I have proof he put his dick in another bitch. Go to a lawyer and go to the government. He owes me this. That's adultery, automatic this much percent. So now the government is watching my dick? Leave me alone. No, leave me the fuck alone. Like, if I love her, she loves me. Love you very much. Love you too. Cool, we love each other. That's fine.
Okay, would you say, though, like, back to the other question, would you say that if a girl is doing things for you in a way where they kind of bring value without you having to, like, coach them, would you say they love you?
I've experienced a lot of female love in my life. I know when women love me, and it's not hard to make a woman love you as a man. I don't think it's really that difficult. I have a lot of women who love me, but this is actually the meta point I was going to say before you said that. If a woman truly loves you, she'll stay with you without that shit. So the women who go to the man, marry me or I'm leaving,
they're done.
Then why the fuck you marrying a bitch who's already thinking about, she's already given you conditions to fucking keep the relationship? If a woman truly loves you and you sit there and say, look, I've been around the world, I'm about it, I know things you don't know. Signing that piece of paper is bad for me. It's also bad for you. It's bad for business. Shut the fuck up.
What about...
Okay, but how do I know you love me? Because I tolerate you. Shh. Done. No fucking wedding, no bells, no dress, no bollocks. It's all bullshit. And men fall into this trap, but no man wants to get married. This is another thing I'm going to say. And I'm not shitting on guys who get married. Get married. It's your prerogative. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying me. I truly don't believe any man actually wants to get married. He wants his woman to be loyal. He wants his woman as a wife. He doesn't want to be a husband. He just wants to do it so she's less likely to cheat. It's a degree of insecurity. If I marry her, she'll know I really love her, and maybe then she won't leave. If you really know your bitch ain't going to leave you, if you knew in the stars, if God came down and said she's never going to leave you, never going to leave you, she's yours, you own her soul. Would you marry her? The fuck no. Why? She's mine. It's done. I know my chick ain't leaving me. My chicks ain't going nowhere. So why the fuck am I marrying them?
How did you like initially pop off in this recent success? Like, when did it start?
I decided,
content-wise,
I decided to go overt with my conquest about 6 months ago.
6 months.
6 months ago.
What was your strategy?
Bro, that's worth billions of dollars. If I were to tell you right now what I have done, that'd be worth. So do you have to understand how many people want to do what I have done? Yeah. This is unprecedented. This has never been done before.
It hasn't been
I've gone from obscure internet figure with a cult following of fans. My fans, because I have my YouTube channel for a while, my guys who follow me from back in the day are like, I am so curious. I used to walk around and say, have you heard of Andrew Tate? And everyone would say no, and I tell them what genius you are. Now everyone knows you're a fucking genius. You ruined it. You ruined it. Like all my old school fans are pissed.
Can we get a lady to clean this up? Or
we'll put that on the Yacht Clubs tab.
Yeah,
Yacht Week.
Yeah. Thanks, Yacht Week.
Thank you, Yacht Week.
But like, I decided to go overt about 6 months ago. I put together a strategy and a plan. It was extremely strategized. It was planned.
Is that public though?
The plan?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it is kind of public. No,
strategies. I've heard everybody say.
Everyone has these theories. You can come out with your theories.
Here's the theory that you offered to sell your content to pages. Pages would post your content, and that would help them get views.
Okay, well, that's not true, one. But two, you also have to keep in mind that most people can't do what I can do because most people cannot be as entertaining as I am by simply just sitting down talking shit.
Definitely.
So I can sit down and talk shit and be extremely polarizing. So I have unlimited free content.
Yeah.
You can give me a camera, and I can sit for 12 hours a day and talk at that camera. I have unlimited free content, which makes it easy. Like, if you're a big YouTube channel that do like these giveaways or you do these big pranks, or you need planning, you need Lambo, you need a girl. Me, I can just get a camera and just start talking. iPhone. and I'll get 10 million views.
Crazy.
So that's the first thing. So I have unlimited free content is the first thing.
So your content's really easy to make,
It's super easy to make.
which is dope.
Which is dope. The easier your content is to make, the more competitive you are.
Yep.
I'm super competitive because I need an iPhone. Give me an iPhone and hack the subject, and I'll just start running my mouth. And people, for some reason, like to listen to me for free. I have never paid for an ad. I've never paid for a shout out. I'm not paid to be on any of these big Instagram pages I'm all over. I ain't paid for shit. They're all giving it to me for free because they're like, this will get us views. Hey, that's it.
So is that not correct then?
You're saying I paid them.
No, I'm saying they reach out to you.
They didn't reach out to me. They just fucking steal it. I don't give a shit. That's another thing that's a big part.
Is it like an organized effort of
It's an
fan
organized
pages?
effort. I put together
Or
a-
do you even monitor them or not?
I put together a plan which was extremely well executed. This is not an accident. And I can't tell you exactly what I do. But one of the other things I did, which is a superpower, is that I don't have accounts.
Yeah.
Most people, let's say you have a YouTube channel, you don't want people to plagiarize your shit. You want the views, you want your money. You don't want people to rip your video, use it, da da da. I don't have an account. Everyone would steal my shit. I don't give a fuck.
You have a
Steal it.
YouTube account though, no?
I have a YouTube channel, but even then, I don't think it's even monetized. I don't get a single penny from it.
Ours, we've never made money off YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So right, so I don't need money, right? So if someone were to come along and decide to take my video and chop it up and use it for something, I don't care. Someone were to come along and make a video attacking me, da da da. I ain't gonna try and copyright strike. Don't care. Do it. Everyone can do whatever the fuck they want with my shit. So I'm free game, right? So it's entertaining and it's accessible. That plus my genius battle strategy, we implemented it in January. January 1st is when we began, and I am now the most famous man on the planet. I'm more Googled than Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Look it up. I'm the most Googled man on the fucking planet.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fact?
Look up Donald Trump, Joe Biden versus Andrew Tate Googles.
Someone exposed that on the podcast and verified that's correct.
Yeah. So I'm the most Googled man on the
That's
planet.
crazy.
I've conquered the world. And
So
then-
is it mostly a TikTok strategy or social media as a whole?
I own all of it.
Does it bother you? You don't make money from this shit?
Well, you make money through your ventures, right?
Right. So yeah, I already have.
What ventures do you have right now?
Yeah. I can't tell everybody everything I do, but I have enough money forever. Like I'm at the point of money now where it really truly has no value. Everything in the world to me is free. And I grew up very, very poor, so I can still remember being poor. I grew up with nothing, truly. My family, my mother and father, they got divorced when we were in Indiana. My mother moved back to England. My father stayed in America. My father unfortunately died. My mother and my brother and my sister, we grew up in the free houses that the government give you, so the projects of England, in the town called Luton, which was voted the worst town in England, with the highest crime rate, blah, blah, blah. Lived in a shit area, grew up with nothing. And I've done all of this completely myself. No financial help, never got a loan from a bank, friends, all of it completely by myself. So I remember being broke. And I really, really am thankful for those poor days. Because if it wasn't for the days being poor, being rich would suck.
100%.
Bro, it's fucking, it really ain't that cool. It's only cool because you can do shit. Say, do you remember when we couldn't afford to do this?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's boring, right? So I'm at the point now where absolutely everything in the world is free. If a new car is launched, and I see it, let's say it's a brand new Lamborghini. Right? In fact, I did this yesterday. They're replacing the Aventador. There's a new Lamborghini. It's a it's hybrid, it's 1,000 horsepower. That's all I know. I saw an advert, a YouTube video on YouTube in the Explore page. I didn't even watch the video of the review of the upcoming car. I didn't even watch the 4-minute video. I just saw a new Lambo's coming, texted my Lambo guy and said, I'll have one. I don't know how much it costs. I don't need to choose options because I tick every box. Every option. They'll come out the bank and I won't notice. I don't know. Everything's free. If I want a Lambo, it's free. If I want to go jet's free. Give me a yacht, it's free. Besides mega yachts and mega mansions, literally everything on the planet is free.
What's your main public venture that you're doing right now that you could say?
All right, so I do a few things online. So I own some
I
casinos.
saw your website.
Yeah,
too,
so I own some casinos in Romania. That's one of the first things I do.
Really?
But I don't want to talk about that in too much depth. But I own some casinos in Romania. I also have some more traditional wealth income methods. I've got a property portfolio across about 6 or 7 countries. I'm also an extremely capable individual. In fact, I wish I had my business card on me to give it to you. But I'm the guy that people can come to that can fix things. So I have a lot of people with a lot of money who will come to me and say, look, war's going on. I need to get someone out of Russia into Europe. Look, I got to move this money here. That in a very legal way, I know enough people to help do this. So I can make a lot of money with that. Online, I have 2 serious ventures. One is Hustlers University, and the other is the War Room.
What do you do on those?
Okay, so the War Room is kind of like the Illuminati, but cooler. The War Room is very difficult to explain, but it's a private network. It's a network in which you must compete for your place. When I was saying earlier on this podcast about living with competitive men, The war room's the online version. So you have men, you join, you pay, you join. There's tasks, tests, things you must do to keep your place, or you're booted.
Such as?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you can't say it's that private?
How much does it cost to join?
It's like 5,000. It's not that much. It's $5,000 to join, but you can get kicked at any moment without a refund. So the point is that it's constantly winners, right? The losers are always peeled off the bottom, so the winners get more and more competitive. So we're cycling into a group. So now we have a point where we have.
Does that relate to the TikTok fan page portfolio?
The war room are involved in everything I do.
How many users are there?
We have over 2,000 members, over 600 millionaires.
What about cluster?
And we have extremely important people inside of the war room. You can go to the war room. I go to the war room for the problems no one else can fix. Like when the Ukraine war, when the war kicked off in Ukraine, and they closed the borders, or the borders panicked, we had 7 war room members of Ukraine. We got them all out in 24 hours. I don't know, we send in jets.
So the war room helps you get shit done?
The war room gets shit done globally. So that's what the war room is. It's a network.
And you'll
I don't want to say any more.
Kickback on shit if you get it or something.
Say again.
And you'll give them some kickback on money that you get or something like that.
Yeah, it's the war room is a private network. It's the most I can say. Kind of imagine the Freemasons of old. But better. So when you first join the war room, for the first 6 months inside, you're just going to be doing things like why. It's kind of like Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Why am I doing this? And then you're going to start to learn. Aha, this is useful.
I bet you a lot of people are too lazy to want to join that.
The people who are too lazy to do the wax on,
join,
the people who are too lazy to do the wax on, wax off are kicked.
How powerful is the network?
I'm alive.
Are we allowed to talk about anybody else who's in there?
I will never tell you about any of the members, but let's put it this way: I'm still alive, right? So, and there's been serious attempts on my life. The war room is the most powerful network on the face of the planet today, bar governments.
Are you trying to keep
nation state? The war room is bar a nation state wanting you dead. The war room is the number one enemy you wouldn't want you coming after, because they will get you.
Are you trying to keep up being like as viral as you are forever, or not forever, but like for?
This is stage 1 for 3 steps. So I'm going to be viral for a little bit longer, then step 2 begins. The conquest is continuing.
So this is just the beginning. It's like a lot of people say like you're going to fall off soon. This is just your 15 minutes.
No problem.
What's your take on that?
That's fine. I've been around the internet for a very long time, and I'm building systems which are very sustainable, right? The war room is a very sustainable thing. I don't care if all this virality gets me one good war room member who can do what I need him to do or fill a gap in our organization, which is very few and far between, then I still win, right? So that's the war room. Then we have Hustlers University. The reason I start at Hustlers University is because I was arguing with someone about how pointless the modern education system is. I think the modern education system is nothing but an indoctrination machine. I think they use it to indoctrinate the youth. I think it's a waste of fucking time.
What, to brainwash people?
To brainwash people. And every single idea or lifestyle mainstream by the Matrix is done so with Trojan horse. So even the educational system,
Meaning with a hidden agenda?
With a hidden agenda. So even if you look at things like women's rights, women need rights, women need protecting, women should be equal under the law. Completely agree.
They said they wanted women to work so people could pay more taxes.
They want people to work, and their taxes go to the taxpayers. You know what else they want them to work for?
Get the kids out of
the influence of the parents, right? When the woman's at home and the father's at work, those children are learning from the woman, probably learning from the father, to instill your own beliefs in those children. What we don't want the children to belong to them. They get a woman at the house and they send you to school for as long as possible to reprogram. This is why you will see YouTube videos of children arguing with their parents, and the parents say that's not true. And the children will say, "I learned in school that a man can be a zebra," or whatever they learn. And they start arguing with their own children. You don't own your own children's minds anymore. Your children's mind is owned by YouTube and school. Right? And school is
Enemy counter UAV inbound. They've got a SAM turret online.
They want you to finish in debt, then you got to get a fucking job. They don't teach you anything of value. Nobody learns anything of value in school. And everybody intrinsically knows this. Even the people who disagree with me, I said, if you see me pull up in my Bugatti in a gas station, do you look at me and think, wow, he went to school? Fuck no. You think drug dealer, gangster, scammer. Yeah. You think I'm doing something illegal because you understand if I was staying within the paradigms of the system, I couldn't have possibly achieved this. The only way you can fathom I've done it is by imagining me as an outlaw. Because you know within the paradigms of society, I shouldn't have even fucking done it. That's how much you know school's a scam. You don't look at someone rich and respect them thinking he went to school. The people you are learning from in school aren't even fucking rich. Your business professors never had a business. They're brokies. They're fucking broke. So school's a scam. And it's the biggest scam on earth. And the reason it's a scam, before I get into the meta point, the reason it's a scam is because it operates in a vacuum. It operates in a vacuum, which cannot be fairly compared to any other service. So you can get a loan for school, but you can't use that money for anything else. Because if they were to open it up and put the school, the education system, into the fair market of capitalism, it would fail. If I were to give you 100 grand and say, you can get a degree, or you can buy a crypto, or you can start your own business, or you can do anything you want, who's going to choose a degree?
No one.
Nobody! So they say you can only get the money if you use it for education, which allows it to operate inside of a vacuum. Because it operates inside of a vacuum, it is one of the few things on the planet which is allowed to be non-competitive. It's not competitive against any other investment. Everyone knows that. But you can only get the money for that. So you can't get the money to invest in anything else. So you end up doing it, learning something that is outdated, slow to learn. There's more, it doubly inflates. There's more degrees every single year, meaning the value of a degree decreases. And the price goes up every single year. So it's worth less each year. It costs more year on year. There's no other industry where you can even get away with it. You get wrecked, except the educational system. So I was explaining why it's all a fucking scam. People say to me, well, what else am I supposed to do? I don't know what else. I'll say, well, I'll start school, and my school will teach you how to make money. What do you want to work for? Oh, I want to work for my passion. You want to work for your passion? Fuck off. What do you want to work for? I want to work for money. Yeah. You're the guy I need. Yeah. You want to work for money. Because there's people who really don't want to do what they enjoy. That's fine. You're never going to be rich that way. Go be a vet. Be a vet, you might be rich. Go work in the zoo and clean up pig shit because you get to be near an elephant. That's your thing.
Contract mark.
Passion has nothing to do with getting paid. So people who are serious, people who are smart enough to go, I only work because I want money. I don't care what I do. I just want money. Cool. Then you can come to my school. Now, my school is competitive. My school does not operate inside of a vacuum. It's $49 a month for Hustles University, and we teach 18 modern wealth creation methods. We teach 18 different ways to make money. In the modern world, which is very different from the old world, which is a key point, because people always say, well, my parents told me, your parents lived in a different fucking world. Your parents bought a house for $60,000, and now it's worth $500,000. So, of course, they're telling you to save up, buy a house. How are you going to buy a house for $500,000? You're working at Starbucks, G. It ain't going to happen, right? So all your parents' advice is outdated and it's bullshit. So all the old advice is bullshit. Saving money is bullshit. Inflation's like 10%. Save. You don't get rid of your money. Fuck saving. You don't fucking spend it. So everything they tell you is wrong and old. So it's all modern wealth creation, 18 different modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month. And you can spend that $49 on anything you want. You don't have to join my school. You can go buy lunch if you want. So I'm competing against the entire world, right? You can invest that in anything. And people are still choosing my school. That shows it has a genuine value. At the point of this podcast, where I checked this morning, we have 108,000 students. 108,000 students.
108,000 in Hustlers University?
Correct.
Whoa.
108,000 isn't impressive that I've amassed. It's impressive that I retain. There are 108,000 people in the world who've joined my school for $49 a month. And they say, I am getting more for my money or more value than I'm investing here. I'm either making more money back or I'm learning more than I would ever possibly learn for $49 anywhere else. So I, unlike traditional education, genuinely compete in the world, and I'm the only educational platform in the world that does this. There's no competition at all. And I do it because the people who join my school and listen actually make money. Now, I've been accused of a bunch of shit. There is an affiliate system. You can make money with affiliates. That is a system that does exist. That's one of the 18 ways. You don't have to just affiliate for HU. You can affiliate for Amazon products. We teach how to affiliate for fucking anything. So you can affiliate for a bunch of shit. There's 17 other ways to make money, all inside of the school itself. So we are the #1 educational platform on the planet. And I will say this now. Anybody who's serious about making money should be inside. Because $49 is not going to help you in any other way in your life. There's no crypto you're going to buy for $50 that's going to blow up. There's nothing else. For $50, you have fucking nothing to lose. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be quick. But we'll teach you how to make money if you're ready to sit there and learn. So that's what HU is. So I've got the HU and the War, the two biggest things online. So between those,
when you say like they want to get the kids out of the schools, who do you think is like, that's like some heavy, like that's some heavy string pulling. Like who do you think is behind that? Like I know people just say it's the government, but you know what I mean though, to be that smart to say, all right, we're going to separate kids from their parents so we can take over the minds of the youth. That's like a very smart concept to think of. You know what I mean? Like, how does someone come up with that? Is that
you
like,
come up with it because it's natural human nature, right? Like if you have a,
do you think that's like the government making those decisions?
way above government.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, who do you think is they?
There are people who've been in charge of the world for quite a long time. And to keep it simple and to make sure this podcast stays up, people who control the money are going to control the world. Because if you have money, you can influence people.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the governments, what do the governments need? Money. So they're a layer in the chain. The government's the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fucking president is. Bullshit. Right? So the true matrix, the people who truly control it, they want as much influence and power as possible. This is human nature. If you have a company, you're not going to hire employees who disagree with you and don't listen to you. You're going to want them to be as compliant as possible. Just like you're going to want your woman to be as compliant as possible. It's who you are as a man, right? So if you're one of the most important, powerful billionaires on the planet, you're going to want as much power over the world as possible. You want people to be compliant. So you're going to look for that outside support structures and attempt to attack them. If you have a girlfriend, she's 100%, she listens to you, except she has this one friend who's always in her ear talking shit, they're going to say, don't be friends with her anymore. So if you're trying to teach the children X, but their parents are trying to teach them Y, you're going to say that we need them to spend less time around their parents. So how do we do that? We need the parents to be more busy. We need them to go somewhere.
That's just like some crazy control shit. That is what I'm saying.
That's what they've done.
Yeah.
It's on purpose. Like, it's very, very purposeful. It's all done on purpose.
I just think the average person doesn't understand that. Like, that statement means that, like, there's people above us that are just trying to control us, right?
Oh, completely. There's people in charge above us trying to control us all. I mean, if the last 3 years haven't proved that, I don't know what's going to prove it to you. Like, there's definitely people who want to control us because all of us, every man on earth, has an innate instinct for power and control. We're all human. We're not pure creatures. The reason you guys love doing this podcast is because you love being big and getting more followers and getting more influence. What is influence? Power is control. It's what you want. What I want. It's what everyone wants. If you get to a certain level in life, that's what you want. Now, you're going to have power and influence over a whole bunch of people. You may believe, it's not even necessarily evil, you may believe that you're helping them. They don't understand the world. They're the little peasants. They're the ants. I'm the big billionaire. I'm going to teach them things they don't know they need to learn yet. Their mother is outdated. She's in their ear. We're going to separate them so I can help the kids. They may think they're doing it for a good reason. But what they're really doing is trying to propagate their own personal worldviews on other people. As we all do. As you do, as I do, etc. They just managed to have a lot more influence and more power to do it. Right? So, you talk about governments. What the fuck is a government? Governments are bought and sold. That's all bullshit, right? But there's people in charge of the world who want us to listen when they talk. And they're going to do their very, very best to stop anybody or stop any kind of power or support structure which is going to prevent that. It's done on purpose. This is why they also try and ensure that the people of most nation states are infighting. This is why government and politics, everything is the biggest lie in the world. You have Democrats and Republicans arguing with each other all fucking day. There are two sides of the same coin. And the people in charge of all of it are laughing. Bro, if you had to fight 100 fucking cats, right? You'd probably get through it, but it'd be a bit messy. The first thing you want to do is turn
100? Fuck.
Yeah, well.
100 what?
I think 100 cats easy.
Yeah.
Snap the necks like fucking Rambo. Point is, you'd want to turn all the white cats against the fucking yellow cats. First. Start civil war first. Let's get them uneasy. We don't working together on me now. Let's man think. Well, you're Democrat, you're Republican. You're black, you're white, you're brown. You're gay, you're straight. You're a man, you're a woman. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And everyone's going to sit there and fucking argue all day. And they're going to sit at the top laughing. There's more of us than there is of them. But they don't think that. They're very, very smart. It's divisive on purpose.
How do they get that smart?
It's because it's age old, bro. This shit's been around for a very long time. So it's just
families that have learned along
it's
the way?
It's not just families. It's just age old. If you look at how...
But that's like really smart shit.
Look at how England conquered India. England conquered India with less than 100,000 troops. There was millions of Indians. And the supply line is 9 months long. How do you do it? Turn up. You turn one team against another team, one family against another family, one tribe against another tribe. Arm one side. They start winning. Oh, shit. We need to take some power back. Arm the other side. Do. It's basic foreign policy. It's internal policy. It's basic. It's how it's always been. And then before you know it, who runs India? The British. That's how you do it, right? That's how America does most of foreign policy today. It's how the world functions. You cannot have people united. You can't have people united. If you have all the people inside your country united, they're not going to stand up for shit. I'm sorry, they're not going to stand for shit. They're going to stand up for shit.
Secretly, though, we are a lot aligned, but the media just thinks that we're not.
No, the media doesn't think.
The media makes us think. They convince people that we're divided.
It wants you to feel like you're not.
Well, they know.
They know. The media is the machine. The media is the weapon that they use.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. So all of this is very, very purposeful. People in charge of the world do it on purpose. Of course, it's on purpose.
Execute contract.
But you're saying, like, why did they come up with these ideas, or how is it done? Because they wouldn't be able to.
I know why. It's just the how is like, they're just geniuses. It's almost scary.
It's
like to come up for people to sit in a room and say, all right, now we're going to target the youth and we're going to implement the system to take away the youth from their parents. Yeah. Is like some scary smart shit.
Bro, they're doing scarier shit than that.
I know.
That's nothing. They're doing much scarier shit than that. Like, and it's just the beginning. So, but if this wasn't a public podcast, I'd love to talk about this in far more detail. But public podcasts and the world's good. But
I think we did good. Why don't we go?
Yeah.
Smoke another cigar out there, maybe crank a beer and fucking. I think that's good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more.
You're a fucking legend, bro. We appreciate you.
What's some closing statements?
Closing statements?
Wait, can I ask you one more thing? Though,
sure, man. I'll talk forever. Let's go.
Real quick, back to the lines. It's like you're in the club. If you're in the club and there's a chick,
it's not lines. It's a number, G.
Okay, body count. And there's a chick that has 10, and then there's one that has 1. Who are you going for that you know you have a better chance of sleeping with?
I would have a better chance of. That's the thing, dude. Look, that's the thing. Honestly.
Okay, well then I'll answer that question.
Yeah, just answer that because.
All right, I'll answer that question because it's a bit of a trick question. Yeah. I can't be tricked because I'm a professional. Because when the question was originally asked, it was who would you prefer?
Yeah.
And you said you would prefer the one with more.
Okay.
Right? So we would still prefer the one with 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, because there's a higher probability of sleeping with the hoe, that's true. Doesn't mean she's preferred. Doesn't mean that's the preference. And the true answer is you would try with the girl with 1, and if you failed, towards the end of the night, you'd end up around the girl with 10. That's what would happen.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
That's what would actually
Did I
happen.
really say preferred earlier?
You said preferred, yes.
Okay, that's my fault. I fucked that up.
Yeah, you'd prefer.
But who's doing anal? What the hell? All right, we're good.
I mean, like, no, but this is another thing. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting old. This is my closing statement. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm 35, right? I've seen the world change in real time. I remember the world before the internet, and I've seen the rise of the internet. And I would say now I'm big on the internet and stuff. And I just think the world, I understand when I was young and I used to like something and old people would say, turn that off, it's degenerate. I'd be like, it's just a video game or it's just a song. I'm becoming that guy.
Yeah.
I'm becoming that guy now where I hear things or I see shit. The world's just so degenerate.
Oh, 100%.
I see like these girls like twerking and on a boat or dudes just popping pills. I don't know. It's just all so degenerate. And now that degeneracy angers me, it's made me almost, it's changed me to it. Because even you're just talking about banging chicks, whatever. I really have no interest in just tearing through chicks. I just think it's degenerate. I
think guys are degenerate too.
Yeah, no, of course men are and women are. I just think it's a degenerate attitude. Like, I could sleep with thousands of women. I just think it's, maybe I'm just bored of it. I don't know, but I'm just kind of like, I'd rather have 1 or 2 or 5. Give me 5 girls and I'll settle down. 5 wives, that's enough. I'm not going to be Mr. One Giant. I'm not going to be one hoe is too close to no. So we're not going to go down that one. But 5 is enough. Give me a buffer space to replace 1 if she gets out of line, whatever. Give me 5 chicks, I'll settle down right now. But to actually be running out there and just really tearing through it, I just think maybe I'm just bored of the game. Maybe it got too easy. But I don't know. Even sex in and of itself, I just think it's that good.
You don't think one woman could please you, like fully?
I don't think one woman is capable of completing a man's life. Absolutely no. I think you need a wife.
Sexual.
But I think
you need a wife and you need hoes.
Yeah,
you need both.
I don't think it's
times and a place.
Great, because I mean there are times where there are times where you do want.
I just love it, bro. You're so funny, bro.
It's true.
I think with 5 wives, things around the house, things in general, will just be more efficient.
You know the best thing about having multiple women? I'll tell you from my webcam days.
Do they interact with each other, or do you separate?
Oh no, they super interact. Because I only told it 20%.
Do they get jealous though?
Yeah, but they got jealous, but it's hard to get jealous. This is about the social paradigm. It's hard. Of course they got jealous, and I would reassure them, tell them everything's okay, but they would never disrespect me openly because no one else did. You don't want to be the only disrespectful bitch. Then you get kicked out. It's not the societal norm. This is why in America everyone's fat because it's normal. You go to Russia or Ukraine, there's very few fat people because you don't want to be seen fat because no one's fat, so everyone's going to be like, "Fuck you, obese." Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's societal norm. If every chick is coming up to me and treating me like God, you don't want to be the only chick with an attitude. because you feel embarrassed.
You ever had
Plus, yeah, of course I had that. Plus, you get kicked out.
Yeah.
What I used to do.
I get your strategy now.
Girls get kicked out, and then when they got kicked out, they'd fail because they're naturally lazy. So then, when a girl got kicked out, we'd have a party. Every time I fired a bitch, we'd have a party. We'd have a party, and not make fun of her, but just say like one less hoe, last one standing, gets the sun. We used to make a joke and all this shit. So we kick the girl out at a party, and girls would instantly, not like turn on her, but girls are tribal, right? She's no longer part of the tribe. She's stupid, and we'd all kind of think. And the part of the party is we'd monitor her on camera. So every day after she left, we'd check on how well she was doing.
How?
You can see them online, how many hours they do, their ranking on the website, how much money they're making, all that kind of stuff. And they go from way up here, making millions, to just slowly declining. Because they're lazy. They're lazy. They fall off. And that end up down to nothing and then beg for their job back.
Don't.
So now girls are like, if I leave, he's going to have a party, he's going to make fun of me, and I ain't going to make any money, and I'm going to be another one of the ones they mock. And So now girls don't want to lose their job, right? So girls didn't really disrespect me. But when you were talking about of them being jealous, yeah. But I was about to say, one of the best things about living with multiple women, this is actually the best thing about it. The best thing about living with multiple women is that all the girl shit, they do together. So your girl, right now, if you have a girlfriend, she has a group of friends. All of those friends are your enemy. Every single thing they say to her is bad about you. He doesn't let you go out. Why is he asking where you are? Why is he calling you? It's only a boat party. Let's go here. But they're all negative. You don't want your woman talking to them.
That's true.
Now, if you're fucking the same four girls, then her friendship circle are all behaving and all you're positive towards you now. So you don't have that negative influence, which means you get to send her away with her friends all the time. If you have a girlfriend, you don't want to send her away with her friends because they're up to bad shit. I love sending my girls away. Oh, you want your nails done? Go. Oh, you want to go see that shit movie? Go. Go to security. Oh, you want to go? Go. Leave me the fuck alone. Go. You want to go IKEA? We need towels? Cool. Go to IKEA. I didn't have to do none of the dumb shit men have to do. I see men doing all this dumb shit with their chick because they don't want her to do it with their friends. Man, I haven't been IKEA in a long time. IKEA is the most depressing place on the planet.
What if you go
IKEA sucks.
Wait, you're wrong. What if you go to IKEA with 5 wives?
Even worse.
How?
Because I can send them 5 bitches by themselves. I went to IKEA about 3 years ago, and I genuinely think it was one of the most depressing experiences of my life.
Yeah, that place fucking
I saw full-grown men.
It's so busy and shit too.
and it's a maid.
I saw full-grown men on a Sunday morning walking around.
How about the IKEA hot dogs though?
They're all right.
They're pretty good.
But the sadness in the eyes of the full-grown man on a Sunday morning walking around, and his wife is like picking up a towel. You want this towel or this towel? And you can see he doesn't give a solitary fuck. It's his only day off. It's his only day off.
It's
He's
sad.
been working for 6 days. And she's like, we need to go IKEA, Steve. He's like, oh, can't we not go? We need towels, Steve. He's like, oh, maybe I might get laid next month if I go IKEA. And he's standing there, and she's like, which towel, Steve? And he's the guy like carrying the baby. Oh, I don't know. Which one do you like, babe? I'm like, oh, this whole place is just depressing me. I can't get out. It's a maze, and everyone's fucking sexless and depressed. It's fucking horrible.
Fuck, man.
But if I send the chicks, they can fuck around all day in IKEA. Don't give a fuck. And you know what? I can trust them because they're all vying for position with me. If one of them even looked at a dude, the other 3 would go, we were in IKEA, and this guy walked past. She looked at this guy. They'll all rat. They'll all rat to me. I'm the big boss.
Really?
Oh, no, 100%. Well, they're friends, all right, but they're all fucking reporting to me. And on the sly, I'm like, look, you're the only one I trust. If anyone says anything, tell me. All 4, boom, boom, boom. They're all coming to me going, yeah, I think she loves you, but, I don't know, we were in IKEA, and she didn't talk about you the whole time. They're all just fucking ratting. So I can trust all of them because they're all fucking spying on each other. It was great. I didn't have to do no shit. If you're with one bitch, she's like, I want to go see this movie. You're like, fucking no. And you got to, it's long. You need multiple women so they can fuck off and do women shit. It's important.
You don't ever do like you don't ever go on a date with all 5?
God.
You never been like, yo, I'm gonna see all 5 of you tonight and go.
So I used to go to the club with all of them. Actually, this is one of the big things about Romania. When I first moved to Romania, me and my brother went to the club. We walked in there, and we saw dudes, 2 gypsy dudes or 2 old dudes, and they'd have fucking 30 women on their table, right? So you go to a club in Romania, it's 20 dudes, 100 girls, but the girls aren't accessible. You can't go there as a tourist and pick them up because they all belong to people, right? So when me and Tristan first went there by ourselves,
What happens if you do?
you're getting in big trouble fast.
You get beat up.
Death?
It's not death. It's just they're going to me. It wouldn't be that fast. They tell you.
They'll warn you first.
They tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
And if you really push it, then you're
dead.
Yeah, you get in trouble. But
Wow.
But me and Tristan went there. We understood the vibe. Did it. So when we went to the club, we saw, well, we ain't getting shit here. We're by ourselves. We left after 20 minutes. We went to the club ourselves next week, but we had the cam business. So we went ourselves with 20 girls. So to the Romanian, like the big boys, the bosses, they were like, whoa, these are Westerners. Not many Western dudes have 20 bitches on tap to just pull out hotties. And walked in there.
In Romania?
In Romania, yeah. We had a few chicks there. We had chicks everywhere, all around the world, whatever. We had different studios. But, yes, you're saying, did I ever take my girls on dates? Girls are fantastic for status. There's times where if you want status, you need women. Women are status. Women are the true currency of ballers. Fuck money. It's women. If I go to the Bugatti dinner, everyone there's rich. Everyone's got Bugatti. Everyone's got Rolex. Everyone's got a nice house. Everyone's got a boat. Who cares?
But who has the bitches?
But who's sitting there with two wives?
Yeah,
Me. You're sitting there with a hooker who doesn't really like you. You can see it in her eyes. You're sitting with a wife who's old and ugly. You're sitting with a bitch you don't fuck. I'm sitting here with two wives who adore me and are both gorgeous. Who's the rich guy? I can be the poorest man in the room, but I'm the guy they want to talk to. So women are the true currency of international ballers. So you need to be able to pull hotties out your ass just for fucking status. So if you're saying, do I take girls out? Not to give them fun or nothing. There'd be scenarios in which, yeah, I need to bring the baddies. It's pure status thing. Yeah, I'll just roll up fucking 10 bags.
That's true.
Walk in, boom. That's it.
You have a hot girl with
You get respect. Well, I mean,
You get respect, yeah.
Bitches all over you.
But
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna say something. When you have a hot girl with you and you introduce her to somebody and you know she's hot, it's like she's with me.
It's status. It's status. So having hot women is status.
You ever
So-
felt that?
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Because he was, I don't know.
I have felt that.
He's just being, he's just.
No, I was just asking.
No,
have you
but I
ever,
have
have you
felt
ever dealt with
before.
that? Or?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
My dad and his friends are fucking 75.
So Andrew, you've never had a girl like kind of like intimidate you in a way where you're like,
This is Shadow 01.
No, I'll tell you why.
To the war zone has been authorized.
Yeah, have you ever had that?
No, because I live in a very, very correct with my language. I live in a world which is, I like to think I'm very true to the base instincts of humanity. Should I shut up?
No, it's good. I love it. This is our longest episode, I think, probably.
Bro, I got 10 more hours. I like to think I live very true to the base instincts of reality. And the base instinct of reality always has been, to a degree, violence. I'm not a violent person. I'm a very peaceful person. But as long as I'm not threatened with violence, it's very difficult for me to give a shit about anything else. And that's because I've been threatened with violence so many times and I've been in so many scenarios. Outside of professional fighting, I've been in so many scenarios where I really thought I might die. As long as that's not happening, I don't really give a shit. So if I'm sitting there with a bitch and she's hot, intimidate what? She ain't got hands. She can't slip a jab. She can't fight. Which are like that's one of my brother. Shout out to my brother Tristan. That's one of his best sayings. When he gets caught cheating, or his girls go crazy, or they catch him do something to the number person, she ain't got hands. So, but what are you gonna do? Roll you up on WhatsApp. You're gonna block you. Roll you up, block me. They can't do nothing. So intimidated why? How can I be intimidated by a chick? She's hot. I don't understand. Like, I'm intimidated by certain scenarios where there might be a consequence or a repercussion. If I want a date, she doesn't like me. Cool. Give a fuck.
Are you still fighting or no? You have scars on your knuckles.
Yeah. Stay ready, my friend. Stay ready.
I saw you want to fight. You want to fight Jake Paul?
So yeah, I made the video saying I was going to fight Jake Paul when he first called out Conor McGregor. You remember when he did that first call out video?
The first one was savage.
It was savage.
I gotta be honest, it seems beneath you though. If you're as rich as you are, you got the status, why would you want to go fight Jake Paul?
I'm back up.
Yeah, so I made that video when he first called out Conor McGregor because I thought he was being disrespectful.
How is that beneath him? Jake Paul's pretty fucking
Jake Paul's
big.
Jake Paul's pretty big, but I think that Conor McGregor, at the time, I thought that Jake Paul was just disrespecting fighters as a whole because fighting is a really hard life.
Well, back then it was like, whoa.
Yeah, but now it seems that Jake Paul is taking his boxing career very seriously.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's taking it very, very seriously. So I'm no longer angry at the guy because he's now a boxer effectively, and he's using attention. He's using provocative marketing to make himself as much money as possible. I, of all people on the planet, cannot sit here and shit on that.
Oh my
guy.
God, yo!
So I get what he's doing, right?
Can you imagine a press conference? Him and another fighter talking shit at a fucking press conference?
I would love to see you.
Would you do
bro.
that?
Do what?
Would you do some
gotta
sort
do
of
it with
large
the
scale
press.
boxing fight or how about MMA?
I fought a year ago MMA. I sparked him. I'm open to all things.
Would you rather box? Because kickboxing, no one's
No
probably.
one really cares.
No one's watching.
I'll fight MMA or boxing. Doesn't matter to me. I'm very.
Let's get
open.
Andrew Tate in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm open to it, but it's a lifestyle that I lived for a very long time. Understand that from the age of 17 to the age of 27, for 10 years of my life, all I did was train. that's why now I can still jump on the pads and smash out 12 rounds easy.
How often do you train a week?
I still train nearly every day, but to live that lifestyle, it's a big sacrifice.
You got to dial in. Yeah.
It's got to dial in. So for me to do it, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. It would have to be very worth it. The problem is, for it to be worth it, people will say, "Oh, how much money?" And I have more money than anyone would possibly
What weight
believe.
class would you fight at?
92, 93 kilo, which is like just light heavyweight.
Do you have
Cruiserweight.
Do you have a guy that if you had to fight at the UFC, you would fight? Or some fighter that comes
Wait,
to mind?
how many pounds is that? Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know pounds. 195, 200 pounds.
Light heavyweight.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
205 is light heavyweight. Pounds,
205.
kilos, that means he's like...
Yeah, 200. So anyway, there are possibilities, the things in the mix. Perhaps if I can find it, it'd be worth it. But it's just, I'm now at states now with they go, well, it's worth it. You get 10 million. 10 million, what? A week's wage? Bullshit. 6 months training for that. I don't need a week's wage for 6 months training. And they're like,
It'd be more for the extra exposure.
And then they'll go,
probably.
you get exposure. That's what they'll say. But I'm already the most.
What about
exposed
the
man on planet.
accomplishment?
I've conquered the world. So, and then you talk about accomplishment. I've had 87 professional fights. I've been in the ring a bunch of times. 4 times world champion. 71 wins. I've done it. I'm very competent and happy and comfortable with who I am as a man. I know that 99.9% of the men on the planet are a one-punch issue, and I'm fine. So it's kind of like, do I really want to do it? There are people who I would fight. I'm not going to say their names on this podcast, but there are scenarios and there are things in the
Famous
works
people?
where I might fight.
Give us one.
No, man, no, we're working on it. We're working on some things for everyone to see. I know everyone wants to see me fuck someone up. That's what they want to see. They want to see me smash someone up, which is fine.
What is the percentage of people that actually know how to fight in the world? I heard
Well, this is another thing, because I actually don't believe in fighting outside of the cage or the ring. I don't believe that fighting is a real thing. I don't believe fighting is real. Violence and fighting are different things.
So is that you saying like no one really knows how to fight outside of?
No, I'm saying that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Fighting and violence are real things. So I made that comment that most men are a one-punch issue. That's true. Actually, recently, a video which got taken down off my YouTube, but I'll give it to you guys. Maybe you can sneak it in. Me and my brother were in the nightclub, and some guys, 6 guys, were sitting on our Chiron taking pictures, and someone told us, sitting on the hood of the car. And we left the club. We rolled up. It's all on CCTV. And me and my brother attacked the 6 of them. Put them all asleep. This is in Romania. So, like, we're still about it. Like,
It's like a movie.
Bro, but you know what? You know what's cool?
Wait, where was this?
This is in Romania.
Oh, okay.
Me and Tristan is kind of like, man, because we grew up together, we lived together, whatever. And we know each other so well, we could talk without talking. So as the taxi pulled up, we were literally praying they're still fucking around near our car, right? Because they were sitting on the front of the car, sitting on it. And as the taxi pulled up, we're both in the back seat, and we both just turned to each other and went, go out and start fucking smashing. No words, no get off the car. It's all on CCTV. You'll see. I'll give you the video. Just start fucking knocking them all asleep. So
I want to see that shit.
yeah, but this is the point. That to a degree could be fighting, but I don't think fighting is a real thing outside the ring, because violence is a different thing. I know truly violent people, and I've been in truly violent scenarios. And if someone is truly violent, they don't need to know how to fight. And I'm saying if someone who is violent wants you, you're going to die. Violence is 10 men with machetes. Violence is spray the matic. Violence is run them over with a car. Violence isn't, hey, bro, that's the olden days. Let's go outside, have a fucking. That's all gone now. If you're caught in altercations on the street, no matter how big of a tough guy you are, the best thing you can do is leave. There are too many people who are ready to fucking go to jail or die with nothing to fucking lose. I have a full security team with me everywhere I go.
How many you roll with?
I'm strapped. I have like 4 or 5 guys usually. I'm strapped everywhere I go, where possible. Like I really don't like the idea of having to hit people unless I really have to hit people, because you're talking about fighting and violence. So how many people can't fight? You can get a guy who can't fight in an SUV who sees you on the sidewalk and just thinks, fuck this guy. It's a dangerous world. And even now, especially like in London, I know boys who've been pack stabbed. When 4 dudes roll up with blades and jump you, man, you're dying, man. You're dying. It only takes 1 fucking wound. Oh, I know Krav Maga. You don't know shit. You ain't Steven Seagal. You are dying. It doesn't matter. You know to kickbox, box. Amir Khan got robbed for his watch. Fucking ex-world champion. They fucking ran up on him and took his watch off him 2 weeks ago. What they do? They pull a fucking sword. 4 of them. Give me it. What the fuck you gonna do?
That'd be the worst
What you
feeling.
gonna do? Slit?
Huh?
That'd be the worst feeling. Getting your watch robbed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it happens. That shit happens a lot.
So London's crazy.
No, it happens in Miami.
Whoa.
It happens in Miami a lot. I know
Really?
people.
London's nuts now, man. And in
London's
London,
a shithole now, or what?
bro, shithole. Google, anyone here sitting there, Google London stabbing. Click on the news tab.
I saw that every day.
Stab every day. And they stab first. They don't come up and say, give me the watch. They come up and stab you. And you're like, what the fuck? You start bleeding out. And then they kick off your corpse. They don't give a fuck. It is crazy in London. London, I have a full security. I do not walk the streets in London. I do not wear a watch. I have a full security team. Everything. London's getting bad, and it's not just even the nice areas. You can go to Knightsbridge, Mayfair. They'll get your ass just the same. There's people in London who just don't give a fuck anymore, and it's getting crazy. And the Americans say, well, this is why we need guns to defend ourselves. Well, not really, because then they'd have guns. So now what? Like, it's a mentality thing. The mentality of people is dangerous. It's a hard heart that kills. You have to be really about it. This is what most people don't understand. People who play gangster and play tough guy don't understand that you don't really want to play that game because you're going to play a game with people who aren't playing.
Yeah.
A true hard heart is different. There are people. If they want someone dead, he's going to fucking die. They don't care. Daylight, broad daylight, his wife, his kid, they don't give a shit and they'll do the time. These people exist. They're all over the fucking news. You really want to walk around playing gangster with people like that out there in the world? You want to learn to box and say, well, I can defend myself now? You can't defend yourself for fuck. I defend myself with large walls, a bunch of weapons, and being hard to access. That's how you defend yourself. You do not defend yourself thinking I can kickbox, let me run around the streets. And there are people who still do it, but I think the world's on a decline. I think the Western world's getting worse. I don't think it's getting any better. I think that all the problems we're seeing now are going to be 10x, 20x, 30x as people get fucking hungry across the next 10, 20 years. And I think if you don't have a plan to defend yourself or at least move to a place where you don't need to defend yourself in real time, people are going to start getting fucked up back.
What do you think's about to happen? Just complete anarchy?
I don't think it's going to be complete anarchy, but there's going to be
a lot of crime.
There's going to be a massive polarization. The polarization already exists, right? In Western nations, there's already a polarization because there's no longer any morality which is built into the populace. I live in a poor country. I live in Romania, which is technically poor. It's one of the poorest countries in Europe. Very, very poor. The average wage is like $400 a month. The police drive Dacia Logans. The police drive cars that can't even go above 70 miles an hour. I've never seen a police chase. When the police stop me, I say, why don't people run? Just outrun you. He goes, oh, well, why run when you can just get tickets? It's very much people, the police force isn't heavily armed, like none of this shit, but it's safe in general, unless you piss off a big guy. The crime is very organized. There's no random crime. It's very organized crime. Organized crime keeps society functioning. Organized crime is very, very functional. I would rather live in a country with organized crime than unorganized crime. Unorganized crime like London, no, but unorganized crime like London is wrong place, wrong time, get stabbed, take your watch. Organized crime is you have to go and make an enemy. You have to piss someone off. And you usually get a warning. So unless you're a fucking jackass, you'll be fine. It's only if you want to go into industries which are competing with them, or if you want to like do something they don't like. I know that a lot of the gangsters in certain towns in Romania keep the drugs out. Towns are drugs free. People try to sell drugs. They're the ones who died. So there's no drugs on the streets because they don't like drugs because their children go to school. So you have drug-free cities. American police can't get a city drug-free, but the mafia will. They'll get a city drug-free because they catch anyone fucking selling that shit, they're fucking disappearing. So organized crime can actually be pretty good for a society because as long as you don't piss these people off. Now, Americans are the worst on the planet for this. Americans have basically no social awareness and they're jackasses with big mouths. So an American might go to a place like Romania and get drunk and be like, hey, bro, man, I do what I want, bro. They're going to get fucked up, right? But if you're a person with a brain and you're like, you know what, this is not my territory. Sorry, really sorry. You're never going to have any trouble. So organized crime is a good thing. So Romania is a very, very poor country, a lot of organized crime, but in general, it's extremely safe. Girls walk alone at night, all in the middle of parks, 3 a.m, through a park. You'll see some hot, beautiful chick just walking through the park. And I said to people, like, isn't she scared? Like, what if someone were to attack her or whatever? And they say, no, she's a Romanian girl. Like, a Romanian man would not hurt a Romanian girl. There's like a unity. There's a morality. Romania is the most Christian country in the world. It's like there's a common sense of morality, right? So they would never just hurt someone random because they see themselves in them. America doesn't have that.
No.
America has none of that.
But America's more diverse too, right?
It's more diverse, which is why when you look into it, and hey, bro, I'm brown. I'm half black, half white. My father is African American. So we talk about diversity. I'm not saying it from a racist standpoint. I'm saying the reason it's propagated by the Matrix is because it divides society, which is what they want, as we discussed earlier. Which we can go into another point, but I don't want to get the podcast taken out of that. But I'm just saying that when you live in a homogenous society like Romania, where 99.9% people are Romanian, they see themselves in other people. So when the country goes broke, because it's already broke, now the country's poor, crime doesn't escalate. America's a different story. As soon as America starts running out of money and people start getting broke in America, it's a free-for-all. As soon as people start, I can't eat. Look at the looting. I've never seen looting in Romania. No one's ever looted a store. None of this shit. In the riots, Romania had huge political protests because one of their presidents got called stealing billions. Massive protests. You can Google it up like you've never seen. Bigger than BLM. Huge. Not a single store looted. Not one. Why? Because that's some family store. There's morality left.
That looting shit was fucking
Bro, there's no morality.
crazy.
So you're saying what's going to happen? I'm saying in the Western world without morality, the only thing that keeps people in line is fear of the law. The second that's gone, you better get on a jet, G. It's going to be a fucking shit show.
I think some crazy shit's about to go down in our
It's gonna be a
lifetime.
shit show,
If
man.
shit does go down, can we bunk up with you, or
I have got food for 10 years in my house.
you got guards too?
I've got food for 10 years and bullets for a long firefight. So
And for what?
more than that, G. Come on, I haven't settled down yet. But yeah, I think yeah, and it's interesting. Like people, we can talk about a whole bunch of shit, but when you're talking about wealth and money and stuff, the rich truly understand this. The wealthy of the world are starting to understand this. Americans are actually a very unique type of people because I am American as well. So when I say these things, I'm not hating on Americans because I'm American, right? But Americans are unique because like when Americans make a bunch of money, it doesn't really cross their mind to leave America. The PSYOP, the most free country, we're the freest. Free to do what, G? What are you more free to do? Like, how about this? I'll go drive 200 miles an hour in my Lambo in Romania, and you drive 200 miles per hour in your Lambo in America, and let's see who gets some more trouble. What are you free? You can't drive fast.
Well,
Free.
probably freer than China or something.
Oh, freer than China. Who's not freer than China?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, but I'm saying that there's most places. You can go to Portugal and do whatever the fuck you want.
said it yourself.
Like, so, but I'm saying the PSYOP is so large on the American populace that a lot of the money still stays inside of America. But in other countries, people are more open and agile. But I think as the internet comes, as people start to realize, wait, I'm an American. I'm earning X amount of money. I want to move to Miami and da-da-da. Or I can move to Croatia.
I think there's a lot of good people in America, though, too.
There is.
But there's a lot of idiots, too.
Yeah, completely. I'm not hating on Americans. I'm saying that when the wealth of America starts realizing that their money will get them further, they will be safer and have a better quality of life outside of the USA. That's the problem for the USA. I'm not hating on the people.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the American mindset is still America, America, America. Everywhere else is dangerous and poor.
Yeah.
But Americans haven't traveled much per percent of the population. Da-da-da. But once they realize there's other options, a lot of Americans will be like, wait, instead of 10 grand a month in Miami, I can spend $1,000 a month in Croatia. Hotter women, zero crime. Better, like the weather's
Hotter
just as
chicks
good.
in Croatia?
Yeah, Croatia's badass, man. Well, I mean,
Hotter than Miami?
Miami has a lot of hot girls. But okay, let me change it from hard. Let me change it to better quality. Okay. Here they go to church. They're innocent. You can show them the world.
Here they have like
Miami,
one body.
Yeah,
So that's for us three. 50's like for
Stay
you.
Miami, G.
Yeah.
But that's my
like-
point. So
how do you like
you're talking about
both?
what's going to happen. I think that as wealth starts to flee the West, there's going to be serious issues.
That's scary shit.
Scary shit, bro.
But I might be wrong. Who knows? I'm some
No,
crazy idiot.
I agree.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I just feel some crazy shit's coming. Like
Yeah.
people are just getting more and more
And
divided.
polarized.
The government's
market's
getting
fucked,
crazier and
crypto's
crazier.
fucked, everything's fucked.
But they polarize us on purpose. Like I'm not going to.
I think it's going to come to a complete crash, and it's going to take a total reset for humanity to ever get back to.
True, but
How
the
long
problem
do you
is
think so?
the total reset.
I have no idea. I think in our lifetime.
But this is the problem. Whoever is powerful enough to construct a total reset will construct it in a way that we have even less freedom than we've ever had.
True.
That's what the reset's for. They're trying to destroy it all for the reset, so they can come along and say the only way
my
we can
God.
keep you safe, the only way you are safe is if you obey. Let me give you guys some examples. Some very simple
Bro,
examples.
that's
yeah,
fuck.
100%.
Let me give you some examples, right? Because once the only thing that's preventing a huge reset right now is the human element. The human element is the one thing that they're combating against. So we were talking earlier about
What do you mean by the human element?
right. We're talking about kids going to school and the mother involved and the human ideas, the human element. So let's give an example. The last 3 years, there was a pandemic, blah, blah, blah. They made all these crazy rules. The rules only exist if the police enforce them. And during the pandemic, I traveled the entire world. I never stayed still for a second. I managed to get in and out of every country I wanted to. I did whatever the fuck I wanted. So Sweden never locked down. They don't want to talk about that. They don't talk about the fact that in Stockholm, in nightclubs, it was full of chicks and it was completely fucking normal without masks.
The whole time?
The entire fucking time. So I'm in Stockholm for 3 months, right? So you can go to Stockholm, go from country, whatever. The country where the police forces are more professional, more inside of the matrix, had stricter COVID rules than the countries where the police are more corrupt and more lazy because you can't force it. So if I was in Serbia and didn't wear a mask and the police over there comes with a mask, I said, bro, this is stupid, I'm not wearing a mask. Okay. He doesn't get paid enough. He doesn't care. American cop, like, so the police force, the more matrix minded they are, the more strict the society is going to be. And I'm saying the human element because there are certain laws that they'd love to make, but they can't make because they're too far for the police, even in completely controlled countries, Western countries, to enforce. If they were to say to the American police, kill everyone with the long hair, the police wouldn't do it, right? But the human element is being removed. This is what I'm trying to say. All this shit with electric cars and AI and all this stuff, wait until the police are robots. Wait till they bring on the new COVID shit and there's no human element in the enforcement. Wait till it's fucking pure robotic. When they program the robots, if he ain't got a mask on, take him out.
You think there's going to be a new...
They won't give a fuck. There's not going to be, that's a grandma without a mask. It's not going to be, oh, that's my brother without a mask. It's not going to be, you know what, this pandemic's gone on too long. This guy doesn't have a mask on. It's not going to be, he's asthmatic. There are certain things you could, even as stupid as the police were during this thing, because the police proved themselves to be fucking retards. As stupid as they were, you could still reason with them. Maybe not in America, but in many places in the world, you could say, gee, I'm not wearing a fucking mask. It's a wedding. I want to take a wedding photo. And they'd be like, okay. Like, in many places in the world, COVID wasn't really that real because the police didn't really enforce it because they knew it was stupid. Once it goes robotic, then that's the great reset. And here, do you know how they're going to do it? They're going to do it under the guise of safety. They're going to come along and say, all these accidental shootings by human cops, accidentally killing people, we can't trust police.